could they be? I don't understand. Where are they? Riley! Tony! Oh God. I think I see something in there.
Talking about tapes.
Oh, hello, Trisha. How are you?
Hello, Tony from Hack the Movie. Super famous. How are you?
Yes, super famous Trisha's Italy. I'm doing pretty well. I just got back from the woods.
You did? What were you doing in the woods?
Oh, looking for porn.
Oh, of course. Like normal.
Yeah, that's... You know, when I was a teenager, that's where you could get porn. It was just in the woods.
Just in the woods. Like videos? VHS tapes?
No, magazines. I don't know why, but this apparently was like a thing for many years, like decades.
For
People would purchase a magazine, and then for whatever reason, it would end up in the woods, and teens like me would find these magazines.
Like in tree houses and stuff. Like you would climb up the tree house and find it.
I didn't have a tree house in the woods.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I'm not speaking from experience, I'm just saying.
You know, I haven't been able to find any since I was like 11. Mm-hmm. So it's been a rough, it's been a rough 10, 20 years there.
Exactly. How do you get into your adulthood?
Yeah, I don't know how else to find porn, so I'm not going to buy it. So I continue to look in the woods, and I will not find, I am not able to find any, but I did find this camera.
You did?
Yeah.
Is there porn on there?
You know, I don't know. But what is on here is a video of our friends, Riley and Mint Salad.
No way. How are they doing?
I don't know. I found their camera in the woods. I hope they're okay. Let's watch a clip now.
That's interesting.
I'm telling you, it's just a few minutes away.
I mean, I'm serious. We've been out here for 45 minutes, and you clearly don't know where we're going.
Yes,
so
I
I don't
do.
know why you're pretending to.
We're following the directions I printed off of MapQuest.
Yeah. Just give me the map. Do you have the map?
I don't have it anymore.
What do you mean you don't have the map?
There wasn't enough space in the backpack.
You have that stupid camera, but you don't have the map?
Dave's holding the camera.
Well, they're off to a bad start.
That doesn't look great.
No, but we'll check back on this video later. Speaking of being in the woods with cameras, the Blair Witch Project.
Great movie.
Yeah, you really wanted to do this one.
I was obsessed with this movie in the 90s.
Yeah, I think I was obsessed with the marketing of this movie. Yeah, this is, I'm sure other movies did it first, but like, my recollection, this is the first like big like viral marketing push I can remember. Like, this was huge.
It was.
It was like, everyone, well, adults probably were like, oh, this is bullshit. But people like us, we thought it was real.
How old were we? We were like 10 years old. And
yeah, with 1999, we were 9 or 10. So I thought it was real.
Exactly.
My older cousin thought it was real or was lying to me. The same one that helped me get that Leonardo DiCaprio poster.
Oh, God, I don't like her.
Check the Titanic. Check the Titanic episode for that whole story. Yeah, so the year it came out, it was like huge.
Yeah.
They were plugging it all the time.
Everywhere.
The trailer was awesome.
I remember watching like MTV because they always have the music videos and stuff. And then they would have the trailer come on and I would be like, oh my God, there's a witch in the woods. I would be freaking out.
I think me and my cousin were watching it and then it was like BlairWitch.com. We're like, we got to go to that website.
Yeah.
They did like a fake documentary that came out at the time to even further the whole thing that it was real.
Is that the one, the mockumentary about like the the whole town?
Yes, it was like the Curse of the Blair Witch or something like that. Yeah, so there was a lot of hype.
That's why everyone thought it was real too. And then with like the actors, like no one, like everyone thought that it was real footage. They died because you never heard about the actors or the directors or anything. You just heard about this trailer. And
it was like in 1994. They went in the woods. They were never seen. And you have in your notes here that you wrote yourself that they used their real names to even further it. And apparently the mom got like sympathy.
Yeah, like Heather Donahue, the main actress.
Yeah.
She, like her mom was really upset about this whole thing because she would receive letters and phone calls like from family members too and friends like, oh my God, where's Heather? Is she okay? Like,
by the way, so it came out in 1999. All the trailers said that they were missing in 1994.
Right.
So I mean, like, if you're a family member, it's like, oh wow, I haven't checked in on my niece Heather.
5 years.
Did she die in 1994? Right. Mom's like, no, you asshole.
You just saw her at Christmas.
Also, what a weird way to announce your daughter's death. Like, oh, is this a Hollywood movie coming?
Right, exactly. Like, oh, just gonna make some money.
But it wasn't a Hollywood movie. This was made, and we have different numbers here, and I will explain those numbers. What do you think this movie was made for?
Well, I like the.
Hold on 1 second. My ghillie suit got caught in the mic stand. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, I heard that the movie was actually the budget was $60,000.
Yes, for the actual movie, but when you factor in marketing, once it became this like A-list thing, it bumped up to between 200 and 500,000.
Okay.
Which that happens a lot. Like Paranormal Activity was made for less, I think, like 17,000 maybe.
No way.
But the marketing, once it got picked up by a major studio, marketing, the budget ballooned. But since the movie was so cheap, they could afford it.
Right.
And yeah, this movie made a
lot
of money. Like, I think I have it at the end. We'll skip ahead. I think it.
No, $248 million.
Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, $248 million.
Yeah.
That was probably the biggest independent film, or like budget to profit, like the most successful film at that point. Before that, I think it was Ninja Turtles.
Titanic.
No, Titanic had a giant. What world are you living in? Titanic had a giant budget.
Just kidding. I just wanted to mention Titanic at any point I can.
Like I know Halloween was on that list at one point because
really?
it was made for $300,000, I think.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it made millions of dollars. This one. Like, what really scared me and my cousin is that she lived in Blair Shore, Maryland.
Oh, jeez.
And even though the town is not called Blair in it, it used to be called Blair. But I was like, because the movie takes place in Maryland.
Right, it does, yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. Is this about my...
You're going to go missing in the woods.
And if you think I didn't make a Blair Shore Project video, you got another thing coming. Yeah, I did.
Oh my God, can you please post that?
I can't find it.
Oh God.
I would have to like search hard for it.
No, you have to find it. You have to.
Also, I wouldn't want to post
No, you have to.
No, I don't want to post that video.
Post it on YouTube. No, my cousin actually, she lived in New Hampshire for a while when we were kids. And she lived in an old schoolhouse they remade into a house. And I swear that place was haunted, but that's another story.
Yeah, okay, we have a clip. We have a clip on the Clips channel called Every Woman's Seen a Ghost. Go check out that clip. Anyway, keep going.
So anyway, this house is in the middle of the woods, and my cousin was celebrating her first Holy Communion. So we went up there for the weekend, and we were playing in the middle of the woods, and I scared the shit out, because I had just seen the Blair Witch, and I was scared because I thought it was real. So I was talking about everything that happens, and we were like, we have to come out at night and look for the Blair Witch. And my cousin literally shit herself. Like and to this day, she will not forgive me for scaring her so bad. Like she was like, I can't even like look in my backyard anymore because of the Blair Witch.
So, yeah, but if you thought it was real, wouldn't you be like, we don't live anywhere near that town. What would the Blair Witch be doing here?
No, because I thought it was every woods in the world. Like you go out in the woods, you're gonna die from the
That'd be like
witch.
people were like, the Jersey Devil's gonna get you, and I'm like, I don't live in Jersey. I don't give a shit.
I guess I was kind of dumb. So
don't go in the river. The Loch Ness monster. I'm like, what? The Loch Ness monster?
Well, no, for real though. Any kind of monster, it could be very similar.
It could be a different witch.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I've met witches.
You have?
Yeah. I mean, they're not really
Normal.
scary. They mostly seem like women have gone through bad breakups.
Oh,
but anyway.
I can't.
So yeah, this was directed by Eduardo Sanchez and Daniel Myrick. And they mostly do indie stuff and TV shows now.
Right.
So they've gone on to have a career.
That's good.
I looked up the actors. I think Josh still acts in a lot of stuff.
Does he?
I think the Mike guy, by the way, I've met these actors.
You've met them?
At Monster Mania.
No way.
And I asked them if they wanted to do a video, and I forget which one. They were like, no.
Like just plain.
It's just flat out no. And I'm like, all right. I'm like, I don't really care about you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're still doing stuff. And Heather Donahue, what's she doing these days?
Yeah, I don't really know. She grows or something. What's she doing?
Yeah, so I was looking up the actors yesterday. I sent you the picture. She wrote a book in 2012 about how she's growing weed, and the cover is her just naked, surrounded by marijuana.
Wonderful. It's great.
And it's like my life after the Blair Witch Project. I'm like, wow, it really went down a weird path there.
Smoking a lot of it's great. But it makes sense though, because in the movie she's like a total head.
Yeah,
right?
which I don't agree with.
You don't agree with that?
No.
Oh.
I was like, that's bad.
It's bad. Totally.
Bad role model.
Yeah.
I think I have that in my notes there.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a family show.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know I
Kids
did a
are
whole
watching.
I know I did a whole thing about porn in the woods, but I was looking for porn to get it out of the woods so kids can't find
Right, exactly.
it. Yeah, I wasn't doing
You're
any
saving the day. See, Tony,
yes.
what a hero.
People called me out recently because I
National
was
treasure.
Yeah, I was posting about some video game I was playing. And they were like, "Tony, don't you say video games are for kids?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm playing the game to make sure it's safe for kids."
There you go. Perfect.
Because normally I wouldn't play a video. Who would play a
Tony,
video game?
you deserve an award or something.
I really
Give
do.
this guy
Thank
an
you.
award. Come
You
on.
gotta be on more episodes. Every other girl on the show is mean to me.
I'm the nicest. See, I tell it how it is.
We recently had Kira back on the show.
Yeah.
And someone in the comments was like, "Can you have her back on? It's great to have a girl that doesn't roll her eyes after everything Tony said."
She's wonderful. That's great.
So yeah, let's get into this movie.
Let's do it.
This wonderful movie that we
Love it.
thought was real, this documentary. The production company is Haxon Films. Get it?
No.
Okay. So Haxon is a very old, silent black and white film about witchcraft and devils. It's public domain. You can look it up. I think it might even have got a Blu-ray release. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool to like a movie to put on the background because there's all weird devil stuff and like real early special effects of witches flying around the city.
Huh.
Like legit, like from 1910 or something.
That's interesting. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, so I thought that, I'm like, all right, I
That
get what
makes
you're
sense.
doing there.
Yeah.
Also,
No, I thought you were like hinting to like hack the movies, hacks, and I don't know what I was thinking.
oh wow, you're.
I was like really deep into it. I don't know. Hack.
Now that would have been funnier if I made it about. Yeah, well, you beat me
Damn
again.
it, you missed
Anyway, so the friends are getting together. One has a video camera, the other one has a film camera. The film camera's in black and white, video camera's in color, and it looks like shit. Let me see here. It's Heather and Josh,
Right.
and they're very excited. And this reminded me of myself in college. This is a movie I've grown to appreciate. I'll talk about my initial reaction at the end. But yeah, I did a documentary about my friend running across Pennsylvania, and like ours kind of opened, like our documentary opens with us all like getting ready for like the documentary.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
This rang pretty true to me. Yeah, so they're going to pick up Mike,
Yes.
who's a sound guy, who I guess they put like a thing in the paper to pick up a sound guy.
Oh, is that what they did? Okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't actually know Mike before that.
No, because they said like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you," and whatnot. Yeah, so
Okay.
he's
I forgot
just
that part. Yeah.
yeah, because
That
you
makes
see he's
sense.
got like the sound recorder and the microphones.
Right.
Yeah, so they're picking up Mike, and they go to Burkittsville,
Yes.
which used to be called Blair.
Where they changed the name. I wonder why.
It's like Friday the 13th Part 5,
Really?
when they were like, "Man, no one wants to come to Crystal Lake." Probably because
change the
Jason
name.
kills everyone. Oh no, part six. And they were like, "You know what? Let's call it Forest Green."
No, that's so much nicer.
And then at some point they changed it back to Crystal Lake. I guess they were like, "Yeah, fuck it, we're
Fuck it."
Crystal Lake.
Exactly.
Everyone knows. Who
Yeah.
cares?"
He's coming back anyway. He never dies. It's great.
So yeah, they changed it to Burkittsville, and Heather does her best like TV presenter.
Much like a small, quiet town anywhere. No more than 20 families laid their roots here over 200 years ago.
She's good. You know what? Heather's like an amazing actress, or not actress, like real person. Just the way that she presents herself on camera is just
I liked it. I've seen. I remember college people doing videos like that.
right.
It's important to note that the film camera is rented. That's like a plot
Right.
point. throughout the
It's
film.
rented. It's not mine.
But her talking about the history of the town, it reminds me. I got that alien autopsy tape there, Fact or Fiction. And Jonathan Frakes is in there, and he does kind of like the same intro.
Oh,
He's like,
for real.
"How could you believe? Is it true?"
right? Like, really, like.
Spoiler:
spooky.
alien autopsy.
It's real.
Fiction. it's the fakest thing you'll
Is
ever see.
anything real? I don't know.
No, nothing is real.
anymore.
Yeah. So they're going around town and asking townspeople about the Blair Witch, and we get multiple stories. Some of them
Yes.
reference
Yeah.
a lady, and then the other one references a guy who he came into town one day and he's like, "I'm finished." And they go to his house and they found out he murdered children, but he made one face the corner so he could kill the other one,
Right.
and he didn't want their eyes on him.
There's like a bunch of different stories going on here.
Yeah.
But then there's also a mockumentary that I saw on
Yeah.
YouTube that's called the Burkittsville 7.
Okay.
So, which talks about how in like 1785, all of these weird things started happening.
Yeah.
And then every year for every 40 to 50 years, something weird starts happening in the
it's like-
town again.
It's like it.
Yeah,
Or Pennywise
exactly.
comes
Right.
out, yeah.
And then apparently, like in the 1940s, according to this mockumentary, this guy named Rustin Parr killed the 7 children in Burkittsville.
Yeah.
And then he said that an old lady told him to do it, like she was in his head.
Oh, okay.
So, which is kind of, I guess, where that whole legend of the Blair Witch comes from.
Gotcha.
There's like a weird witch that's going into people's heads and telling them to kill children. I don't know.
I like the mom with the baby. She's trying to tell the story, and like the
And the
baby
baby.
clearly like doesn't realize it's like a movie, and she's like, "Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop it!" She's like, "I'm telling a scary
talking.
story anyway." It's like, "Stop it!"
Like your kid doesn't want you to tell this story. Shut the fuck up.
That reminds me. Oh God, my goddaughter years ago. I had to make a fake pizza commercial for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a commercial that was supposed to play in the background.
Tony making pizza? That's so cliche.
It was actually my dad. It was actually my dad, and they were the twin brothers from the Mummy Cop series. It was like a little joint shared universe. And my goddaughter played young Lisa Cannoli in it because the movie took place in like the 90s, which was the bad guy in Mummy Cop. Please watch Mummy Cop.
That's great.
But all she had to do was smile and say, "This pizza's the best," and she just showed up crying.
Oh no, this pizza's horrible.
We still make fun of her to this day about it because like she eventually worked up, like she's crying and she smiles. She goes, "This pizza's the best."
Oh my god, it's wonderful.
I have the raw footage somewhere. I'm gonna put it
You
in
have
there.
to put it up.
So yeah, I know what it's like to work with a kid who's just not getting it.
Exactly. Gotta give them treats or something. Like
Yeah.
here, you can have some pizza. Now tell everyone that
Treats?
it's
What are they, a
great.
dog? Like, here you go.
Here's some treats. Eat some cookies. You'll be fine. I don't know how to act with kids. Jesus.
Neither do I. Sometimes I like see kids and I'm just like, what do I do? I'm like, I'm petting their head. I'm like, is that what you do?
Good girl. Like, I don't know. What am I supposed to do here?
I'm bad with kids. Like, kids really love me, but I'm like bad with kids.
Right? Yeah. I feel like I'm the
I met
same
my
way.
cousin's
I
kid
don't
for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
And
First
like,
time.
it was in my way.
It was in my way. It was in my way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to dox them. So I'm like on my way to the bathroom and she's like in my way and I'm like, "Excuse me," and then she like went like this for me to pick her up.
Aww.
And I was like, "That's the opposite of excuse me. You're supposed to move."
Get out of my way.
So like I picked her up. Like, and then I just went to the bathroom.
You just picked her up.
She
and
like didn't
threw her to the
understand. She's
side.
like, "What happened there?"
Just watching you walk by, like, what? Oh God, Tony.
And speaking of kids, shout out to our good friend Anthony. He occasionally watches the show,
Hi, Anthony.
and his daughter will go in the room. She's like, "That's Tony. That's your friend."
Aw, that's nice. That's sweet.
And if she walks in the room now, she's gonna be real freaked out. She's gonna be like,
Right,
"The TV
why is
just
he
talked to me." Anyway, they eventually meet a lady named Mary, who apparently met the Blair Witch. And I love this story. She's like, "Yeah, she opened up her dress and she was hairy and she was clearly feminine. And she did this and this and this." And then afterwards, they're like, "That woman's a liar. She said she was a ballerina. She said she was a scientist."
like a million different things. She was like, oh, she was nuts. She was definitely on something. She was smoking that weed that something a little strong.
But I think she does give them some information that comes up later, right?
Does she?
Does she talk about the rocks or something?
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
the formations of the what was it? I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, they're excited about their first day of filming, and they're drinking in
Of course, they're having a good time.
terrible role model.
It was the 90s. It's normal. Listening to
No, in the
heavy
90s
metal.
it was like still edgy. Now it's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm good." It's like, "Yeah, cool, dude.
Cool, great. Yeah.
Cool." So the next day, they talk to some fishermen who just want to be left alone, really.
Yeah, they're not having it.
They're like, "Yeah, the Blair Witch. Yeah, it's something about her, I guess. Some lady got lost. The story is weird. It's like, yeah, a lady got lost in the woods. And then she showed up and said she saw a woman. And I'm like, that story sucks.
Yeah, right. Like, why are you even
Nope.
talking right now?
Like, he went into the woods and he just saw you know what woman he probably saw? The dancing devil from the Return of
my
the
God.
Exorcist.
Can you imagine? You put her dancing.
And I can't cut to that clip because that movie was so. Go back and watch our Return of the Exorcist / The Other Exorcist 3,
The Other
where like
Exorcists.
we could barely show clips from the movie because there was so much nudity. That's before we decided, you know, those types of movies, they're Patreon only. Anyway, and another fisherman said he saw something in the water.
Something
once.
weird in the water. Maybe it was a flying fish or something.
Yeah, and I think I wrote here, and you already told your story, but yes, this is definitely giving me flashbacks of just dicking around in the woods with
What
friends.
did you used to do in the woods?
I was a Boy Scout.
You were?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was a Boy Scout for
No,
years.
I didn't know that.
I didn't want anyone to know in grade school because it was embarrassing. Now that I'm older, I'm like, why was that so embarrassing?
Yeah,
Everyone else
that's
was
not-
doing cringe
yeah.
shit. But yeah, I was a Boy Scout for like
Exactly.
years.
Oh, shit.
I wasn't a very good one. Like,
Alright, but it's
I didn't
like-
get a lot of badges. Like, we would go on
You didn't,
trips
help
and it's
old
like,
people or anything like that. No, it's-
we go on trips and they'd be like, all right, make sure to get all your merit badges. And we're like, we're going to light stuff on fire and throw rocks
right,
and
exactly.
chop down like trees and shit. We're cool.
Find
Like,
porn.
you find porn in the woods. You can find it. It's not in the woods anymore. What's going on, guys? Maybe I did my job so well, finding all the.
See, you would deserve all of the merit badges just for that.
But now I'm out of business as the woods deporner. So now I got to buy porn and throw it in the woods.
And then collect it again.
I'm like the firefighter who creates fires. Like
Yeah,
I need to ensure my job.
Jesus.
They find Coffin Rock. And a long time ago, they found a bunch of men mutilated and tied together at this rock in like a weird formation.
Right.
And then they went back into town to get more people to retrieve them, but then all the men
They
were
were
gone.
gone. Disappeared. I don't know.
Not really sure what the witch was doing there.
I don't know.
know.
So, like, I don't know. There's a lot of different things going on here.
No.
I wonder if it really is a witch, if it's like supernatural. Or if it's like people in the town that are just really fucking bored in Maryland. And they're like,
Let
we
me
just
tell you
need
something about Maryland. People in Maryland. Let me tell you something. I know from experience. They're either getting crabs, not okay.
Oh, crabs. Okay. You know from experience.
No.
Jesus, don't.
No,
How many
actual
revelations today?
crustaceans. They're crabbing
crabbing?
to sell crabs. They're not well, the crab might lead into my other thing. So they're getting crabs because everyone eats crabs in Maryland.
Right.
Spent a lot of time in Maryland. I, like partly
Yeah.
grew up there. They're bored and they have no internet. I'm not counting DC. If we're counting DC, it's like
No, I
they're
wouldn't
ruining
even
the
think
world.
of DC,
And then the last one is just doing a lot of heroin. But that's just my experience of Maryland. If your experience of Maryland is different than mine, let me know.
Yeah, let us know what's going on in Maryland. Do they still not have internet?
My grandmother, like, you see all these DVDs? They mostly came from my grandfather because they just couldn't get reception in their, like, literal neck of the woods.
Oh, no.
Now they can. Now Wi-Fi's gotten good enough that I
Yeah.
can actually, like, watch something on Netflix there, but up until, like, 4 years ago,
Nothing.
like
Like, it was
you could probably get cable or satellite, but, like, internet was a fucking nightmare
Oh,
there. Like,
Jesus.
for years, going on the internet there was awful,
Sounds
which is why
terrible.
he would buy so many DVDs.
Oh, gosh. That sounds like Italy up until a few years ago.
Really?
Trying to go
Italy's
to, like,
that far
internet
behind?
cafes. No, honestly, I remember like in 2000 and I don't know, what is it, like 12 or something? Like we still had to go to like internet cafes and stuff. And
That's, like, big in Europe, right?
yeah, the internet cafe. But now, I mean, it's normal. But
Yeah.
before, like even, you know, not
I should
even
go
10
to
years
Italy
ago.
at some point.
You should.
Yeah.
I'm going in a couple weeks. You should come.
Are you coming back?
I don't know. We'll
God
see.
damn!
You know how I am. I
It's
go
always
there
a
to,
crapshoot. It's like, yeah, Trisha, we got all these things planned. You're like, I'm living in Italy now. It's like, oh, cool.
I'm
awesome.
going to Argentina. I don't know. I'm just going to these random places. I'm just gonna live there.
I gotta go to Argentina.
Why? Do you have family there?
Oh.
A lot of Italian people go there, like of Italian heritage.
Yeah. They migrated after a certain world event.
Well, yeah.
And a lot of them
Hitler.
have my last name, so I'm a little, curious.
Jesus.
Yeah, Argentina, like Peluso is a real big name down there.
Really?
It means floppy hat.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's probably some dialect. Piluso.
Well, no, there's literally a character called El Capitan Peluso who wears a floppy hat. Like,
Really?
That's like, it's a big, when I've mentioned this before, when Facebook like first blew up, my entire family were getting like friend requests from people from Argentina because they thought we were
Ah.
related.
Maybe you are.
Again, you know, after World War II, a lot of people needed to flee. And
Exactly.
according to my
Oh, for
dad,
sure.
the Peluso family was not on the winning side of that war.
Oh, Jesus. All right, Tony, we're done here.
Anyway.
Oh, God.
Uh,
So, yeah, they're in the woods.
yeah, they fart in a tent.
You get too much ass smell in the night. Just get away.
Yeah, okay.
We get more character development. They brought one tent For 3 of them?
Right, exactly. Well, she makes a joke like, they're like, oh, it's really tight in here. And she's
No.
like, well, I've never spent it with 2 men. Like, I've never spent the night in a tent with 2 men before.
Heather's a little thirsty.
She was a little thirsty. Well, apparently Josh is her ex-lover. That's like the whole backstory, which like they don't really get into. They're like extended, deleted scenes.
Oh, okay. I did not watch the deleted scenes.
Yeah, I saw a few of them, and that was like in the beginning they kind of mentioned that.
I ordered the VHS tape, which says it has extended scenes, but it did not come in on time, which is why there's no tape on set.
Damn.
I would love to watch, my big 4K TV. I only watch VHS rips on it.
Exactly.
Mike has the most depressing hair I've ever seen.
His chest hair.
It's like blotchy and
Right.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't know why they have to show that. But then he like makes a comment and he's like, oh, well, you should see my ass. Like, no, I don't want to see your ass. I don't know what's going on here. I definitely don't want to know what's going on down
Look,
there.
I don't know if they sponsored this particular episode, but manscaped.com.
There you go. Makes sense. See, it's all connected.
Even if they didn't sponsor this episode, check them out.
Yeah.
He could have used it. It didn't exist back then, which is why
Yeah.
he looks so horrible.
Exactly.
This part is the scariest part of the movie. I gasped. So they're like lost in the woods.
Yeah.
They're like, we don't know where we are. We don't know where we are. And Heather, the woman, she says, I know where we are. And then they believe her. And I went, oh,
Oh, Jesus.
like, oh my God. Like, I was like, oh, those poor assholes. They're so lost.
Oh, my God. You don't believe Heather?
No,
Heather, women are not the ones that lie. It is definitely men.
No.
The ones that
Women are bad
like-
at directions and they don't like to admit when they're
Oh,
wrong.
right. Exactly. Of
I
course.
literally, I had a
the opposite,
girlfriend
honestly.
flip out at me because she gave me wrong directions.
Yeah, sounds right.
She's like, I said go
you don't
left.
follow.
I'm like,
You should understand what she was trying to say.
that was the thing. So she's like, all right, you go up here and you like make a right and then a left. I'm like, I did that. There's nothing here. And she's like, I said make a right and then a left. I'm like,
Right.
yeah. And then it dawned on her she got left and right confused.
Well, that's your fault for being not understanding and making fun of her dyslexia. The fuck, Tony?
It wasn't dyslexia. She is just not. But yeah, the whole day she was mad at me because she screwed.
You should see the way you're driving. You know, like you would tell from left and right which way was the right way to go. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, she would like when we would drive, she would give directions, and she would literally be like,
Just pointing.
"I'm like," because she didn't know left or right. You don't
I
understand.
honestly have the same problem.
It was such a problem that she couldn't even vocalize it. She just gave up at one point and just
That's
went.
what I do. When my boyfriend's like driving and I'm like looking at the GPS, I just like tap on the window, like which way. I swear to God. The other day he got mad at me. He's like, why the fuck are you tapping on the window? Just tell me right. I'm like, I can't think of the word. But then I get like Italian and English mixed up too. So I'm just like, destra, sinistra.
I
right, left.
workshopped this joke earlier and people thought it was offensive. And then you just proved it right.
Sorry, guys.
That was the
Sorry.
scariest part of the movie. I was like, oh
yeah,
no. Like,
yeah.
you can show me. See, I can't relate to being hunted by a witch. I can relate to being given wrong directions by someone who says they're not lying.
That's why it's scary for you. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Oh God, another
Yeah.
actually got like the trains mixed up and we ended up going to like the wrong part of Philly.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool, though.
I'm just like,
But then that's your fault, because why didn't you double check?
I didn't know where we were going. She had the thing and I don't know.
Okay.
It was to look for a house that I ended up not moving in, obviously. So they find a pile of rocks laid out like a burial ground. They say it's like a burial ground, but I don't know if it is.
Yeah, who knows? How do they know? How would they know?
I think they're just guessing.
Yeah. They're just thinking, like, well,
Yeah.
we see all these rocks laid out. What else could it be?
What else could it be?
Yeah.
That's right. Let me see here. One of the guys knocks over a rock. And she puts it back, but she knocks over a rock. And then they hear noises in the woods, and they're too scared to investigate.
Why would you knock over a rock if you think it's on a burial ground?
Did he do it on purpose, or did he like accidentally do it? Because remember they go back.
No, he accidentally did
Yeah,
it.
'cause it
But
was
like,
at
why
night.
wouldn't you be more careful?
Yeah. Speaking of being careful, we should check in on our friends.
Oh
here.
yeah, let's see.
Let's see if
Yeah,
they
I
were-
wonder what they're up to.
Let's see if they were careful.
Dave, our cameraman, is dead. And I can't find Riley. I just wanted to review some movies. I'm very sorry. And I lost the map. And I shouldn't have lost the map. Now, I'm just afraid I'm gonna die. And I won't be able to review some movies.
Well, it looks like things are getting worse.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, speaking of getting worse, it's about to get worse for our characters in this movie. They get lost again.
Yeah.
And Mike is starting to lose it.
Yeah.
And Heather will not show them the map. She's like, no, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, she also, like, she has a compass and everything, too. So she's thinking she's on the right track, I'm sure. She's very independent. Strong, independent woman.
She is not a strong, independent woman. She is not a strong, independent woman.
Well, Mike is an asshole.
Mike snaps a little early.
Yeah.
And I
Mike goes a
understand
little
it's
crazy.
stressful.
How long are they in the woods there? Like a day, 2 days?
Yeah.
And he's already
But
like,
he's got like another job to go to.
Yeah.
The guy has to return the camera or
Right.
else they get like fined. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
That was a problem in my college. They had to increase the fines for cameras
Really?
and start punishing people because the rich students would just check out the cameras and just never return
Oh,
them because they
God.
could afford to pay the fines.
Yeah, exactly.
So they were like, all
Yeah,
right.
whatever. $25. Here you go.
Yeah, they're like, all right, we need to like, if you do it, you're not allowed to rent again. There was like a whole thing they had to do.
That's terrible.
Let me see here.
Yeah, but he kicks the map. The map is gone.
No, that's not at this part.
Yeah, it is.
No, we're not at that part.
Where are we?
We are now, they are back in the tent at night and they're hearing more noises.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that? Fuck!
Oh, God, I just skipped that whole thing. I'm
Yes.
sorry. My bad. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
And it's funny, they're like scared of the noises in the woods, but like,
Well, it could be like deer.
yeah, well, that's what they
Or-
say. And I'm just like, yeah, because like I live in a wooded area now and
Yeah.
my grandparents lived in literally the woods.
There's always something happening.
Yeah, so like
Wind
the
is
sound
ruffling,
that's scaring them, I'm
trees
like,
are falling.
yeah, the sound that scared them, like, it literally just sounds like branches falling.
Yeah.
And again, where my family lived, it could have just been someone just firing guns into the air for fun.
In Maryland.
So yeah, like this is the one part, and I think as a kid, this is the part that's supposed to start to really scare you. And as a kid, I'm just like, I hear that all the time.
Right.
Like,
well, yeah, for
where's the
anyone who
scary
lives
part?
in the woods, it's like normal.
Yeah. So
But I think if you put yourself into that situation too,
Yeah.
like you're in the middle of the woods at night and you're hearing all of these different noises, your imagination starts to go off. Right?
oh no, that happened as a Boy Scout. I would get scared in the woods
Exactly.
because
Like
I would
even
hear
if you
stuff like
hear someone walking or something.
yeah.
Or like
There was definitely
whistling.
noises in the woods that scared me. It's just the noises they're hearing just sound common
Right,
to me.
normal.
So
Exactly.
dude, when I moved to where like my parents were, like I never heard a fox before.
Oh my God, they're so weird.
I couldn't appreciate the "What Does the Fox Say" song. From
Right,
years
because
ago.
you've never heard a fox.
I thought a woman was being murdered.
It's horrible.
I had to like go out. I'm like, what the fuck? And then finally, a friend was like, oh, those are what foxes make.
It's
I'm
the
like, that's what they say.
weirdest fucking sound. That's why they made a whole song about it.
Yeah, but the song is never what they say.
No, it's not.
I literally, it was like 2008. I'm sitting in bed. I was home alone, and I just hear, ah! I'm like what is going on?
Can you imagine being in the middle of the woods and hearing a fucking fox like that? Like, oh my God, I would die.
Apparently, rabbits make really loud sounds when they're being like attacked.
Do they?
Apparently that's like the only time they ever make sounds is they like
Yeah, in
scream
fact,
when
I
they're
don't
being
know.
attacked.
Some bunny making a noise.
Let me see here. Yeah, it turns out the next day rocks were being
yeah.
piled around their camp.
Yeah.
And
That
they're like,
would freak me the fuck out.
that would be kind of scary. If
If
they
you
weren't there the day
wake
before
up-
and then they
yeah.
were, that'd be kind of scary.
Exactly. So now all the sounds make sense.
Yeah. Yes.
Now.
Now the map is gone.
Now it's
we don't
gone.
reveal what happened to the map,
No.
but that comes up in a second. But yeah, they're starting to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Josh was like the calm one until now.
Right.
And she does this whole thing where she's like, it's impossible to get lost in America.
Yeah. Like, do you know how many people go missing in the woods every year?
Yeah.
Like, it is
A lot.
very. You can get lost in the fucking woods right here down the street. Like,
Yeah. Or you can get like injured and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Like,
Something could
who's
happen.
Who's that famous asshole?
There's a lot of famous assholes.
They made a movie about him, the Into the Wild movie.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I know what you're
he's the
talking
guy
about.
who went to live in the woods, like off the grid.
Right.
And then he like, I forget what happened, and he didn't know how to prepare meat the right way, so he just fucking died in, a bus that was left there. And then no one could get him because at that time of year it like floods. And it's been I think they eventually moved the bus because people were going out there to live like him.
Oh, God.
And the park rangers were like, oh my God, stop it.
Right. Like, well, at this point, it's like Darwinism, right? Like, if you want to like go and live in the fucking woods, just fucking do it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Where's their like... I guess somewhere else in the country. Because, like, right now, like, if we go to any park, you walk in one direction, you're going to find a way out.
Yeah,
But,
that's true.
yeah, I wonder what part of the country, like, where the forest is, like, huge.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. I feel like now it'd be
like-
hard to get lost in the woods.
Yeah.
No. Well, also you
Maybe.
have, like, cell phones and stuff.
I don't know. Yeah. And I mean, like you said, unless you run out of food and you can't walk anymore, people don't know that you're gone in
Yeah.
the woods, right?
Yeah.
Which is what happened.
I'm going to go live in the woods.
You look like you're ready for that.
That's been like my thing lately. Like whenever I get like frustrated about something, I'm just like every day I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go live in the woods.
I'm gonna go find the Blair Witch. That's what you should dedicate your life to.
You think she's seen anyone? We're both single, me and the Blair Witch. Do you know what the Blair Witch looks like?
No. Apparently she's hairy, according to that lady.
Well, I can tell you what she looks like.
What does she look like?
So McFarlane Toys, the guys who made Spawn, they did They did the movie Maniac series in the 90s. At my place, I'm sorry, not at my place. The corner of the store that's definitely over there
right.
and not a separate set in my
No,
basement.
yeah.
I have those like
over
horror
there.
movie figures.
Yeah.
Those are called the movie Maniac series. And McFarlane Toys, they were told to make a Blair Witch toy. Problem.
They don't know what it looks like. So how does the Blair Witch look like?
So they made two of them. That's one of them. It's a tree man with horns
That's horrible.
and like a big, he's got like a sigh and a bundle. Oh, he's got the bundle of sticks that comes up later.
Yeah.
Let me see. There was another one, I think. Okay, yeah. And then they have a more feminine looking one. And it's a zombie.
I hate it.
And she has like deflated boobs.
I hate it. That's horrible. Why you gotta ruin the whole like imagination?
I didn't do shit. This is what
It's all your
McFarlane-
fault, Tony. No, because now you're showing it to me. I don't want to see that.
Now you have to imagine that that's what it looks like.
Right, exactly. Before it was like just like a spirit. Like I don't even know what I would think.
Could you
Like,
imagine
Blair Witch
being
is just,
tasked
like,
with that?
The terror of being in the woods alone.
I can't imagine being like, hey,
No.
toy maker, sculptor, you need to make
Create the Blair
two Blair
Witch.
Witches. Like, oh, two characters. Okay, can you give me pictures of what they look like in the movie? And it's like,
Nope.
oh,
Use your imagination.
okay, the best. McFarlane. Actually, no, I'll tell that story for Darkness Falls. Actually,
Oh, Darkness Falls. I love that movie.
there's a McFarlane Toy Story with that.
No way.
Yeah,
Okay,
Johanna
well, I
really
gotta
wants to
watch
do that one. We
yeah.
should probably do that together. Speaking of toys, side
Yeah.
tangent there. Jurassic Park. You know Newman from Seinfeld's in it.
Really?
Yeah, in Jurassic Park, he's the fat guy.
Oh,
who steals-
yeah.
Oh,
Obviously.
wait,
No,
hold
I
on.
knew that, yeah,
I have a
yeah.
visual
Obviously.
representation. Here he is right there.
Oh, jeez.
So in the 90s, the toy company that had to make him, I forget if we mentioned it in the Jurassic Park review, they were like, make a toy off this character, but the role hadn't been cast yet.
Oh.
So when you get the Dennis Nedry toy from Jurassic Park, it's like this muscular guy in this like
not
combat suit
him.
who's ready to capture dinosaurs. And then the movie comes out, it's like, what the fuck?
happened?
Like, it doesn't look anything like Newman.
He was sitting on his couch a little too long. The fuck?
And that was Toy Talk.
Yeah.
For more Toy Talk, go to Peg Warmers podcast. Johanna was on Peg Warmers recently.
Was she?
Yeah, she brought in her porgs.
Her porgs?
Yeah.
Porgs. I feel like I know what that is.
This
But I don't know.
stupid fucking birds from that dumb Star Wars movie, the new Star Wars
yeah, no,
movies.
I have no idea. No.
It's right there.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
She's obsessed with them.
Really? They're cute. That's nice.
And Trisha's last episode, everyone. It's Trisha's last episode.
Save me, guys. Write in the comments how much you guys want me here.
Yeah. So, they assume that people will look for them. but they seem kind of insufferable, so I don't think they would.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't think
Would
anyone's
people
looking
in
for that.
1994, like if they told people they're... So you have to be gone for 48 hours to make a missing person thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would have to like call the police to, I still think it's like we got other things to do.
Exactly. I feel like back in the 90s, people were kind of more about their own business. Like they didn't have social media and everything like that. So they weren't keeping like tabs on everyone.
Or they'd wait longer. Like, oh, they must have like gotten delayed
something
or
happened,
something.
or maybe they're like getting brunch or something on their way
Yes,
home.
they went
Well, maybe
deep
not
into
brunch,
the
I don't know, in the
Burkittsville
90s.
woods to look for a demon monster. They got brunch. I think they got a jacked brunch. Don't Google jacked brunch.
I don't want to.
Everyone
I
else
can
should.
only
I don't think you
imagine.
can
I
handle
don't
it.
know.
Everyone else should Google jacked brunch.
I can handle a lot. I'm gonna go Google this afterwards. What's going on here?
So Mike is losing his mind,
Yes.
and he admits to throwing the map.
Yes. And he thinks it's hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, I threw the map.
Fucking kicked the map. It was bullshit anyway.
Yeah,
we didn't
he's-
need it. We're
yeah.
lost.
Because they are lost. They keep like just going in circles and
Yeah.
circles, and I guess the Blair Witch is doing it, or they're just, or Heather's just not. Heather's mixing up her lefts and rights.
You know why? It's because the guys are making her go crazy. That's why. She can't get her head right because these fucking assholes.
Yeah, that's your theory. Apparently, that's tied to a deleted scene. Tell me about that.
Well, yeah, there's a deleted scene about, how Heather and Josh are like ex-lovers.
Yeah.
And so the theory is that Josh and Mike are actually in this together, and they
Okay.
want to bring Heather into the woods to make her go crazy and then kill her. That's the theory.
That's
It's a fan theory. This is interesting.
that's like the killers in Scream, but like this is
Yeah.
like that's kind of going way out of your way.
But
to-
like it's like Mike and Josh are like acting out this whole thing to like freak Heather the fuck out. But then in the end, something actually does happen.
Heather
So it's
seems
just
like an idiot. I'm pretty sure you could just leave her to her own devices. Like,
Heather's really smart and intelligent, and I love her. And Heather Donahue, if you are watching this review, I just want to say that you are amazing, and you are a strong, independent woman, like I mentioned before. And do not listen to Tony because he is not correct.
also, Heather, if you got any of that sweet, and if anyone would like to send stuff to our PO box, here's the address there. I haven't gone to the PO box recently.
Oh, you should do that.
Depending on like what week it is, there's either nothing there or it's overflowing.
Jeez.
They know who I am. I've gotten to that point where I walk in
You're
and
like,
like,
oh, it's
hack-
Tony from Hack the Movie.
Yeah, they're like, hack the movies. Yeah, we got a whole box for you.
That's awesome. It's great to be famous, huh, Tony?
I'm very famous. I'm very famous. You should start a PO box for Trisha's Italy.
You know what? I should.
What weird stuff would you get?
Oh God, a lot of feet stuff. I feel like I don't know. I get a lot of weird requests.
Do you want to put that out there? If you ask for feet pics, they're not getting them, right?
No, you're not gonna get them. No.
What's the price?
No.
What's the price?
Well, just DM me. We'll talk about it later.
Joanna was on this. Someone offered $50 worth of Bitcoin to see deep cleavage. Not even topless. And she turned it down. I'm like,
Why?
I don't know. You sons of bitches. My DMs are open. I'll do this shit. Like, I need more Bitcoin, you assholes.
Exactly.
Fucking
That's wonderful.
all you broads get
my
all the
God.
Sims. I get nothing. I get nothing.
Don't you get a lot of sims? Don't
No, I
deny
don't.
It. Yes, you do. I know. I've seen your inbox.
No, I get yelled at by people for not liking the new Ghostbusters. Everyone else is getting offered Bitcoin for cleavage pics. I'm like, you assholes. Anyway, so yeah, you think they're gonna try and kill her?
Well, I don't know. It's just a fan theory. That's
Okay.
not personally.
But
what
there
I
is a
think,
deleted
but-
scene where you said Josh like tore up the map or crumbled the
Yes.
map.
Okay. Yes. Exactly. So
Okay.
Josh. Yeah, I skipped that. But Josh actually crumbles up the map. He admits to crumbling it up and then giving it to Mike, and then Mike kicks it. That is a deleted scene. You don't see
Okay.
Josh in on it.
Yes.
So it
And
just
then-
makes Mike look like an asshole.
Yes. And then here we get the most iconic image. Well, second most iconic image. The Blair Witch sticks. The Blair Witch logo.
The logo, yeah.
You gotta put a logo in here.
Oh
so-
God, honestly, like that scene gives me chills because if I think about being in the woods and seeing that,
I'm sorry. Say that again. Hold on.
is it our friends Riley and mint salad?
I don't know. I'll check in a second. But anyway, what were you saying?
if I see the Blair Witch logo,
Yeah.
like I'm just walking around the woods in the middle of nowhere, I don't know where the fuck I am, and
Yeah.
I see this logo hanging there, like what would you do?
Well, if I lived in a universe where the Blair Witch is a movie like this universe, I'd be like, oh, some asshole sold the Blair Witch, I guess.
I guess that makes sense, yeah. Yeah.
If the Blair Witch was not a movie
Right.
and I went in there, I'd be like, fuck's that?
Right, like some cult or something, like some
Yeah.
like satanic ritual.
Because it's just creepy enough without going over. It's not like, I mean, Texas Chainsaw is creepy in a different way, but it's not like there's like bones
No,
and
exactly. It's
knives
just
and stuff.
sticks.
Like it's just sticks. So you're like,
Which is crazy how scary it is.
yeah, it's just a bundle of sticks. That's a lot of word. I wish there was a word that was shorter to describe that. But yeah, it's just a bundle of sticks in the woods tied up. And yeah, I guess I would be creeped out.
Mm-hmm.
If I was in like a real secluded part and I saw that, I'd
Right,
be
exactly.
like,
Like,
uh-oh,
there's nothing around.
going the other way.
Right, because who the hell in their right mind is going to be out in the middle of the woods
Yes.
besides you? But
Well, yeah, I probably would be. Ever get yelled at by a park ranger? I got yelled at by a park ranger.
well, what were you doing? You didn't find enough porn to clean up the park.
Well, me and my friends were hanging out in the woods, not looking for porn. Well, that was the thing. You never go into the woods looking for porn. You just find it.
Oh.
Maybe that's my issue.
Yeah.
Lately. I'm looking for it. I just have
Right.
to go for a
There
nice
you
stroll.
go.
I have been going on Instagram Live, just me in the woods.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, you are. You were in the chat the other day.
I was for like 2 seconds and then I exited out because I was so confused. I was also at work, I think. I don't know.
It was really cold, and I need to move more. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to the park, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to give up. So I'm like, if I'm live streaming like an
that's
asshole,
true. It gives you like
Yeah.
motivation.
yeah, it does.
Damn,
It
that's
does.
a good idea.
Gets your mind off the cold.
That's true.
And then as soon as you're done live streaming, you're like, fuck, it's
This,
cold.
What the fuck's wrong with me? I'm going back to my car.
So yeah, this is the scene that really started to scare me.
Yeah.
And part of it was used for the trailer. But yeah, so they're in the woods, they're in the tent. Well, of course they've been in the woods the whole time. And they hear like kids
Little
laughing.
kids, which to me is super fucking creepy.
Yeah.
If you hear little kids just laughing in the middle of the night, really anywhere you are, I don't know. To me,
Yeah.
kids laughs, it's just creepy.
Yeah. Nah, I don't like it.
No.
Don't like it. A little kid laugh, and there's like a baby laughing.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the
What
fuck
the
is
Why are
going
there
on?
little kids in the middle of the woods? No, thank you.
What would you do? What would you do in that situation?
No, I don't even know. I would probably have a panic attack. I would probably ask Heather for some good stuff because there's no fucking way I'm going to sleep. Like,
Well, I mean, if I hear, like, I'm not scared of kids.
no,
usually.
but like in the middle of the woods at night, in the middle of nowhere.
I guess that is a weird place for
Right.
a kid to be.
No, thank you.
You're not finding that porn in the middle of the woods in the night.
Right.
So you shouldn't be out there. Oh, God. Yeah, you're right. These
Exactly.
kids are evil.
No, thank you.
That is terrifying to think, though. Just like, oh,
Oh,
like,
God,
nope.
yeah. And then like to think like there's nowhere to go and you're in the middle of the woods. It's really dark out. You're
Yeah.
fucking lost.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's fucking creepy.
Chills.
But yeah, I didn't when I was a kid, because at this point, like, it's a common complaint. Nothing's happening. But at this point, like, they haven't been physically touched by anything.
No.
And like the tent just like collapses in
Yeah.
on them.
Oh God. And they just start running.
Yeah, and then kudos
Like,
to
where
Heather.
the fuck are you running? Yeah.
Just
I get it.
anywhere.
Oh my God, that's like another thing because I have asthma. So this movie freaks me out because I'm like, if I have to run and it's cold and it's dark and I'm lost, I'm gonna die.
And you don't have your inhaler?
Right. Oh my God, that's my worst fear. I have to carry that wherever I go.
Have you seen the new Scream?
No.
Oof.
I guess
one's
I'm not
gonna-
going to.
That one's gonna strike home for you. Yeah, the main character has asthma. It's like a plot point.
Oh, no. See, that's my worst fear. Oh God.
Yeah, I guess that would suck.
Yeah.
That would suck. That would suck. You can't live in the woods with asthma.
No.
When a bear comes,
Oh.
you won't be able to run away from
No,
it.
exactly. I would die. I would literally die.
Yeah, but I like when she just turns back and goes, What is that? And it's like, because you're waiting for the camera to, in a modern
Right.
movie, the camera would turn around.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yes, what is it?
What is it? Well, because and that's what's so great about this movie is because the
Yeah.
camera like she's not really focusing on the camera. She's like focusing on her own experience and what's going on. So she's not thinking like, oh, I have to turn this around and capture whatever the fuck it is. Like she's just thinking about herself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like more modern found footage movies, like they're
gonna be like, oh, what is that?
like Cloverfield. He's constantly getting like the shot of like the monster.
You're
and
gonna be
stuff.
way too scared to even.
Like, why are you
think
even
about
still filming? Like, you got the footage of the monster. Get the fuck out of the city, you asshole.
What are you doing? Yeah, for sure.
Cloverfield was another one that did the whole found footage, but with the viral marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got sick when I watched Cloverfield.
Did you get sick watching this?
No.
That's interesting.
I don't know why. Yeah.
Because this is even like shakier.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Are there other found footage movies that get you sick? Because that's like a common complaint about a lot of these movies. They make people sick.
I just remember Cloverfield just feeling really nauseous.
It's weird. I have like the worst motion sickness.
Mm.
And movies don't do it for me.
Really?
I can watch a found footage shaky cam movie and be fine.
And nothing.
That's another thing. I feel like a lot of people wrongly go back and shit on this.
Mm.
But it's like, well, I think you're more mad about all the imitations that came out afterwards. Like,
exactly.
oh god, there's some pretty terrible found footage movies.
Mm.
The Devil Inside. That one sucked. The Pyramid sucked.
Yeah.
They're all awful. Most of the Paranormal Activities after 3 suck.
Yeah.
Did you know there was a new one out?
No. When did that come out?
Like a few months ago. It was on Paramount Plus, that app, exclusive to that. I still didn't see the 3D one.
No, neither did I.
Yeah, we might have to we just did a worst of for Texas Chainsaw. We should do a worst of for that series.
Let's do it.
Because I don't know how
liked the first one.
The first
I was
3.
actually scared.
I was a little let down by 2. But the first 3 were really, really good. I liked them. And then, 4 sucked.
No, I didn't see
I think
that
I
one.
have 4 here. 4 sucked.
No, I just remember the first one. And that was kind of like the same thing, where you think it's like real footage and it's like filming the cameras in the house.
Nah, at that point we caught on.
Well, yeah, we caught on, but still it was like, this could actually happen in real life.
But that took from this. I mean, that one was a little bit more effects heavy.
Yeah.
But it did the whole like, just don't show your monster. Don't show. Apparently, the 3D one they show the monster.
No, it's not fun. I don't like that. See, I like the stuff where you don't really know. You have to use your imagination. That's what's so scary about it.
Yeah, I mean, and I understand if a worse filmmaker tries to do that, it's even cringier. But what are you gonna do? Oh God, there's a found footage movie about astronauts on the moon.
What? Why?
Apollo 18. Yeah, it's about the astronauts that go to the moon, and there's something killing them. It turns out that the rocks on the moon are actually spiders. That's the movie.
Ugh.
I don't remember it being very good. The next day, their camp is wrecked.
Yes.
It is completely trash. And they mentioned there's like blue slime on things.
Yeah.
The blue doesn't really come up on camera.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what the fuck is the slime, though?
Ectoplasm.
Oh.
It's like green slime from Ghostbusters. I don't know.
No, actually, yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense to you. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
And here we go. Speaking of other movies that rip this off, here we get the whole turn the damn thing off cliche.
Yeah.
Which I think already existed. I think there's a scene like that in, Cannibal Holocaust.
Is there?
Have you not seen that Italian work of cinema?
Cannibal Holocaust.
You've never even heard of it?
No.
That was like the found footage movie. It's got like actual animal killings and stuff in it. Yeah, it's Italians thing.
Yeah, it's Italian. I mean,
they don't fucking care.
Well, yeah.
How are we going to do this scene where the guy shoots the pig in the head and the Italian's like, oh, you get a pig and you shoot it in the head. And they're like, oh, Jesus.
That's what he says.
That's what he said.
Like this. Normale.
Hey, do you have the turtle prop when they cut the turtle's head off and eat it? And the guy's like, oh, what a prop. There's the turtle. There's the turtolino.
Sì, tortellina. Tortelloni.
Is that what it's really called? I don't even know. Yes, Cannibal Holocaust was one of like the first like it's like from the 70s, I think. The first like big. It's about like a crew that goes missing in the woods, and then like the whole movie's not found footage, but they collect the missing filmmakers' footage, and it turns out the filmmakers were assholes and treating the natives like shit to fake a documentary, and then the natives had a little too much of their bullshit.
Oh, Jesus. Good.
But yeah, all these movies, they always have a scene where like even the writer can't justify why someone's filming, so they put in a line where it's like, turn the damn thing off.
Yeah, they're getting really fucking pissed with Heather.
Yeah,
They're like, you only care about this, we're gonna die. But honestly, if you're gonna die, why not document it?
I see you have a note here correcting me.
What happened?
I say they sing my favorite song, the national anthem. And
America the Beautiful.
They sing both. They sing America the Beautiful, and then the camera cuts, and they're singing the national
Did they really?
anthem.
I don't remember that part.
God shine your grace on thee
As the twilight You don't have all the words of the national anthem memorized?
I just don't remember them singing it. I thought it was just because they're like, God shine me. I don't even know the words.
Because they're mocking her for saying you can't get lost in America.
Right, exactly.
Spent too much time in Europe, all right?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You don't have the red, white, and blue running through your veins. You need to watch some Hulk Hogan matches.
Oh, no.
You need to watch the Hulk Hogan match at WrestleMania 4 or 5, whatever one was in Trump Plaza, and then that'll knock the America back into
Okay.
Macaulay Culkin's in the crowd for one of those matches.
Oh, no way. Okay, I'll definitely watch it. I love
the camera just cuts to young Macaulay Culkin, like, my good friend Macaulay Culkin.
I know. I'm still so mad at you. You never let me meet him.
If you're
But
wondering,
he saw my face. He saw my face.
if you're wondering why I wore this ridiculous pin of Trisha's face, it was because she wasn't allowed to shoot.
He did not let me.
You were
meet
acting
him.
like it was like a hangout. I'm like, this is like a work thing.
It was a hangout. You were like at someone's house.
It was a work hangout.
Drinking a beer, smoking some weed.
We did. No, we didn't smoke weed. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I didn't. We did go out to a bar in Phoenixville.
I see you.
And I don't know if I told this one. There was this girl just plastered. And she recognized Macaulay Culkin. And she's like trying to talk to him, but she could barely stand.
Oh, God.
And she's like thinking of things to say, but she's too drunk. And her like brother's there, like propping her up. And he's like, all right, we gotta go. And she's like, you. And like, we're all just having fun. We're like, this girl's really trying.
Oh,
and then, like, the brother's like, I gotta take her home. Like, I feel bad for that girl. Because the next day, her brother's gonna be like, you met Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, right.
She's gonna be like, no, I didn't.
fucking did it. I hope someone freaking videotaped that.
Did you ever see that picture of Tom Hanks with the guy who's passed out?
No.
Tom Hanks was at a bar and this guy was passed out drunk, so his friends took a picture of Tom Hanks posing
Oh
with.
my God.
So the next day they sent him the picture. He's like, I met Tom Hanks.
No fucking way.
So anyway.
Damn alcohol.
Oh yeah, so Heather and Josh are really going at it.
Yeah.
Like yelling at each
They
other.
hate
and,
each other.
And you think this plays into the whole that they're ex-lovers.
Well, maybe, yeah. If they're like that
Yeah.
comfortable with each other, they fucking hate each other.
Maybe they're just really good friends.
Yeah, that could be too.
Nah, they're probably ex-lovers.
Probably.
The next day, Josh is missing.
He's not there.
Josh! Like,
Yeah,
she
she's
screams Josh
screaming.
so fucking loud.
Which is good. Josh! If you're trying to find him and you're in the middle of nowhere,
It's
you
a
gotta
little loud.
scream.
It's a little loud.
But, like-
Mike is doing a horrible job at audio, by the way. Because they're constantly using the audio from the camera mic. It's
Yeah.
like, Mike,
There's no
your name's literally
mic.
Mike. Use your mic.
Use your mic. He doesn't give a fuck at this point.
Yeah, they're trying to keep it together at night,
Yeah.
but then they hear him screaming. Now this is creepy.
Yes. So hearing Josh screaming, which fun fact, by
Yeah.
the way, they actually recorded Josh, like the directors of the actual film, recorded him screaming, and then they actually played it at night
Oh,
for the actors to hear. So actually, a lot of these scenes that we see were completely set up. Like the actors didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah, I heard about like the directors will like leave them like notes and stuff in like
Yeah.
the film cans or whatever
Right.
to be like, hey, in this scene you do this.
Right.
this, and this.
Like they give them like little like things like what they should do in the scene or how to act. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like some of the stuff like the what's it called? The logo, the Blair Witch
Yeah.
logo. Like they just like put that there and like the actors weren't expecting that.
That's pretty cool.
So they like wake up and they're just like, why are these here? What the fuck is happening? They were truly scared. So which
Good
makes
job.
it great.
What were their names?
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Eduardo
Sanchez.
Sanchez and Daniel Myrick. You did a good job.
Good job. Great.
One of them
great
filmed
directors.
something for VHS, that anthology series. You ever see VHS?
No.
Both you and Crystal. How the hell have you not seen VHS?
I don't know.
That's an anthology series, but it's all found footage, and they're pretty
Oh.
crazy. They're pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where can I find that?
Some of them are on Amazon. Actually, the newest one is on Shudder.
Okay.
And I gave you my Shudder account.
Yeah, I don't know how you gotta send me that again.
God damn you. Anyway, there's 4 of them. The last one was not all of the little anthology bits are good in each one, but occasionally there's like a really good one that stands out.
Well, when they wake up, right, in the morning.
Yes.
Afterwards, Heather goes out and finds a bundle of
a bundle of sticks. That's a mouthful. If only there was a shorter word. Yeah, she finds a bundle of sticks.
I'm sure there is.
I don't know it. It just surrounded in like
it's Josh's shirt.
Yeah, pieces of his shirt.
Yeah, it's his shirt, and then she like picks it up and then she like throws it because she gets scared.
Yeah.
Which is actually a real reaction. She had no idea, like the actual actress had no idea what was in there. And then when she opened it up, the directors were like, you have to go back and you have to open it and show what's in there because this is part of the movie.
Yeah.
So she was genuinely scared. She opens it up and it's an actual tooth with blood and Josh's
It looked like there was like
hair.
a tongue in there.
It looks like that, right?
Yeah.
But then I went back and I researched it and the director actually says that it was a tooth that was donated from his dentist. A real human tooth they used, and
the camera quality is so poor. You could have just put a pebble in there and it would have blended in. But yeah, I saw the hair and the blood. It really did look like a tongue.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
That's
as a kid.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, and that was like, okay. As a kid, I'm like, all right. I remember I saw this on video like after the theater and stuff. Like I didn't see it in theaters. So I was like, I waited a while to see this. And at this point, I'm like, oh shit. Stuff's getting real. And I've seen that McFarlane toy. I can't wait till the witch shows up.
Oh God.
She doesn't tell Mike.
No.
She washes her hands. She's like, that's nothing.
It's
nothing. It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Well, she's probably so shocked she doesn't want this to be reality.
Yeah. We finally get the most iconic scene.
The number one.
Her with the camera on her.
Yeah.
Being like, I'm so sorry. I'm so scared.
That really like tugs at your heart, this scene.
Yeah, mega snot fest.
Mega snot. I mean, it's disgusting. And it's real. Like, she is an amazing actress. Like, to have the courage to actually go on camera and just snot all over the place.
And to admit to being wrong, I was like, that's great acting. So yeah.
I cannot. Oh, Dio. Any chance you get, Tony. Any chance you get.
You guys tell I've been through a breakup recently.
Tony is very single. You should hit him up. I don't know.
Although, she wasn't too bad, but it's reminding me of previous breakups,
Right,
and all those old resentments are coming back.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah,
her
my Tinder
confession.
profile still. That about me on my Tinder profile, it's not working. I don't.
Please tell the audience you're about me.
So I thought I'd just cut to the chase with my Tinder profile. So it's a picture of me, and the about me literally just says I could be more or less like your dad, depending on your wishes.
It's fucking horrible. Like, why would anyone in their right mind actually message you with that, though? Like, unless they have like a really good sense of humor, and they're just like, this guy's fucking great.
Like, I gotta weed through them. Like, yeah, like, I need some. If you're matching on me with that profile, I was like, all right, I've already eliminated them.
No, that makes sense. Just cut to the chase.
I was pretty fucking proud of that.
Do people actually message you like, hey, that's really funny?
I only matched one person, but they haven't messaged me back.
Oh, God.
I literally said, I'm like, they said I wouldn't match anyone with this. Thanks for proving them wrong. And I haven't heard back.
Oh, like, yeah,
Anyway,
fuck that. I give him a
yeah, so the I'm so scared. This was parodied
so
many times. Oh,
the
fuck.
time.
Scary Movie did it.
Yeah.
We mentioned in a previous episode, did you ever see the Scooby-Doo project?
No, I heard of that though. But
Yeah,
I
you can
haven't
find it
seen
on YouTube now.
Yeah, is it on YouTube? Okay.
Yeah, what you call it? Cartoon Network. They did like a marathon, and they would play commercials that you would like. Each part of the commercial was a different segment. And it was like the 2D animation, but in actual woods. And it was just the Scooby-Doo characters doing the Blair Witch Project. And I think at one point they do the like, I'm like so totally scared.
So totally scared, man.
Maybe this time we shouldn't have meddled.
That's really
I think I even did that in my stupid fucking movie I made when I was 10.
It's
I don't know. That was the scene they showed in all the trailers. Mm-hmm. That was like the big scene they showed in the trailers, along with the "What is that?"
Right.
And like you see the trailer, and you're like, I bet you it's a zombie lady with deflated boobs, according to that toy.
That's what it is.
So Josh calls out to them again,
Mm-hmm.
and his voice leads them to a house.
Right.
And when I was a kid, I was like, wait a minute, a house?
There's got to be someone living there.
No, not that.
Oh.
If you see a house, there should be a path that leads to a main
That's
road.
True. How do you get to that house? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, why are they going
They
in?
need resources and supplies and whatever to live off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's living in that house.
no.
But there should be a road nearby.
Exactly.
Some way to get to civilization if that house exists.
You were
Now-
10 years old and you thought that.
Yes,
See, that's
now-
the Boy Scout in you. That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
it was the Boy Scout of me. Now, I mean, if there was a Blair Witch, I guess they can change the woods and manipulate it,
Yeah.
and they would just be in a loop.
Which is like
whatever.
another theory that's kind of going on
But
too.
the fact that they didn't even, their first thought should be like, oh wow, Josh is probably being murdered. Let's see if there's a way to get back to town. Because I'm not going in that fucking house. And actually, this house reminds me of when I not broke into Penhurst Asylum before it was a tourist location.
How did you do that? That place is still there or did they tear it down? They tore it down, right?
They tore parts of it out. No, now it's like a Halloween
Oh,
attraction.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But we went when it was not in 2008. Me and
Yeah.
Anthony and a
Nice.
bunch of our friends,
Mm-hmm.
Ted and whatnot. We went in there. We didn't break in. The door was already broken off the hinges. We were definitely
technically-
trespassing, but we didn't break and enter. And yeah, I think I might have told the story before, but we were upstairs and I saw that there was someone else.
Did you see a ghost?
I didn't see a ghost. I saw that there was someone else in there with
He'll
a
never admit
flashlight,
it.
and my version of the story is I heroically told everyone about it, and we all ran away.
So what did you saw someone?
Yeah, Anthony's version of the story is I ran away without telling anyone, and then they noticed. I like my version better. I
you
think it was just
definitely
I think it
got
was just
scared.
some asshole kids like us, but we were real scared.
You think? Were they like making any noise or was it just
No, literally, we had the flashlight. I looked and I got hit in the face with the light, and I thought maybe we like reflected off a mirror, but then I saw that it was someone coming out of a room. Holy fuck! So we got the fuck out of there, and then there was another guy outside, but that might have just been like security or something.
Oh my god.
But we drove the fuck out. It was like the best.
Did everyone saw the person
Yeah.
or no? Oh my god.
I mean, we didn't see what they looked like. We just knew that
you
there was
just,
a
like,
person
saw
there.
a figure.
But yeah, now you go to Penhurst. Like I went with Mike Matei and Aaron Plays a few years ago.
Nice.
And my braveness came back when I was in Penhurst. Because remember, my version of the story, I'm very brave.
Yes, of course.
And when we were there, someone touched my leg, and that scared me. So to make sure there weren't any more scary things, I just ran as fast as I could to the end of the haunted house.
You're so courageous.
I was. And you know, when I came out, I'm like, hey, I made sure there was nothing. I would have came back if I thought it was too scary.
Right, exactly.
I definitely didn't run away.
No, of course not. Who's normal?
Very brave.
So brave, Tony. God, I'd love to go to a haunted attraction with you.
When I went with Mint and Riley this October, Pennywise the clown kept following us.
Oh no.
But like he waited in line with us, and then he was in the haunted house with us. But to the point, like we kept getting scared, and then Pennywise would show up, and I was like, "Oh, thank God, it's just Pennywise!"
It's
Like because we were
just
so
him.
used to him. I don't know why the actor just kept following us.
Oh god, that's terrible. I hate clowns.
So yeah, they go into the house
Yeah.
because they're idiots.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Like I understand why they would because they want to find Josh and make sure that he's okay, but like he's screaming, so he's probably dead.
Yeah,
Or he's about to die.
Trisha, full disclosure, if I'm in the woods, I mean, if we're wandering in the woods, something's gone wrong already. But if you ended up in a house and I hear
You're
you
just gonna leave
screaming
me,
in the
right?
middle of the night,
Yeah.
you're gone. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Tony.
I'm sorry.
See,
Thoughts and
this is
prayers.
Courageous Tony. Addio. Ciao.
Because I was
He's
too late
gone.
to save you. I got to save other people from
Oh,
going in
right.
there.
Okay, good. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I get that. Yep. So courageous. I'm a
No,
goner.
there's no way anyone would go into that house.
Remind me to never go into the woods with Tony.
Unless you had like a fucking assault rifle. I'm not going into that house.
That's true. Yeah,
I'm gonna
you
be
don't know
like,
what the fuck's going on.
Fucking to talk about Scream again, the character Sydney, she's just after 5 movies, she's done with bullshit. Like, there's a scene where she's going through the house with the killer, and before she opens any door, she just shoots through the door just to be silly, because it's like, she's like, nah, I'm not fucking around here. Bang.
Exactly.
Okay, he's not in here. Bang, not in here. That's what I would be. If I had a gun, I'd be like, bang, bang, bang. Trish, are you in there?
Oh, God. At least you would save me. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I might end up shooting you, but whatever. So yeah, Mike goes into the basement and his camera falls. Mm-hmm. It's like, uh-oh.
Now what?
That's not good. And the whole time, Heather's just screaming and screaming. And she decides to go into the basement.
Why? Like, out of all the places in the house to go, you go in the motherfucking basement. There's no exit.
Yeah.
It's dark. It's scary. It's musty. It's probably moldy.
I'm sorry, nah. Not going in. Not going in. But she does go in, and she sees him. She sees Mike in the corner.
Yeah, he's just standing there.
And then someone knocks her out, and the camera
It just...
spazzes out.
The end.
So who found the footage?
Huh.
Did they get attacked by a witch in there? Or did the witch, did the witch see the film camera and be like, property of blah? I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna get fined. And
Yeah.
now I'm picturing the toy witch, the tree demon, being like, I'm returning this. I'm a witch.
This. I don't want them to get fined, but they're dead. The fuck?
I just would like to return this to its. I'm an evil demon witch killer, but I'm not a thief. Here you go.
Exactly, right? Like, I'll kill everyone, but I'm never stealing anything. Oh, Jesus. The Blair Witch.
Well, people aren't going to want to go into the woods and film stuff if they realize they're not going to be able to return their cameras.
That's true.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's got to keep people wanting to come back.
Exactly.
And people will rent less cameras to students if they're getting killed in the woods and losing those cameras.
Right, exactly. And then, yeah, it's the whole thing. Gotta fix that.
So, this ending, what was your initial reaction when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, it was just like, what? What happened? I don't know. Like, I was just really scared in general.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think deep into it, like, oh, who got the footage or anything like that. So that's like a really good question because you're thinking if they're really in the middle of the woods, who the fuck is going to go out there and just find this random house?
I mean, eventually people have to search for them.
True.
And I guess if I'm the park ranger, I'm like, well, they probably ended up at that murder house. Let's go over there.
That makes sense.
I remember being 9, 10, whenever it came out on video and going, what?
Right. You're just like, what happened?
I'm like, this movie sucked. I was like not happy as a kid.
Well, yeah, you're Tony. You're very skeptical anyway.
But like, I'm also watching like horror movies where like demons are all popping out and stuff. And I'm like, the whole movie, I'm like, they hyped me up for that?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
I can see that. But at the same time, like, they just left it very open-ended.
I then watched it again in high school.
Yeah.
Video production teacher showed it to us for some reason. And then upon rewatching, I'm like, oh, you know what? No, I'm less. Well, I'm definitely more cynical. But I've refined my film palette. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of like this more. And then I watched it again in college. I'm like, you know what? When I started doing my own documentary stuff is when I really, really started to appreciate this. And I'm like, this movie's pretty great.
That is.
Yeah, it didn't need a sequel. Didn't need 2 sequels.
No, it didn't. No, not at all. Well, you know, the directors actually have like 4 different alternative endings. Because
are those available? I never watched them.
I'm pretty sure they're available. I haven't seen them, but I know that they have 4 different ones because like the producers were like, this movie ends in such a way that everyone's just going to be like, what the fuck? Like, you made me sit here and watch this and we don't even know what the fuck happens. Yeah. So they made 4 different alternate endings, like kind of, I forget. I think one of them is like Josh comes back, or I don't know if that's true, but like all different things happen, and then they just went with this one in the end, the original ending, because they're like, why do we have to explain it? You know, just leave it open for interpretation.
It's the opposite of Paranormal Activity. Did you ever see the original ending on that? I think there's 2 endings.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, the one original ending is she like kills the boyfriend.
Right. Okay.
And then the cops come and the demon leaves her and she's confused and then they shoot her.
Right.
I think there was another ending But from what I remember, apparently Spielberg watched the movie and suggested that she have like a scary face because Spielberg's full of bad ideas these days. So that's why that movie, it's like, all right, you have to give them something. So they're like, here's a scary demon face at the end. And I don't like that part, Paranormal Activity. I'm like, yeah. It's the very end, so who cares? Right. Oh, the other one is she kills herself.
Oh.
She walks in and slits her throat, I think.
Oh.
Yes.
I don't remember.
But I like that this did the opposite. It's like, well, let's just
leave
keep it vague.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it vague.
No.
I understand. Like, I was annoyed back then. I think me being annoyed was more of a result of the hype around the movie.
True.
And not the movie itself.
Well, you never see like who the actual Blair Witch is, which I think is like why a lot of people were pissed off about it.
I think it's because the movie had such a big promotional push and the spiral marketing. Like you were expecting something big.
Like a big,
and then it's like,
scary bundle of sticks.
Yes. The bundle of
I'm here to return this video camera. That's what she does in the end of the movie. The alternate ending is her going to the fucking...
She gets on a broom and is like, ha 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 ha, flying monkeys. Like, this is the most stereotypical one. So I appreciate it way more now.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I think it's a great film. Like, looking back, I think what makes it a great horror movie is that you don't see what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see what the actual thing that you're afraid of. And it kind of makes us think about what scares us and how we would feel in that situation. And I think that the acting was tremendous, honestly, for like such amateur actors.
Mike
they
like
were
freaking out.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, I know some guys who would do that.
Exactly.
Now,
yeah.
Have you seen The Last Broadcast?
No.
You know what? I don't remember if I saw it or not.
Well, we need to watch it.
We should.
Because I love
Was that filmed locally? All right, so The Last Broadcast came out before this.
Yes, 98, right?
Yes, and I think that movie was like famous for actually being like broadcasted into a cinema like digitally. That was like the first one that did that, I think. I forget what it's about.
The Jersey Devil.
The Jersey Devil, right.
It's like the same thing, but they're looking for the Jersey Devil.
Yes, and they apparently tried to sue the Blair Witch people and then stopped.
Oh, well, actually, I heard that the Blair Witch was done filming in 97. And it took them 2 years.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That happens sometimes. Like we mentioned in our Dread 3D review, everyone says that movie's a ripoff of The Raid. And first off, cops caught in a building with bad guys, that's just Die Hard, if we're going to be real technical. Right. But Dread was actually filmed first, but since it had so much visual effects in 3D, it came out afterwards. But everyone's like, this is a ripoff. I'm like, no, it's first.
Exactly, yeah.
So maybe that's why they backed off. But so a few years back, I was in a hotel room party in LA.
With Macaulay Culkin or
no? A lot of things happened that night. One of the guys at that party was like real weirdo, ended up running for Congress. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
So we were there, and this guy, it's like big exec dude. He brought his friend who claimed to have been one of the producers or directors of The Last Broadcast.
Interesting.
He claimed.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we were talking about it, and he was still bitter about it.
Really?
He was still bitter.
About like the whole Blair Witch copying?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, like we were talking about it, I'm like, man, you're not like over it? Like that was a while ago.
That was like 25 years ago.
That was a while ago. Like I know it sucks, but like, come on, man.
I guess like no one's heard of The Last Broadcast. At least I had.
The only time people hear about The Last Broadcast is when you're talking about the Blair Witch.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
We should watch The Last Broadcast. We'll make that a Patreon bonus.
All right, let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to throw some allegedlys here. I allegedly met someone who alleged to have been the filmmaker behind The Last Broadcast, and they were very, very bitter about it still.
Allegedly.
Or that was a crazy person who was lying to me. I don't know. There was
I mean, if they're that bitter, I feel like it's true.
I'm not going to lie. There was a lot going on that night.
Welcome to LA.
I've not seen The Last Broadcast. We like this movie. Let's finally check in.
Yeah, let's see what they're doing.
Let's see what happened.
Let's see what happened.
To Riley and Mint, our good friends.
Curious.
Riley? Tony? I swear to God, this was the address for the Screenwave offices. Where could they be? I don't understand. Where are they? Riley! Tony! Oh God. I think I see something in there. Oh God, it's not them. Oh no! Fuck!
Well, that ending was kind of a letdown. Whatever.
Hi,
Trisha.
guys.
Trisha, where can we find you?
Well, you can find
In the
me
woods?
Not in the woods.
Oh,
Tony.
darn.
I'm not going to live in the woods like you. I am on all social media at Trisha's Italy, YouTube. Well,
No.
trying to do my YouTube thing, but you know, it's a little hard.
Yeah, I was going to say, your last video was like 10 months ago. You should probably get back on that.
I'm trying to do that, guys. I'm trying to. But I have a website, trishasitaly.com, and Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, so you guys can follow me for Italian lessons and daily Italian culture videos.
And
so.
you should go back and watch Cannibal Holocaust.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
Yeah. You should read about it, though.
Maybe.
No, because the director,
I'll research it.
the director, had to be brought in and prove the actors weren't dead because people thought it was real.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, no, they're not dead. It's a movie.
No,
Oh, God. Oh, God. Let me find the actors. Oh, God. They're alive. They're alive. I swear.
So funny.
And you can find me in your local state parks looking for porn in the woods.
Collecting porn so that no one watches it. That's
Yes,
what
I
he's
collect it.
doing.
I catalog it. I put it in a folder. Again, my last copy that I found was in 2002. It's been a rough couple decades for porn woods collecting.
You need a new career, Tony.
And hey, if you're a creepy pervert, come on, let's continue the legacy. Throw your porn in the woods. As long as it's legal porn. I'm
God,
going to put
who
that out
makes
there.
Who makes me do this shit?
Also, you can find me on Patreon, patreon.com/hackthemovies. We have some fun stuff on there. Recently, me and you did a Ghostbusters 2016 commentary track.
A wonderful film. Definitely don't recommend it.
What was scarier, the Blair Witch or Ghostbusters?
Fucking Ghostbusters. The fact that you made me watch Ghostbusters was
Yeah,
scary
Trisha
as
didn't get to
shit.
be in, well, you were, but you didn't get to be on the panel for the all-female Ghostbusters episode. Because you're like, I'm leaving the country.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Italy.
Yeah. So to make up for it, we put her on the commentary track and we watched it early one morning.
Yeah.
And it was very miserable.
Wonderful.
It's a miserable
It was great.
experience.
I had coffee. I needed to put like sambuca or something in that fucking coffee to get through it.
So check us out there. A lot of stuff on Patreon. Download the podcast feed. One day I'll do voicemails again. They're piling up.
Oh, yeah.
I keep
love
forgetting we have a
voicemails.
lot of Dr. Harley Quinn voicemails
I
for you.
love Dr. Harley Quinn. I just want to say hi to him. He's a really good friend. Hi.
There you go. There's your Twitter for the week. It's gonna be blown up. Yeah, I will continue voicemails. Hopefully this next month coming up, I'm gonna get back into it. It's just I had to stop, and then everything's been so last minute. But I think I'm back on track.
Let's do it.
track.
It's 2022. We got a new year. We're gonna-
Yes, and yeah. So let us know. Do you like the Blair Witch? Should we do Blair Witch 2?
Oh, yeah.
Should we do Blair
I
Witch
would.
26? Oh, but I will
2016. Oh,
what I will recommend, and I streamed it a long time ago, the Blair Witch game that came out.
I really want to play this shit. Did you play it?
Yeah, I just said I streamed it.
Oh, yeah, obviously. You just said that. No,
I
but
have it
wanna
on my
play it.
PC. If you would like to play it, we could play it.
I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten today, so I need to
Okay.
get food. My brain's not working.
Yes, the game, I don't know. I don't remember it having too much to do with the movie, and there are like stick demons
Well,
in it.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I was watching an interview with the director of the Blair Witch, and he said that the video game is very similar to the movie. Whereas, like, when you see the stick figures of the Blair Witch, that means that you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way out. I don't know. That's what he said.
He's lying. But it is a very good game. You have a dog.
Yeah.
It's you and your dog lost in the woods being hunted by stick
Oh, I
demons.
thought you meant I have a dog. Like, yeah, I have a dog, Tony. Yeah, what does
No,
that have to
in
do
the
with it?
game you have a dog. You have a cute dog that's going around with you. And I think you're looking for like your brother or something.
Why do I have a dog in the middle of the woods? The poor dog's gonna die. I
I think
like
at one
that.
point you do find it dead.
Oh.
But yeah, it's like you gotta like pet. Actually, there's like the whole thing, like you have to be
yeah.
nice to the dog and pet him occasionally so he's on your
Aw.
side. No, it's a fun game. You ever played
That's
like
weird.
Outlast or Layers of Fear? It's similar to those games. But yeah, I actually kind of want to play it again.
Can we do like a VR version?
I don't have a VR. I don't think it was a VR game.
It should be.
I didn't make the goddamn game. I'm
Damn
sorry.
it, Tony.
But yes, maybe I'll fire up Twitch again. It's been a long time since I did Twitch, but we are premiering during the daytime now.
Nice.
So I have Monday and Thursday nights again.
Yeah,
Thank God.
there you go.
Thank God.
You can play video games so that all the kids don't have to.
Unless at this recording we've only done one daytime premiere. unless they're doing very bad, in which case, oh, God damn it, I don't have Mondays and Thursdays anymore. We'll find out.
We'll find out.
All right, goodbye, everyone.
Ciao.
Talking about tapes.
Hi, everyone. Tony from Hack the Movies here, and welcome to Talking About Tapes here on the Hack the Movies channel. Hello, Joe from Movie Dumpster.
Hello, Tony from Hack the Movies.
Hello, Trisha from Trisha's Italy.
Buongiorno, Tony.
Oh, I see you finally wore your leather suit that you were supposed to wear in the Matrix episode.
I am, and I'm really happy that you gave it back to me after the Dune
No,
episode.
okay. God, you guys. All right.
Finally.
It was on loan.
It's clearly different. You have a silver zipper.
looks
Yours
the same
doesn't
to
come
me.
with booties, like the little boots that are attached.
I cut them off.
Oh, fuck you.
You use them. Your
feety
nasty
pajamas.
feet were in them, so.
The collar's different. Yeah, so me and Joe dress up like cool guys for the Dune episode.
Totally cool, guys.
And then every single person's like, oh, is Tony wearing Trisha's catsuit? It's like, which, by the way, that only tells me that Adam and Eve ad did really well, because that's literally the only time you wore it. Like,
Well, no, she wore it in the Matrix episode. She
for
appeared.
5 seconds. Yeah, that's
I
right.
remember.
But yeah, people remember, and then they're like, oh, Tony's wearing it. But just Tony. Like, you're also wearing the suit. But they're like, no, only Tony's wearing the leather suit. I'm
I
like,
don't
why?
exist. I don't exist.
Yeah.
It's only Tony is the man here.
But then I'm just like,
Obviously the
and then I go on Instagram, someone says it, I'm like, hey, Trisha, squash this rumor. And then you're like, oh yeah, that's totally my cat. I'm like, fucking hell.
Remember.
Anyway, I assume you're dressed all dark and gloomy because you really relate it to the character of Kim in today's film,
Yes.
Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. Not the Blair Witch Project 2.
That's your first mistake already.
Whatever that means. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's build up to that. So this movie has a lot of problems. I did not see this. I didn't see this till like years later.
Oh, really?
I remember seeing the trailer for it, and I'm like, what? This doesn't look like what I thought a Blair Witch sequel would look like. And this is when I was younger and wasn't ready to take risks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why aren't they just in the woods with cameras again? That's what I want. So I didn't see it. I saw it years later. I'm like, wow, this movie's really bad.
Bad doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of the shit
Yes.
that this movie is.
Yes, when did you see this?
I saw it when it came out, and I've already reviewed this movie, by the way.
Oh, you have?
But I just can't seem to outrun the devil. And here
Well,
we are again.
I learned some things about this movie. When did you see this? Because you're like the resident Blair Witch fan.
I know, and I saw it as soon as it came out, and I remember really liking it when it first came out, of course.
Well, because we were kids, and it was like, oh, it's the
Yeah.
new horror movie that's out, and everybody's talking about it. MTV.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, there it
was
is.
scary. Like, it was fucked up for like an 11-year-old, however old
Sure.
I was. So
Yeah,
it was pretty messed
I can
up.
see that. So there were problems right away. So the original filmmakers, Artisan Entertainment, how are they doing these days? They were like, hey, Haxon Films. Blair Witch did good. Let's do another one. And apparently the filmmakers were like, nah, we're not ready yet. Let's like wait a little bit.
Sure.
And then Artisan was like, goodbye. And they just did the sequel without them. All right.
Big mistake.
Off to a bad start. This is the last writing credit of the late Dick Beebe, who wrote House on Haunted Hill the year before this.
Oh, really?
Which is one of the missing episodes of Talking About Tapes, but you can find it on Odyssey. That's one of the ones that YouTube glitched out.
Oh,
yeah.
shoot.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, but I did like House on Haunted Hill. I do like the House on Haunted Hill.
So is
a
it
good
Dick
film.
Beebe's fault? Is that why he's never worked again? Because of the last movie that he wrote?
Well, he died 8 years later.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if just things were going on in his
He
life.
died 8 years later. We have to go to the tape because video never lies. Got to make sure what happened to that
Because
guy.
I was like, wow, this is his last
The
writing.
video
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
lie.
This is his last writing credit. I'm like, what else did he do? And it's like died in 2008. I'm like, oh, I guess I didn't look too far into it, but I'm like, hold on, 1 second. 1 second. Sorry.
Tony, we're literally in the
Hello?
Is that Dick Beebe?
Hello?
Hi, this is calling about the rent-to-own homes. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm actually reviewing Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. Have you seen it? Do you have any opinions on Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2?
Why?
Wow, you're really quiet. It's almost as if you're a computer and you don't know how to reply to the question, have you seen Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2? So I bought a place recently, but when I was looking for places, much like...
I thought that was a real person, and then you just screwed up your rental.
No. So, there's two things that happen when you look for an apartment and when you're looking for a job. Eventually, your number will get on something, and you'll just get spam calls
big time.
all day long. And I've been getting spam calls all week long.
Mail.
Oh yeah, so we'll talk about that another time. Anyway, so Dick Beebe's dead. Rest in peace, Dick
R.I.P.
Beebe.
Sorry.
This is directed by Joe Berlinger. He had a lot of experience doing documentary stuff, which is shocking that this is not a found footage movie when you think about that. This is his only like traditional kind of film up until a few years ago. He directed the Ted Bundy film with Zac Efron,
Which also sucked.
Why are you pointing at me like that? Like I know what you're talking about.
I was pointing at him because I think you mentioned it in a recent episode.
It's not good.
It's not good?
No, because look, I get it. Like, it's a satire, sort of. But I think Ted Bundy's such a prolific serial killer that I think painting him in that light and then exposing them to people who don't know who he is or aren't familiar with the story to a movie like that is a bad idea. They like glorify it. Ted Bundy has been talked about as like being handsome and stuff, but like you don't cast fucking.
He's really not. No, my friend.
He's ugly.
My friend Dick made fun of it on his podcast recently. He's like, he had a fucking unibrow and shit. It's just like you look better than what you would expect a serial killer to look. He wasn't a handsome guy.
Question mark. Anyway,
but no, they glamorize it because.
Don't you want to fuck Ted Bundy?
No, because
I do. Don't you?
Right, of course.
No, that's the thing. White women definitely do. You know how many obsessed?
Problem. It's an issue.
Yeah,
why are you all so obsessed with true crime and glamour?
What do you mean you all? Oh my God. It's not all women.
There's also nothing wrong.
It's all white women. It's all white women are really into true crime.
There's nothing wrong with
Jessica. If you're editing this, how many true crime podcasts do you leave a note?
I have no comment. I don't know.
White women love true crime, and they love the glamorization of like real murders for some reason.
Not glamorization of real. Well, I guess maybe some of them. Maybe some of them do. Not you. I'm saying not making blanket statements. But like it's interesting to read about serial killers and their stories and stuff.
The media that promotes all these killers can affect people, which is the theme of this film.
You should start hashtagging this with like hashtag true crime. You'll get a ton of subscribers.
Shout out to my friend Carl. He does a true crime podcast called The Creep Off.
See, it's a guy.
Yeah, no,
it's a white guy.
No. This is like they kind of made this podcast because they hate a true crime podcast, and they try to make comedy out of some of the worst stories I've ever heard. Definitely listen to The Creep Off. Anyway. The film is about how media can influence people.
Is it?
Well, that's what it was supposed to be about. And then the studio was like,
nah.
We're going to chop it up and add a bunch of bullshit.
Here, we're going to put we just need some more gore in here. I tell you what, Berlinger, go in your backyard, film some bullshit, we'll stick it in the movie 5 weeks before it gets released. Yes. What do you say?
Yes, that is literally what happened. And then they titled it Book of Shadows. Did you guys see a book in this movie?
Only the one that dude's writing about shared hallucinations.
Were there shadows in it?
I don't think so.
Maybe the shadows are the hallucinations. Wait, that makes sense.
Oh.
Wait, now we're coming to something. Okay.
See, you really have to have an artistic thought process going in this film to really appreciate the deep things that are going on here.
Yes. There are some subliminal things that are cool in this, but then there's also random images that are part of a game called The Secret of Esserever Reverse.
Lest we forget Shadow of the Blair Witch 2, the mockumentary that accompanied that. Before that, I
think did a second mockumentary.
Yeah, because I think, isn't Shadow of the Blair Witch connected to this one?
Well, there's Curse of the Blair Witch for the first movie.
Yeah, Shadow of the Blair Witch is this one.
Oh, okay.
It's for this one.
So there's a game that you can play with this movie, this tape. At the end, it gives you all the rules. And you have to reverse the tape, much like the characters do in the movie, and you find all the clues, and it gives you a message. And I was like, Trisha, this is going to be awesome. We should play this tape. And then I found out that this big movie YouTuber, Cecil Trachtenberg from Good Bad Flicks, he already did a video on it. And he played the game, and it got a lot of views. And I was like, well, shit.
That's okay.
Like, well, that would have been really fun to do. However, shout out to Cecil. He actually helped me with this movie. I watched his video.
Yeah,
he DM'd me. He's a big Blair Witch fan, like you.
The first one, not this one.
I like the first one and the 2016 one.
We still haven't seen the
I haven't seen
2016
Oh my
one.
God! What? Why do you guys keep sleeping on that one?
I don't know.
Check it out.
Because it looked really bad. Anyway.
It looked really bad. It looked really bad. I don't know.
Yeah, and I didn't see this one right away either, Joe. Like, anyway, he really helped me out with this. His video, it shed new light on it. So I went into this movie with with a different mindset.
Yeah.
And it colored my viewing on the second or third watch through. But yes, before we get into the movie, Trisha, it was your birthday last month.
Oh God.
And you weren't here.
I wasn't. I was in Italy.
Yeah, you weren't here.
That sounds lovely.
However, I'm seeing something with my mind's eye.
Oh no, Kim.
I think it's in this box. I think there's something in this box for you, Trisha. It's your
Should I open
birthday
it?
gift.
Really?
Yes.
Is it a bag of?
I'm seeing it with my mind's eye.
Tony, what is this?
Pull it out.
Oh God, no.
Pull it out. My mind's eye sees.
No, you didn't. No.
It's the Todd McFarlane Blair Witch action figure.
Oh wow.
It is the stickhead variant. Fun fact: the one on the cover there, the feminine variant, is very expensive. And Trisha, you're a good friend. You're not a $300 good friend.
I couldn't believe the price when you told me that. Because
Nor
most
are
of the
you.
McFarlane
Nor
stuff-
are you a $400 toy signed by Heather Donahue friend. I'm
Honestly,
sorry.
I think I am.
Well,
I'm worth it.
I was looking for a place. So yes, that is your
That's
birthday gift. You
awesome.
finally have the Blair Witch.
Thank you. I've always wanted this.
So now when you watch the
Since
Blair
the
Witch
last
Project,
episode.
you can sit this next to the TV and you know that this is out there. Well,
Exactly.
Well, no, that'll
No,
block
I don't
you.
know how to.
It's too big. McFarlane, your shit's too big.
Is that the witch from this movie?
Yeah, wait. No. Yeah, it's promoting both
Blair
films.
Witch 2.
Own on VHS or DVD. It's just so funny. They hype up this one and then they mass produce this one.
That makes no sense. It
Yeah.
looks nothing like.
Well, they mass produced both. He always did variants of stuff
Well, you can't find the other one.
because that's the one people wanted. I think more
Yeah.
than the Tree Witch.
Anyway, let's get in.
Thanks, Tony.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. You're such a
welcome.
good friend. Get off.
I'm a great friend. No, I'm not a $400 signed by Heather Donahue and the other guy.
That's okay.
friend.
Next time.
So this movie, and this threw a lot of people off. This is what they call a meta sequel. This is where it's like the previous movies are movies in that universe. An example would be Wes Craven's New Nightmare. A modern example would be Human Centipede 2, where it's about a guy obsessed with the first movie.
Yeah.
So it's one of those. Hellraiser Hellworld, which I watched recently with Henry Cavill, Superman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, one of his early movies, he gets killed by Pinhead. So yeah, I don't think anyone expected that to be the case. And that was the case. How did you feel? That they're like, hey, that first movie didn't happen.
I think that. I don't know.
How did you feel, Joe?
You're wrong because it did happen in this movie.
No. So in this universe, everything from the documentary, The Curse of the Blair Witch, everything, Rustin Parr, all the
that all
backstory happened. Just the movie was fake.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But everything else happened.
So
and like
so you have a movie
yeah.
in the wake or the fallout of the actual Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
Based on nothing, fictional things, but still adopting Blair Witch lore.
Yes.
And working it into this movie like it was a real thing.
Yes. Yes, they were real excited about their lore.
Fucking stupid, dude.
So apparently this did happen with Burkittsville, Maryland. Super fans just flocked the town.
Did it really happen?
Yes. If we do Blair Witch 3, can we go to Burkittsville, Maryland?
I think we should.
We should go to
honestly.
Burkittsville, Maryland.
That would be awesome.
Do interviews with the lady that sold rocks.
Yeah. So I do kind of like the
best
opening
part.
with like they're showing like all the actual footage. Roger Ebert and stuff is in there.
Best part of the movie because you're like, oh, okay, we're gonna just do the found footage thing again,
Exactly.
and do but a little bit different.
Yeah, and you're right. I do love the old lady. She's like, yeah, we sold rocks, and I just say that they're from the Blair Witch, and people were making stickmen. By the way, there are hidden stickmen all throughout this film.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
notice.
subliminal stickmen.
Okay.
And again, I'd point them all out.
Mm-hmm.
But Cecil already did
He
that
already
in
did it.
his video 8 years. And by the way, it wasn't even like I'm
That's
just like,
true,
oh, 8 years ago. I'm like, oh, so this has been covered for a while. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I noticed that. Yeah, it's been out there for a
I
while.
really like good bad flicks. They're a good friend.
It's a great channel.
Yes. Let me see here. Oh, speaking of good bad flicks, you have a note here?
Well, yeah, from the Good Bad Flicks review, I really like his reference to Italian playwright and author Luigi Pirandello. Of course, we always have to mention the Italian.
Yes. We have 2 Italians and a Sicilian here.
Oh, wait, what? Tony, don't freaking make
She's
me
already
mad.
defended me, so I'm good.
Trisha gets mad when Sicilians pretend they're not Italians.
I didn't
Sicilians
pretend that.
are Italian. So if you are Sicilian, you are Italian. I just want to clear that.
You think they're jealous
Thank
of
you.
You know
Malta?
that Tony doesn't know that.
Are they jealous of Malta? It's like, oh, damn it, Malta got out of Italy.
Malta,
Listen.
it's another country.
Yeah, but it was part of Italy.
Sicily is very proud to be part of Italy.
Okay. Okay. Not according to
not
the
getting
comment
into
section of your
this
TikTok. Anyway.
Well, we're on Hack the
They're
Movies.
Italian-American.
When
So,
we're
yeah.
here, we're family, right, guys?
Yes. So 6 characters in search of an author.
Yeah,
Tell
so
me
there's
about
the
it.
6 characters in search of an author, which is the name of the Luigi Pirandello book. So each character actually represents a part of society. And
Yes.
so as Good Bad Flicks goes into it, when you guys check out his video, you can see the different roles that each of the characters
Yeah, they represent
bring.
like how different people reacted to that first film, or just like urban legends and stuff in general.
Exactly.
We find out Jeff was in the hospital when the first Blair Witch came out, but he saw it eventually.
Yeah.
And he's
And capitalized
really,
on it.
really into it. And then we get flashbacks of him in the hospital, and this apparently was all added by the studio in
Sure was.
post because they wanted to make him look like he was like a crazy killer dude.
psychopath.
And it's the worst
It
hospital
was
set.
horrible.
It looks like a set from like 1965.
That's what I was
Yes.
saying. Like all
Yes.
the nurses are like 1950s dressed. Like,
Yeah,
like, it
the
makes
doctor
no
smoking in
sense.
his
Yeah.
face.
I
and then
expect to see like Renfield down the hallway, right?
they're shoving.
They're like
tubes-
shocking him with
They're
stuff,
shoving tubes into his nose and stuff.
feeding
and,
him
like,
oatmeal or chicken broth, whatever that is.
Yeah, and like it never looks real.
No.
It never, like the padded room. I'm like, that's the best padded room you
Yeah.
could do. Like,
But we also never come back to this really. It's there to like flesh out the character question
because it
mark.
wasn't in the movie.
No,
because it was added 5 weeks before the movie came
No,
out.
sure, yeah, but like apparently there was a whole thing where the reason he's in the hospital is because he like stole a baby and
Yeah.
like took it out into the woods or something like that. That's not in the movie.
Did he?
That got cut out.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Or it wasn't shot or something. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
There is no alternate cut of this, right?
Well,
Is there a fan edit?
yes and no. I'll
Okay.
get into that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, didn't mean to jump the gun on that
No,
one.
that's okay. That's okay. There's no official,
Okay.
and there's probably a reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was supposed to start with Frank Sinatra music.
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
That crazy
That-
witchcraft.
Which would have like been like, oh, that's funny, a really happy song to set up the thing. But since the writer did so good on House on a Hill, they're like, nah, throw Marilyn Manson in there.
Right.
The artisan was like, MTV, baby.
Yep.
Get Marilyn Manson in there. We're going to get Rob Zombie in there.
And those were very smart decisions. How's Artisan doing today? Yeah, so we also get random images of people getting murdered. Also filmed way later. All the images of like the murders, the studio was like, nah, we need some murder in there.
Just random flashes.
Throw it in there.
This film was a lot more gorier than.
Yeah.
I mean, The original didn't really have any gore.
Imagine like not having to show something and be scary.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Can you, Joe, give me an example of a movie that didn't show anything and was scary?
No, not show anything, but not directly. Like I don't like the Blair Witch function. The first film, there was no crazy special.
The Blair Witch Project. Oh yeah, that is a good example. That is a good example.
Are you patronizing me?
No. I'm joking. I'm like, it's like, no, it's funny. It's like, why did they add all this?
Right,
this
why
is
did
a
they do
sequel
it?
to a movie
They
that
know
didn't
that it
do that and
works.
was very popular.
It did gangbusters and was made for nothing.
Yeah.
And like,
It's
why
making
wouldn't
too many noises? I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. She's
No, it's okay.
squeaking over here.
We had to do the whole Dune episode.
Oh, yeah,
of
it's
that
like-
stuff.
It's so
I was like, I
annoying.
swear it's not gas. It's yeah. Yeah. The idea of Artisan being like, let's make this a movie and not a shot on video found footage movie is just fucking insane
Yeah.
to me. Like, it's bizarre. How many paranormal activities just were like, okay, we're gonna do found footage for like 5
Paranormal
movies.
Activity. Learn the lesson from this
Oh, big
to
time,
not
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the framing device is all fucked up. Like Jeff is being questioned by the cops.
Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, by the way, I love the sheriff when he's yelling into the woods like, there ain't no goddamn Blair Witch.
Get out of these woods and go home!
And I'm
Get out
like,
of my woods.
and I'm watching. I'm like, yes, there is. Trisha has an action figure of it right here.
A variation thereof.
Yeah. So,
When he's questioning Jeff there with like all the
he's like, there's blood in your van. And then this wasn't, they moved all this around, the interrogation. It should not have been, or there was a better way to do it, and they did not do it well.
Sense. It was just confusing.
So
you ever see like a Quentin Tarantino movie? You ever see Memento? Let's like do that. With
oh
the
my
editing.
god, no! The late '90s, early 2000s were like everyone trying to do that's fine. You don't have to play a movie
Non-linear
linear.
storytelling.
Yeah, you can have a non-linear movie, but there were filmmakers that tried to do it and were not. Although this isn't the filmmaker's fault.
No, this is an
the studio
afterthought.
editing
Yeah,
fault.
this is an afterthought.
Yes. So
You've been a pain in the ass in this town since you were 10. That's my best accent.
Pretty good.
So yeah, he is running a tour, and it has a couple, Steve and Tristan, and they are writing a book. Tristan believes in the legend. Steve is a skeptic, and then they have the girl from Erica from the Texas Chainsaw remake.
Sure do.
Who's the Wiccan?
Why? Look, I get it. Like you mentioned before, how Good Bad Flicks went into like each one is a stereotypical character of society. Yeah. It just does not work the way that they want it to work.
I already made the joke in the previous Blair Witch episode. I'm like, I met a couple witches. They're mostly girls who went through breakups. Did I mention the moon cult in that one?
No, I don't think so.
I knew a couple of girls who, like, after a while got, like, real into this group of women who, like, are really into dancing and praising the moon.
That's nice.
That's okay.
And then they both, conveniently, both of them have been through bad breakups. And then after they got boyfriends, I never saw a post about the moon again.
Now they're living deliciously, Tony. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Kim, the goth girl,
who's my favorite. I like her.
Yeah, you texted me when I was watching this before I saw Good Bad Flicks, and I was just like, this is a shit film. I told you I was watching it, and you're like, I like that one. I like the goth girl.
I know, that's really the only thing I could remember about this movie. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's the best takeaway from this film, for sure. Kim Director as the goth girl.
Yeah, so she is hanging out on Eileen Treacle's grave, who was in The Curse of the Blair Witch. She was one that was killed by the Blair Witch, right?
Drowned,
yes.
By the witch, yeah.
Yes. And then
Treacle.
for one shot, her name turns into the word further, and that's part of the game that's at the end, which we would have played.
Oh.
But then someone beat us to it.
Keep in mind, how late does the VHS come out after the movie's already in the theaters?
A while. I'm sure this stuff was not in the theater. I'm sure they added this to the VHS release to make you want to buy the movie.
Yeah, probably for the game.
Yeah.
This did shit at the box office. Put a game in there.
No, actually, it
Hidden
didn't do bad at the
messages.
box office.
Did it really?
I think it did fine, but it's one of those things where, like, the reaction was bad. They're like, oh, we're not going to get lucky with another one.
Yeah, I don't see how anyone would not want to go see The Blair Witch 2 after seeing the first one. So I'm sure it did well, but...
Yeah, it did well, but it's one of those, like, people shit on, like, the M. Night movie, Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah.
Because the reason they shit on it is because Jackson Rathbone's body double was really bad. Had they cast me, who got paid for one day to try on outfits to be his body double, I'm pretty sure the movie would have been more well received.
Right. Yeah, you
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
But that movie actually made a ton of money. But the reception was so bad that the studio was smart, and they were like, we're not going to get lucky a second time. No more sequels. Goodbye.
Well, this is on
an
the Tales
example
of
of
Sixth
that.
Sense, no?
Huh?
This is right on the Tales of Sixth Sense, and they were
I
like,
think
remember
so, yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan put all that stuff in his movie. They're going to love this shit.
But yeah, no, like, this is an example where, like, the movie did well, but they were smart, realizing a third one would not do well.
They were dumb from the beginning of this production.
Well, obviously.
Yeah. So don't call them smart ever again.
Well, they were...
They were trying to put a Band-Aid on the
Well,
situation.
some people fuck up and then they just keep going. They were
Yeah.
smart. They quit after they fucked up the first time. Do you have a note about the...
Oh, no, I just thought that the goth girl, Kim, was Heather from the first film, just dressed up like a goth chick.
Wait, so you thought it was Heather? So Heather...
just came back. I don't know. And she was, like, not like her, like, in the actual, like, from the actual movie, but, like, the actress.
Oh, no, this is totally
Like,
different
for some
actors.
reason, they had, like, the same voice, and I don't know.
They look nothing alike.
They also thought it would be fun to use the same names of all the actors again.
Which they did in the first one, but the last names are changed.
But
they weren't allowed to use the last names.
But those are nobody people. That's why it worked. These are like actors in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, they're on the Blair Witch Hunt tour. And they're going to go to Rustin Parr's house and film it. The house that is demolished, which apparently happened in real life because so many people kept going there.
So they just destroyed it.
And they're like, someone's going to get hurt. Let's pull that fucking house down.
Oh, jeez.
Kim is a psychic.
Question mark.
She uses her mind's eye.
She just tells people things?
Yeah. She's like, oh, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
You're pregnant. Oh, you don't want to keep it, right? Your husband wants it. You want an abortion. She's like, hi, I just met you. My name's Trish. What the fuck?
If somebody came up to me and said that to me, I would like get him into chokehold and be like, who are you? What are you doing? How do you know all this stuff?
Exactly.
I mean, if someone came up to me and told me I was pregnant, I'd be like, hold on, wait, hold on.
Not pregnant, but just like anything.
The movie Junior wasn't lying to me.
I mean, it's possible.
Who knows?
So yeah, they get to Rustin Parr's house and there's a magic tree there. Any comments on the magic tree, the significant? I didn't watch the documentary. Was there a magic tree in the documentary?
Like Granny Willow from Pocahontas? It's talking to him and shit?
Yeah, right.
Like Treebeard? Or the Great Deku
accurate
Tree?
Documentary film, Pocahontas. I think there is in the video game, the new video game. By the way, there were like 3 early 2000s PC games for Blair Witch. I kind of want to hunt those down.
I want to play those.
But yeah, the new one, which I am going to get in VR. I think there is a part with like a real weird, scary tree. So maybe it had something to do with something. But yeah, the guy's like, where the fuck did this tree come from?
But again, we're in the universe where the Blair Witch does not exist.
Yes.
Right.
No. The legend exists. The movie was just fake. It's like if we made a movie about the Jersey Devil. It's like, obviously our movie is fake, but there was this pre-existing legend. That's the universe we're in right now.
But the legend of the Jersey Devil is a real legend. This is a made-up legend.
Well, in this movie, it's a real legend.
I think it's dumb.
Joe, I didn't make the movie. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm mad about it.
Blame the writer. I mean, he's dead. You're going to have a hard time reaching him. But, just...
he was going out like this, baby.
Let's just text Heather Donahue.
Yeah.
That's what we
Be
should.
careful what you say about Heather goddamn...
No, I'm trying not to. I was going to, and I'm not going there. We're not going to cut it out.
I had to edit the last Blair Witch movie the day of because I made an obvious joke, but YouTube's system is broken, and they technically thought I broke their terms of service because I told Heather Donahue to mail us some stuff that she is involved in, but it was clearly a joke, and YouTube was like, you can't do that. I'm like, shit. I'm like, editing it out.
You can't solicit that.
Heather Donahue, you're on my shit list.
Then she really owes you now. Right?
Exactly.
Heather Donahue, you can make up to it by just sending nice stuff to our mailbox.
That's exactly what you can do.
Yes.
Nice stuff.
Nice stuff. Then we get more images of murders. Get used to those. Whenever the movie thinks like, oh, the audience might get bored, throw some murder in there.
Those poor foreigners. They
Yeah,
don't
we
deserve
find
to
out
die.
who they are. So Wiccan Girl
Yeah. Sigh indeed.
trying to communicate with the witch. May I have permission to take this leaf? Thank you.
May I have permission to take this leaf?
Thank you.
It's nice. I think it's very sweet how she is with nature.
How did she die in Texas Chainsaw? I want to go back and just watch that. I want to put that scene in this movie.
She tried to run away, and I think Leatherface like just totally like chainsaws her on the ground. I want to say.
God, if Leatherface just showed up
Yeah.
in this movie.
Oh, God.
All the Wiccan stuff though isn't even like actual Wiccan stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, Wicca's about the earth or whatever. Okay.
By the way, at one point, it's sorry, you again, typical white woman. She's just like, we're already an oppressed minority, witches, and the movie made things worse for us. It's like, oh my God, shut up.
Was that a thing when Blair Witch came out? Was there a
Probably
big
not.
backlash from the Wiccan community?
But I can
Sure there was.
just see a woman being like, oh, this movie's gonna make my life really hard. It's like, I just want to
No,
like,
I won't be able to practice anywhere.
it's like, yeah, you're very oppressed, witches.
There's a lot of stereotypes around witches, though. And I do feel bad for Erica, so.
Well, I hate witches. As I mentioned in the Midsummer review, they were a problem because they kept taking everyone's brooms and flying away. And then people couldn't clean, and then the rats came, and that's how I got the Black Plague. Witches.
Yep.
They're like, oh, how am I going to clean up all this trash? That witch flew away on my broom with her flying monkeys.
If they're not like making deals with the devil and doing black magic, I don't want to fucking know about it. Like,
doesn't matter.
Also, now this might shock you guys, but I have it on good authority. Witches aren't real. Anyway.
You don't say?
Yes. I mean, we'll see what our 2.5% female demographic has to say to that.
Witches aren't just female.
Yeah, you also have warlocks.
Yeah, what do you think about warlocks? What do you think about the movie Warlock?
Oh, Julian Sands, sign me up for that.
What do you think about the movie Warlock 2?
If anyone
The
is a
Armageddon.
witch or a warlock or whatever, please leave a comment and prove Tony wrong. Prove him wrong for once.
That always pissed me off in Harry Potter. They're like wizards and witches. It's like, wait, no, it's warlocks.
Well, wizard is like the light side of the warlock thing. So like if they it's weird with the witches because it's just white witch or a dark witch, I guess.
Yes, I've seen Wizard of Oz.
No,
One of them
I'm
is in a
saying
pink
though.
Bubble.
Yes, so wizard and warlock, they're two different things. One practices good magic, one practices bad
Where's
magic.
this one's broom? I did
head.
like that the Vivitch
Her
had
head
a witch
is her
flying
broom.
in a broom with the broom.
Oh yeah, well that was like classic folklore.
Yeah.
That's a great flick.
I did go back and watch Haxon again, the movie I talked about,
Excellent.
the black and white one.
Yeah.
Man, that movie's so fucking
Is
cool.
it good?
Witchcraft through
yes.
the ages, baby.
So where are we at here? So yeah, everyone has. Oh, Wiccan Girl implies that Heather should have boned those two guys in the tent.
Should have.
Sex magic. Now we're fucking doing some Aleister Crowley shit. What are we talking about?
I told you there was like a love triangle. I told you.
Yeah, and it was when those cameras went off. Who knows what happened?
Exactly.
Well, things when those went off, something went in.
So everyone has a unique take on the witch, and it leads to some conversations and arguments. And again, this is kind of interesting.
Sure.
I could see how this could have been interesting.
I wish it was a handheld camera, like walking through the
Yeah.
woods talking about this kind of thing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like they were
And
actually
had
doing
a documentary
research.
guy do it. Why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't you?
But yeah,
Well,
they
he wanted to
run
make a
into-
real film, Tony.
They run into a rival tour. The Blair Witch tour. He's the Blair Witch hunt. They're the Blair Witch walking
This was
tour.
so ridiculous in my opinion because it's like, okay, you have people from Germany, from China, and they're just coming to this small town in freaking Maryland
Yeah.
to find the Blair
People do
Witch.
that. People travel to see
I
stupid
know,
shit.
but it was cringy.
You know, people come up here to run up the fucking steps of the art museum and then we'll go in. Like, it happens.
It's cringy because it's like racist as hell. These racist stereotypes.
Right, exactly.
A coffee in a rock, and it's like, oh my god. Okay,
there should have been an Italian guy there.
a coffee in a rock.
Flipping a pizza, like, oh, where's the witch?
Exactly.
I love the video you did recently, like, no one knows what this is. You're like, stop doing this to your grandmother. Anyway. I do like that they tricked them, but they're doing, like, they're so obviously lying. They're like, yeah, we're scared because we saw something at Coffin Rock. And they're like, yes, Coffin Rock. There are many scary things going on there.
I know. The way he was acting was so obvious.
Yeah, and then they're just like, well, we got to go to Coffin Rock.
Yeah, because we want to camp out at Rustin Parr's house. So
Yeah.
get out of here.
Yeah, like we'll switch.
Obviously.
And if you missed the first episode, how dare you? And if you never saw the first movie, I don't know why you're watching this, but thanks for being here. Like, share, and subscribe. Coffin Rock is where they found 8 dead bodies strung together, but then they went missing when the cops came back.
Right.
So that's where they send them.
There's also stuff of like these Civil War era people like getting arranged in a pentagram.
Yeah, that was the Coffin Rock.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
and
yes.
the heads of the children that Rustin Parr killed.
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then everyone parties hard.
Hold on.
Yeah.
They're already smoking like 3 fucking doobs, and they're already like 3/4 of the way down a bottle of Jack Daniels before they run into these people. And aren't they like screaming at them in this part?
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
get out of here! We're the Blair Witch Hunt.
I do that all the time. I
Yeah.
go to the woods, I drink, I have a couple shots, and then I just immediately start yelling at
Yeah.
people.
This is a 15-year-old woods party. Like
Really?
this
They
was
are
me.
They are
Yeah.
way too old to be having this kind of party in the woods.
We just asked our friend's older brother to get us booze and we got some weed from some shady dude in a 7-Eleven parking lot, and we're going out to the woods to do these
God
drugs.
damn, I hate it.
And then they're
Fucking-
gonna find porn because
Yes!
they're gonna clean it up.
That's
All right, now that I have
coup de grace.
now that I have a man on the show, woods porn. You're familiar with it?
Yes.
Thank you.
I went into a deep dive of it on our Critters 2 episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the way, it's so funny. Like, she was like oblivious to this. I loved how many comments we got from people being like, "Oh yeah, I found porn
I
in the woods."
cannot believe that that's an actual thing,
Yes.
though. Like,
I don't know how women don't find the porn in the. You're in the same woods as us.
They're not walking through it though.
Like, you guys are sticking to the trail.
If there's a party, they'll be there.
Nazgul would get
Right?
you in a second. But us Hobbit
Exactly.
people, we're finding the porn.
We're looking at the porn, Mr. Frodo.
That was the happiest moment of my life, just seeing so many men being
Agree
like,
with
yeah,
you,
Tony,
yeah.
I remember
You're
fine.
right.
And then like having that, because that's how much it affects you as a kid. Like specific memories of what kind they found. They're like, oh yeah, I found a Hustler magazine. It was this cover.
that's crazy.
It had to gotten there by like, again, stealing it from your dad or your friend's older brother or something, and like
Yeah.
bring it out there and just leaving it there because you couldn't take it home with you.
right.
Yeah.
Let's go look at the porn in the woods.
Exactly.
And leave it here
It's
for
those
somebody else to
parties,
find. Yeah.
right? When you go to the party, you're like, hey, here's my porn.
I hated woods parties. I fucking hated woods parties.
Why?
Like drinking in the woods. I just didn't like it.
I love it.
Yeah, I think I've been to one, and I was like, this
Well,
is-
because we lived in like Northeast Philly, so we had like the woods, but it was still around.
Well, no, when I moved to Bucks County for high school, like everyone had parties.
A woods party out here probably would have been cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Woods party in the city because you could still hear
No,
the city.
yeah,
Like
that
it was a higher chance that a cop would walk
No,
through
yeah.
and look
Sure.
for you.
Yeah.
I'm sure on Facebook there's a picture of someone that took a picture of me peeing in the woods during a party because I was so bored and they thought it'd be funny. Just didn't like woods. I liked hanging out in the woods.
Yeah.
I just didn't like specific. We're underage. Let's go drink in the woods parties. I just never got into them.
I was a fan.
And these guys are all way too old for this.
They're like 30 something.
Yeah.
And we're like smoking doobs, we're drinking booze, we're taking mushrooms apparently.
Also, the one's pregnant.
And one's pregnant.
One is pregnant.
I wonder why.
She hasn't made up her mind yet, and she's getting hammered.
Dude, she's making up her mind right now while she's slugging that Jack Daniels.
But speaking of her, she has a dream where she's drowning her baby, like the Blair Witch did, and in the water you see a stick man figure. And then she wakes up and she's like, "Huh, that was weird." And then all of their stuff is destroyed. The book that they were working on, shredding.
Everything.
The camera equipment
All the
destroyed.
gear. Yeah.
It's raining from the sky. There's
Yes.
pieces of paper raining.
Yes,
on them.
Erica is the only one who's like
Explosion.
fully dressed, so she's suspicious. And then Kim, in her mind's eye, she sees the tape. Every time she said mind's eye, I just wanted to punch the TV.
Do you know where they are, Tony? They're exactly where they found the tapes from the original Blair Witch.
Which wasn't real.
Which wasn't real.
Which wasn't real.
Thank you.
Which wasn't real.
Thank you. Thank you. It wasn't
The house
real.
began
Which
to
wasn't
pitch
real?
the witch a switch.
Too funny.
Um,
Oh God.
yeah, Erica, they're my tapes. The way he delivers
They're my Betamax.
Yeah, Erica, they're my tapes.
the way he delivers that line is so funny.
So funny.
So Trisha has a miss. Trisha.
Oh no.
Jesus
I'm so
God,
sorry,
Tony.
Trisha.
Jinxing. Like what?
Tristan, sorry. Tristan.
Wait. They think that those foreign people came back and trashed their
Oh,
host.
yeah.
After
Oh,
a
yeah.
crazy night of partying and getting totally shit hammered, they think those poor people came back and
Oh,
wrecked
yeah,
their
we
shit.
got hammered and blacked out. It must have been those other people who broke everything.
They
It's
totally
like,
trashed
well,
my cameras and ripped my book
Ripped
into
it.
tiny little pieces.
Look, I've gotten blacked out a couple times, and I've woken up to the results, and I never blamed anyone else. I was like, yeah, I probably did this. I'm
dude.
a little ashamed of
Yeah.
myself.
Well, that anxiety.
It wasn't the Blair Witch.
I never woke up and went, yeah, the Blair Witch.
That was definitely the witch.
that damn Blair Witch.
Maybe that last time, right? Maybe.
Well, that one time it was the Blair Witch.
It was the
actually.
Blair Witch, yeah.
But all the other times it was probably me.
Right.
But yeah, so Tristan, I'm sorry, TRI.
That's fine. Yeah, you know,
It's okay.
just reading fast.
She has a miscarriage because that's what we needed in this
Right.
movie. Apparently the studio
Yeah.
wanted blood and gore, but they were against like the bloody crotch.
Right.
You can't have blood come out of a vagina. That's unacceptable.
terrible.
And I strongly agree with
No,
that. And
what
I voted for certain legislation on that, and the constantly
Oh my
keeps-
God! Would you?
You not. I don't know why I do these reviews. I'm so mad. Ay, Tony.
So anyway, so instead of, so this is horrifying. And then, all right, so they cut back to like the interrogation. So I'm thinking the interrogation is happening this day.
Sure.
But that's not the case. This interrogation is for later.
Because it's cut like shit.
Because it's cut like shit, yes. Because it was not supposed to be in the scene.
Right.
So instead of grieving or getting help or just processing what happened, they take Tristan to Jeff's place, the Scary Factory, to look at the tapes and find out what happened.
Why would you go back to this dirtbag's house?
Yeah.
Your girlfriend or your wife or whatever just had a miscarriage. You just went to the doctor. You are going we are going home. That's it. The excursion is over.
And Jeff bought a Scary Factory. How do you feel about his factory?
It's a friggin' disgusting bachelor's pad.
He got it from John Kramer. He bought it for $1.
Jesus. He's still freaking chicken in the fridge.
I love his security.
Have anything to eat.
I love his security system. Is
like
dogs barking on a speaker. Like that scares people.
Oh,
and there's only one bridge to get into the building. Apparently.
So ridiculous.
That he can't afford to fix.
That he can't afford to fix. But here's where he makes it. I like this is where he makes his stick men and merchandise to sell on eBay.
Is that his full-time job? Is that what he does?
Yes.
I guess.
That is literally what he does.
How does he afford all this video equipment?
No, he makes a lot of money doing this Blair Witch shit.
How many people, how much is he charging for a stick figure on eBay? Or dirt from Burkittsville?
Yeah.
People will buy stupid shit, Joe.
I'm not arguing that, but the idea of selling enough money to buy this entire, like, I don't even know what, CIA television with all these monitors and shit around.
If there's something stupid, people will spend money on it. I don't know if you know the show, but there was once the show, and they got like 5 or 6 women to sign a copy of Ghostbusters 2016. And it sold for over $300.
I think we were out to dinner and I almost fell out of my fucking chair when you told me that. I was like, oh boy.
That was
gold.
By the way, that guy's a super fan. He loves that he got that tape, the DVD.
That's the most money that's ever been spent on that film, I feel like. You think so? Maybe.
Other than the money spent to make the movie, that is the most.
Exactly.
I got banned from a subreddit for that.
Did you?
The subreddit that hates me, they got they got so mad
because a fan bought the tape or because of your
they were making fun of it, and then I posted a link saying like, come on guys, pay me, and then they said it was self-promotion, so they finally banned me after years. But they were they were fully expecting no one to buy it, and then it sold, and they were like, fuck. Anyway,
I love how you can go say awful shit about people, but don't you dare tell them about anything that you're working on.
Exactly.
So I couldn't believe this. So the first time I watched this, I missed this line.
Oh.
I'm assuming it's been like a few days.
Did you have to play the game to get this?
No.
Okay.
I assumed it had been a few days or a week. But no, Steve goes, last night when we were camping, I'm like, wait, she had the miscarriage
like
this morning?
Yeah. Oh, apparently she has hypothermia and she's cured.
She has
Everything's
hypothermia
fine.
and a miscarriage, and the doctors were like, oh, that's messed up. Anyway, you're free to go.
Here's a blanket and a Band-Aid.
And she's not like, I need to go to the hotel. I need to like call my mom and cry.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
Do this. He's like, no time for that, honey. We got to go look at the scary tapes.
Jeff's nasty factory.
He's like, you killed my baby. Let's go to this dirtbag's house and watch these tapes. In the middle of the woods.
I'm like, the same day? What?
We're not friends. Nobody's friends in this movie. These are strangers.
Here's what happens when I'm Jeff. I'm like, hey man, if you find something on the tape, let me know. I gotta take care of this. I'm not like being like, oh yeah, honey, get the fuck out of bed. I'm not paying for an overnight stay. We gotta go watch the scary tapes. I could not believe that. So the first thing they find out is the magic tree is missing from the tapes.
Oh no, who knows why?
Somebody cut it down. Rustin Park cut it down.
And they see a flash of dead bodies at Coffin Rock.
Oh, who could that be?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And yeah, they're this whole part of the movie. I feel like this is something that I would like in any other movie. All the weird visuals and trippy dream stuff.
It just doesn't have any place here. Like, as the rest of this movie goes on, it's just a bunch of things happening that don't have a means to an end.
And that's the thing. I think it's meant to be like, oh, it's all psychological, but it doesn't feel that way. How do you feel about the little ghost girl going backwards? Like, you brought it back with you.
Cheap.
I don't remember that part.
Was that added? I feel like that's something that might have been added.
Again, these are all connections that you should have watched that other documentary and watched the fucking tape and played it backwards and did the game to understand any of the stuff that's going on.
Yeah. Steve cries in the future when he's being interrogated.
It was an accident. I swear to Christ, it was an accident.
Because we're about to watch a scene of him trying to hook up with Erica.
Yeah.
She's like seducing him and then she like slices his stomach open.
Oh, that was so disgusting.
But then they snap out of it and they're staring at each other and they're
across
just
from
like,
the
did we
table.
just have a weird dream? What's going on there?
We're having shared hallucinations, Tony.
Yeah. There's
Like
a
that-
reason
like that
he
book that
has
guy was
that
writing.
hallucination that ties into like the twist at the end.
Because he's fucking crazy?
Which again, well, no, when they find out like what happened when they were blacked out, it ties into that. And again, this would all be interesting, but the movie is just so choppy and the acting sucks. Like, I'm sorry, the acting's not the best. Not that they're bad actors. I've seen a few of them in other things, but they're not.
Thankfully,
really.
they got more work after this.
Jeff just looks too late 90s with the.
right.
Nah, I can't do it.
Cliche. I don't know. I really like Kim though, but
Yeah.
goth girl.
So they find a naked girl on the tape, and it's Erica.
Oh, can you zoom into her face? Of course we can.
I can digitally scan it and up the resolution. I'm like, that's not how that works.
No. You can't do that with magnetic
Enhance.
tape.
Enhance. I loved, so you could do that with film.
Yeah.
That's the thing. People don't realize that because they watch CSI and they think it's real. No, you can't enhance like digital caps off at some point.
Yeah.
Like there's no enhancing it. Film
Right.
you can upscale.
Well, from a master. So on actual film, you can scan it and blow it up.
Because it's light on celluloid and stuff. But like there are certain movies, like what is it? My friends talked about it, like Tron Legacy, I think. That movie's always going to be locked at 1080 because that's the highest resolution they filmed it in.
Yeah.
A lot of movies digitally are filmed in like 8K and stuff.
Yeah.
So eventually they can be upscaled, but they're going to hit a point where you can't upscale them anymore.
Don't need to.
You don't need to.
Nope.
But this is like a thing. Movies kept doing this. We're like, enhance. Like, that's not
how that works.
It's not how that works.
I love how it's like blocky and then it's like click, 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 click. And it's just like it's clearly like a zoomed in shot. Like they took another shot.
Jessica, if you could play the Futurama episode where they make fun of that, where they're like, blow it up, enhance. They're like, no, that doesn't actually. It's just a bunch of pixels. They're like, no, that's just what it looks like. We don't really.
Magnify that death sphere. Why is it still blurry?
That's all the resolution we have. Making it bigger doesn't make it clearer.
And I'll be damned if Jeff has the technology to do it in his dirty bunker.
Oh, he's like, I'll do it in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
And I'm like, no, fuck you. So the naked girl on the tape was Erica. I thought this was weird. Like, so the actress is naked on the tape. And then every other time she's naked in the rest of the movie, she's got her hair covering her. And I'm like, was that...
Dude, too much boobs. You can't have too much nudity in this.
Yeah,
you need to market it to the
Like
kids.
a studio thing, or if the
PG-13.
actress is like, I'll do it on shitty VHS quality, but not with the real camera.
Well, you can't make out you can hardly see them nipples.
But yeah, people are starting to lose their cool. They all start getting runes on them, and Erica has the thorn rune from Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers.
That's me having a stroke.
Yeah, so she's in the Cult of Thorn, I guess. This takes place in that. Now, does this take place in the theatrical cut of Halloween 6? Or
This is the producer's cut of Halloween 6. This is also the original intro scene to Halloween 5 in the same universe.
So Kim is like, oh, fuck this, I'm gonna go to the store. And I didn't know this until I saw Cecil's video, but the repairman is Rustin Parr.
Interesting.
And I'm like,
the ghost of Rustin Parr.
Yeah, and
fixing
he does
a fucking refrigerator.
Yeah, and he does the whole like, I'm
What a way to
finished
spend
now.
the afterlife.
Yeah, he does the I'm finished, and it's the same actor from the documentary.
Who cares? He gets up. Oh, I'm done with that Coke machine.
No, he never gets up. He just disappears. But I like his tools are laid out like a stick man.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I like little shit like that,
Yeah.
like creepy little stuff like
Sure,
that.
in a better movie.
Yeah, in a better movie, yes. But yeah, if you didn't remind me about that documentary, if I didn't watch this video, I would have been like, what the fuck was that?
What was that?
Who Who cares?
That's my point. You need to watch fucking 5 other things to even figure out what's going on in this.
So Kim
And then the
argues.
people in that freaking town are so rude.
The
so mean
dudes
for
are
no
being
reason.
assholes to Kim. She's mean to the
lady
girl at the
just,
front
like,
desk.
Hits her with her shopping cart.
Yeah.
Like, what is she filling the shopping cart with? Because I didn't get that. Was that like yogurt?
I don't know what the hell was in the shopping cart.
Filled.
Beer?
It was the Book of Shadows, apparently.
We don't like your kind around here. Get out of here, you.
I do like
You goth person.
So Kim argues with the girl filing her nails.
And then slits her throat or something.
No, she just fights with her. She just argues with her.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I do like when she walks out, like the gardening tools are just covered in blood.
That's kind of cool.
That's like a cool visual.
Yeah.
She gets attacked by those asshole dudes. And then she almost runs over the kids that Rustin Parr killed. They just show up for like a split second and cause an accident.
Again, more lore that you need to get from the documentary, or else you don't know what the hell's going on. It's like, where were these kids?
Yeah, that's true.
No.
Everything's tied in.
Now, if you're a Blair Witch nerd, sure. But, and don't act like you're not a nerd. You got the fucking toy.
I can officially
come on.
say
It's
I'm a
really
Blair Witch
embarrassing.
nerd.
I don't feel so horrible anymore.
She's got a stickman tattoo on her back.
I figured.
Tony, you weren't supposed to tell anyone. Damn it.
So, Blair Witch nerd. Okay. Jeff turns around and he's a guy in an electric chair. Was
What was that about?
that Rustin Parr? Like, who did
No,
he
why
turn
would
into
they-
there?
Unless they electrocuted Rustin Parr for his murder?
Yeah, but when Rustin Parr killed those kids, there was no electric chair.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It's
yeah,
like the
so
1800s.
Who was the
Yeah.
electric chair guy?
Shocker from Wes Craven's Shocker.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
Brian. It was Brian James from
Wait, that's
from
right.
the
Shocker
horror
can
show.
travel into TV, so
Yeah.
he traveled into the movie for a second.
I'll be back.
So yeah, he turns into a guy in an electric chair, and then he's like, coffee. He's so weird.
I hate the way that he treats
Caffeine.
Erica, though, because she's like his servant.
Yeah.
Like, go get me coffee now.
Well, he's a cult leader. That's why he brought all these people to his house, because he's brainwashing them.
Coffee.
Here's some green tea.
Oh, damn it. It didn't work. It didn't work. Thank you, by the way. So, the next day, the van is totaled. Like a dinosaur crushed the van, I think. Like, the way the van is totaled for being parked, I'm like, all right, a fucking T-Rex just wandered in and stomped on it.
I mean,
Because that's the only thing that makes
something
sense.
else happened.
A T-Rex who's also a witch. It had a little hat and a broom.
I'll just put a pin in that because I want to come back to that later.
Okay. They're like, our van is totaled. And then they all have runes carved into them. But in the future, when they're being interrogated, the runes are gone. Kim's like, what the hell's going on?
Must have been a witch.
They also find out that Erica's missing. And she lied about her parents because they call her parents and they're like, we don't have a kid. And they're like, I don't
have a son named Jerry.
They're like, we know you disowned her for being a witch. They're like, no, we literally never had a kid.
But do you think that was part of the hallucinations?
Who's to say?
Yeah.
Who is to say?
Were they all on LSD like from the beginning?
Yeah.
And they were just taking dabs.
Well,
we're going for the
Steven
Blair Witch.
suggests that they're all suffering from group hysteria.
Right.
Yes, there's a French word for it, and I always forget it. I forgot the name, and I didn't look it
I
up.
try not to remember any French word because I don't care.
Maybe there's an Italian word for it. Group
Italian
hysteria?
words, Italian and Sicilian words matter. What's the?
I don't know.
Sicilia, right? Did I get that right? Okay.
So yeah, I love the sheriff calls. And he's like, put on that goddamn TV. Darn tootin'. It's like, I don't think the sheriff knew what people in Maryland sound like.
He's the worst too, because like he's the big cartoon character of this. So any semblance of seriousness, as soon as he walks in, he's like, "Goddamn!" With his
But I love
fucking
I love that they turned the TV on and the sheriff's just behind the reporter being like, what the fuck did you do? You murdered blah, 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 blah. And at no point does the reporter go like, pause, I think we have new information. Sheriff, do you want to say that louder?
Get out of my goddamn woods.
So yeah, apparently they found the other tourists all murdered and strung up at Coffin Rock.
Yeah. But I love when they turn on the TV, though. It's like, as soon as they turn it on, it's like, breaking news. Like, okay.
Tony was in the shape of a pentagram.
Bodies were laid out in the shape of a pentagram.
Yeah, he didn't tell them what channel.
There's only one channel in
Like,
Burkett.
turn on the
Apparently
TV
only
and it's
one,
just like
that's it.
it's like Cartoon Network and they're like, oh yeah, I love I love Flintstones, Sheriff. What? Like, no, Channel 4, you fucking moron.
We found your body, son.
So they're all suspicious of each other. And Jeff really thinks that Erica's the witch because he saw a video of her being like, oh, Persephone, I invoke you, blah, 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 blah.
That's not even a thing that's relative to, like, Persephone's, I forget where she lays in mythology, but, like, in terms of Wiccan stuff, it has nothing to do with a witch hurting anybody or, like, killing anyone.
Yeah, it's stupid. I agree.
But he's bringing out the stereotypes. He's like, okay, well, you're into this Wiccan. I'm sorry, I keep hitting the microphone.
It's Johanna cursed that. No, Johanna cursed that microphone. She hits it all the time. Lloyd Kaufman came in. He hit it. Everyone just hits that microphone.
I never hit it when I'm there, but when I'm here, for some reason, it's my Italianness, I guess. But anyway, yeah, it's just the stereotypes.
Yeah, so they're all suspicious, and it's The Thing. They're doing The Thing.
Yeah, The Thing. Why?
I love The Thing. We should watch The Thing.
We should.
Remember when we watched that other The Thing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was really bad.
Why are we doing it this late in the movie, though? Who done it?
Yeah, this should have been done a little bit earlier.
We were all blacked out.
Like
and
when
somebody
they saw Erica.
By the way, if they had cut out the flashing to murder and the interrogation stuff and put the interrogation where it's supposed to be, this would have come earlier and it would have been more entertaining.
Well, sure.
But they didn't do that. Again, not the director's fault. Studio.
Which one of you killed these 7 people?
Oh, yeah.
Which one of you?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Which one of you killed the 7 people? Like, well, if I had to guess, I think multiple people killed the 7 people. I mean,
it was definitely that woman that was dancing naked because she's a witch.
Yeah, I'm like, none of these people look like they're John fucking Wick. I don't think they're all going to be taking them out at once.
They get the stuff to cut them up.
She look like ninja.
Yeah.
So naked Erica tricks Steven into walking on the bridge, and it collapses.
Tricks him.
It's his fault.
Yeah, she's like, come onto the bridge or whatever.
Or whatever.
He almost dies. I like that Tristan comes out and she's like, huh, all right. And then just leaves. He's like, what the fuck? Let me see here. Tristan thinks she's having dreams that belong to the Blair Witch.
Did it. The little bastard boys. They did it.
And she's like, I like that. She's like, blah, 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 blah. And then she runs around the bed. Blah, 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 blah. And then she runs around the bed. And apparently the shelves in the background, they make like a pentagram, I think, and then they change at some point.
Does she have psychometry? How does she, what do you, like, that's the only reason she's there, is to do this whole stupid thing where she's like, I'm in touch with the Blair Witch because I had that dream that my baby died, just like the Blair Witch did when she drowned that kid.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't go home, because I need to be here.
Yeah.
To deliver this and be the crazy one.
Gotten the girl who had hypothermia and a miscarriage yesterday to come here. Maybe she should still be in the hospital.
Yeah, it's almost like she has like she's sick or something. You know?
Yeah.
Or can't think straight.
It's almost as if you shouldn't have taken her to the scary factory to look at the scary tapes.
She might be on meds. We don't know. Here, just have some more acid. We slip some mushrooms into your fucking stew or whatever.
And then it turns out that Jeff has files on all the people there, or they found files in Jeff's thing.
Right, he says that they're not his.
Yeah, he's like, those aren't mine.
And he's the only one that lives there.
Yeah, it's like, how did he get files on it?
Gacy said the same thing about the bodies under his house. Those aren't mine. Like,
I actually, getting back to my friends who do the creep off,
Yeah.
I was listening to their creepiest Pennsylvanian episode. And legit, one of the guys that Buffalo Bill was based off, he like murdered a bunch of girls and they found the body parts. And apparently his defense was, oh, they were there when I moved in. Like, that was his defense.
Right.
last ditch effort, man. I don't know how they got there.
Hey, why do these girls chain up in your basement? Why do you have body parts in your freezer? Like, oh, they were just there.
They were there.
Well,
Just moved in.
those files of those people were just in Jeff's thing that he bought for $1, his warehouse. Yeah. They were just there.
Wait, but those files are real because then they're in the police station, the interrogation thing. They're like, what is all this? So
that's the thing where it's like, okay, so is Jeff the sort of mastermind behind this? Is he the bad guy that recruited all these people and like called them up or like made them come out? Do you know what orchestrated this whole thing?
It's unclear. It's unclear.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, no, the sheriff says the sheriff says he's outside and he's screaming, "Open that goddamn door, Jeffrey!" Is this actor still alive? We got to put him in something.
He would be great, though. Just say the same character, right?
If we go to Burkittsville, I'm dressing up like the sheriff.
Oh my god, God, yes. We have to. Let's make this happen.
You've been waiting for an excuse to get a cowboy hat, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm going to dress up like the
Can we
sheriff.
dress up? Like, I'm going to dress up like Kim. You dress up like the sheriff.
And you could be
I'll be the witch.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be the witch.
We forgot to mention it. I don't know if we did mention it. So the scene in the first Blair Witch, this is like a thing that I read. When Heather goes, "What the fuck is that?" They apparently had a guy covered in like white gauze. And like the effect would have like glown, there would have been a figure, and then they just didn't film it while they were running.
Oh, God.
And they were like, fuck it.
I think it's better like that.
It's better.
Honestly.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes it's better when you don't see the monster.
When you don't see it.
You do see it in that 2016 one. Spoilers.
Who wouldn't want to see this?
We're gonna watch the 2016 one.
Well, the 2016 one, I never tried to look for it, and then a thumbnail came up. And it's for a clip from the movie, and they're like, "You see the witch scene?" Then it's in the thumbnail. I'm like, "Oh,
yeah," but it's not. It's
I'm
not.
like, could you not put it in the thumbnail?
It's not as egregious as you think it is. It's like you see it a couple times, but it's very, 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 very quick.
By the way, at the time of this recording, I have not seen the new Batman movie.
Me neither.
In the comments section of an unrelated video, I was like reading the comments, and then I'm like, what is this guy saying about Batman? And I think it's the entire plot to the new Batman movie. And I read it all, and I went, huh. I'm like, well, I guess I'll find out if that's real.
Why would you read it, though?
I didn't realize what it was.
But, like, wouldn't you stop yourself and be like, I don't want to
like,
know anything about Batman right now?
And I was just like, I think it was like, I did like a Morbius trailer reaction.
Yeah.
And they were like, here's something about Batman. And then I rated it. I'm like, I'm like, I think that's the plot with the twist to the new movie.
Thank goodness I didn't read the comments on that one.
And again, that would get some people mad, but you son of a bitch, kudos, you got me. Anyway, guys, I'm not like that.
I mean, yeah.
I got 3 Batman movies I really liked. Everything else is optional.
Sure.
I don't
you're
really
gonna
care.
hate this one anyway, so I already.
I might like it. I don't know.
It's not going to be as good as Dark Knight Rises. We all know this.
All I want to know is, and by the time this comes out, we have already reviewed it. I just want to know, is Catwoman Falcone's daughter like she is in some of the comics? Because I want Catwoman to be canon Italian.
Huh?
Catwoman's Italian in some of the comics. You find out that she's Falcone's daughter. Oh. And Falcone was in Batman Begins, and then Anne Hathaway was Catwoman. I thought they were connected, and then they never do.
Well, she's Lisa Bonet's daughter.
Why did you say that?
She is Lisa Bonet's
daughter. So that's okay.
But
that's good enough for me.
It's because there is like a really good comic where it's called Catwoman When in Rome, and she goes to Roma.
Bello.
She goes to Roma with the Riddler. Because she's
for a fucking getaway.
Yes. When you read Batman Dark Victory, she disappears for a bit, and this book is what she's doing there. The whole thing is
they want to see the sunset.
The
on
whole
Venice,
thing is
right?
she is like his secret daughter, and she could technically have all of his fortune, but she can't prove it. That's the whole thing. But anyway,
what? I've never read that one. Sorry, that's bizarre.
It's specific to Year One, Long Halloween, and Dark Victory.
Gotcha.
It's in that thing.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, that was the only spoiler I wanted, and that wasn't spoiled. So we'll find out if Catwoman's Italian. Anne Hathaway should have been Italian. You love Anne Hathaway, right?
I am going to murder you.
You look like an
say that
Italian
again.
Catwoman right now.
Actually, Catwoman is like my spirit animal.
Oh, so specifically the Michelle Pfeiffer and Halle Berry one, because they were literally spirit animals. Anyway, back to Blair Witch. Sorry. Got derailed with Batman there.
It's okay. It happens.
It was part of a larger stop being asshole in the comments section. Don't secretly put in the plot synopsis for a fucking thing, you asshole.
People are going to stop being assholes, but please stop spoiling movies.
Yeah.
Just spoil the bad ones. I mean, anyway.
Well, that too.
Like we're spoiling this one.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So the
spoilers, it sucks.
The sheriff is out there, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And then it turns out he's not there. There's actual dogs now. But then they find Erica just dead in a closet, and they all blame Steve because he was the last one who saw her.
It was you, man.
They're like, Steve, you murdered her and propped her up, and she's standing perfectly still despite the fact that she's dead. I guess rigor mortis works really well.
I got the impression that she was like under a spell or something.
Oh.
From her
No, she dead.
Definitely not light as a feather, but definitely stiff as a board. Sorry, I knew I could get something in there.
There you go.
The Craft.
Yes.
Will that be the next all-female Hack the Movies episode?
That's
The
a really
Craft.
good
That's
idea.
actually, that would be a good one. I'd be in for that. I mean, to watch it.
Way to just invite yourself to the all-female.
That's what it sounded. That's what it sounded like, and I was like, no, that's not what I meant.
I'd watch it.
How dare a man invade the all-female Hack the Movies episodes? I mean, me and your brother did it for Ghostbusters, but
They're going to Skeet Ulrich me, man.
So, Tristan tells them that they need to play things backwards, and then she speaks backwards. So then they're like, all right, our tapes, we're going to play it backwards.
Kla, Niaga, Lee, Nerdlick, 8.
Ezrev.
Yeah, Ezrev. So they play it backwards, and the tape play. Now, if they're like if this is all in their head, how does that physically affect the tape? Like, is the witch real? Anyway, so the tape plays backwards, and they find out that they were all drunk, horny assholes.
Yeah. They had a fucking rager, fucked each other.
Yeah, Kim's like making out with, what's her face? Erica? Mm-hmm. Erica is like naked on top of a tombstone, dancing badly.
Right.
Dancing badly.
The skull.
Yeah, a skull on her crotch. Like that's literally the dance.
That's what she was doing.
And then in the tape, they show that Tristan is like basically the witch. Like everyone's bowing to her. She's giving people weapons.
It's like satanic.
Like she's the one in charge of it, I guess. But yeah, they basically turn on her. They're like, "You're the witch," and she's like, "No, I'm not." But then she starts acting like a witch. She's like, "You all fucking suck. I hate all of you. I'm gonna hang myself. Bet you won't push me off." Like what the fuck?
I wanted to hang myself by the time we got to this part because it's just like, okay, that's a cool concept.
Yeah.
Fine, you got so fucking blasted that you thought this woman was like your queen or savior or witch or whatever, your cult leader, and then you I mean, can we talk about it a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you like coerce these people to go kill these people.
Yes.
And film it.
Yes.
Right? I forgot where I was going with that. Because it would have been better in a different movie.
Yeah.
Because by the time we get to it, we're like, okay, so there is no witch stuff. It's just everybody's stoned.
But like fucking Steve fucking knocks her off the balcony and just hangs her.
Yeah, you can like hear her neck crack.
Yeah, it's like
had enough of that. See ya.
No, bye.
So yeah, they all get arrested, and the cops put all the tapes together. And I love how Steve's like, it'll show you on the tape what happened.
Video doesn't lie, man.
Apparently the tape that they were watching when they were all hysteric wasn't real. So the cops like put the tape and it's just them being assholes. So apparently Kim murdered the girl in the store. She stabbed her with the nail file. That's why when she finds it later bloody, she's like, what's that all about? They all murdered the tourists. They all took turns murdering them.
I think the Chinese guy gets like an axe to the face or something, and you're stabbed.
And then Jeff murdered Erica, and he made sure to be naked during this.
Of course.
They were doing a ritual, Tony. It's Wiccan.
I guess so, but when he's propping her in the closet, is that part of the ritual?
Yeah, it's called trying to hide the body, but you can't hide the stink.
Yeah, and Tristan was innocent in all of it. When they played the tape, she's like, "Stop it! What are you doing?" Blah blah blah. It's like,
God,
that's
Fucking witch.
That last one is like harrowing where she's like, leave me alone. And like, you're the witch. Oh,
like, you murdered the baby. She's like, what? Like, I didn't do that.
It's fucked up.
None of them can believe it's happening. And then the movie just ends.
Yep. Fuck off. Get out of the theater.
I had to actually like go back because I was like, wait, that didn't just end like that. Like, what does that mean?
It just ends.
Now imagine being in the theater watching this and then you can't rewind. You're just like, ugh.
Wait a minute.
So, not a very good movie. I mean, Trisha loves it. But it's not a very good movie.
Love is a very strong word.
So apparently there was an AMA with the director. And he did say that he did construct like a director's cut. There is him or someone they constructed a director's cut.
Okay.
But like it's not like an official one because it was made from pre-existing footage and stuff.
So it's just a recut film of this film. There
but
is
from
no
what
additional
I gather,
scenes.
he did reach out to the studio to like do like an official one, and they were like, nah. But that's probably because they were worried more about the reboot and they just didn't want to dwell on the second movie. So it's a shame. I would like to see, because look, I don't think it's a very good movie, but I think it's made worse by the way it's edited and all the stupid shit that they added.
The potential is there. Like they definitely have the potential to make it.
There's something there. I still don't think it's going to be great.
No.
But there is a better movie in there. And I feel bad. I said the same thing about Dune.
Yeah.
Where it's like, wow, you know, David Lynch, he really tried to make a good movie and they chopped it all up. And then people have this perception. It's like, oh, movie shit. It's like, well, we didn't see the right version.
No, right. And
Yeah.
I mean, I would even go to the extent of saying even the Texas Chainsaw Next Generation. Like, there are crucial bits, and the way that movie's arranged is why it makes it not a pleasurable viewing experience. And this, it'll make it more coherent. I don't know if it'll make it a better movie, but it'll make it more coherent.
Mm-hmm.
But I think being a little bit more coherent, just seeing it linearly would make more sense.
It would make it.
Because the interrogation throws me so up. Because like I thought the interrogation was happening after the miscarriage, but then it wasn't, and I was confused. I'm like, wait, when does this?
It was just all over the place, and I think that if they added in like the actual what's it called, the footage?
Yeah, the found footage stuff. Yeah,
the found footage. I think that would make the film a lot better.
They should have done that a little bit. If they wanted, they could still be a regular movie, but if they cut to like the first person stuff a little bit more, it might have been a little bit easier to take in.
It would have been more chaotic if they did it with just the found footage. I think that would have been a better movie, like straight up. Even if you wanted to do the same story, you know what I mean? And then later somebody cobbling it together. Because I think the movie opens with like, this is a reenactment of events that happened.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I forgot to mention that. So we're watching a dramatization of something that happened in this universe where the Blair Witch is real, but not the first Blair Witch. It's so many fucking meta layers.
My brain hurts.
I will give them credit for trying to do something different. Like no one would have expected this is how they would have done the sequel.
Sure.
No.
Meta movie, like I said, meta movies existed before, but no one expected that, nor did anybody really want it. But I'm like, all right, at least they went in with. I mean, they went in with bad intentions. They should have just waited until the original filmmakers came up with an idea.
Sure.
But at least they didn't go in with like, all right, more people are going to be in the woods with cameras. Like, that's the lazy way to do that.
No, but not even the lazy way. That's the smart way to do it. That's the
I
let's
guess
make
so.
the money way to do it.
Yeah.
And that's why that blew my mind when they were like, let's not do that again. Which in Hollywood, they would have immediately done it again.
Yes.
In my mind, no.
Yes. And,
Well, wait, I want to go back to the van. Did you say
oh, yeah. What did you have to say about the van? Because the van is intact at the end.
Well, yeah, the big, oh, that's right. It is intact. But I was going to say the big reveal is that it was these people that did all this stuff. So whether it was a hallucination or not, these are all things that they did with their own hands.
Yeah.
Right.
Whether that's the ripping up of the papers or the dismembering of these people and demolishing of the van, but I guess I'm wrong. If the van comes back.
Yeah, the van is intact at the
Okay.
end. It's not crushed by a T-Rex.
But there's also no dogs and no tree and all that bullshit.
Yeah, the tree is like the weird thing to me. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, my one note here is, what the fuck is the Book of Shadows? Why was that added?
What the fuck is the Book of Boba Fett? I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. There's no
book in that show.
That episode did not do very well. However,
It did not do very well.
It didn't do very well.
Did you get that?
Book of Shadows did not do very well, but the clips we put up on TikTok did very well. I'm gunning for you. I'm getting a lot of TikTok plays recently.
Oh, I got some competition.
Yeah, I'm gonna be talking about Italian. So,
Good.
Mamma mia, pasta fagioli, blah 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 blah.
Bella Pompadoro. Tony.
So yes, the tape ends with the game. I got the rules for the game here.
Don't watch this movie.
Hidden within this film are mysterious and haunting images not easily seen by the naked eye. To reveal the secret of Esserever, you must 1. Watch the special feature at the end of the film for detailed instructions. 2. When the special feature ends while your VCR is still playing, hit the rewind button and watch as clues are revealed. 3. Go back to the movie and find the hidden images if you dare.
No, I don't dare.
Asterisk, not rated. And yes.
It's not rated?
The special features?
Yeah, the special features are not rated. So, and if you want to see what that game is, just watch Good Bad Flicks. He did it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Really took the wind out of my sails there, and I love Cecil. Cecil, I love you. You're a really good guy.
He makes good videos. He works very hard on those videos, Tony.
He does. He's awesome.
So-
He's awesome, and he apparently really likes us.
Well, good.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And then the last thing on this tape that plays is a commercial for the made-for-TV Dune by Artisan Entertainment. And it finally came in, Joe.
Yes.
I finally got the made-for-TV
Big
Dune.
worm energy.
We did. I mean, this is an intense... Oh, it's missing the goddamn booklet.
Oh. Is that where they have... Oh, no, you told me in the VHS these that they had the
That's
dictionary.
the original movie.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah, we got disc 1 and disc 2, disc 3. I guess it's only 3 discs, and
Oh, no.
your boy Giancarlo's in
I know,
this.
Giancarlo Giannini.
And I think we say the episode's not out at the time of this recording. It's out now at the time you're watching it. But I picked this as the best Dune because the Emperor of the known universe was an Italian man. Anyway.
They're all facts. Oh, by the way, just P.S. while we're here, can we do a Giallo movie?
Yes.
Sure.
Giallo. Sì, lo dobbiamo
Yes.
fare per forza. Okay.
Well, we did opera on Patreon.
Yeah,
It's not a very
we're
good
not
one.
doing that. Like, we're not doing
We should do
that
like
stuff.
maybe what can we do? We could do like Bird with the Crystal Plumage or The Fifth Chord's a good one.
Or Deep Red.
Deep Red would be
Deep Red's a
amazing.
good one, yeah.
Profondo Rosso.
Oh, he's good. Tony, take some.
Suspiria? The
No,
other Suspiria?
I don't want to do
the
Suspiria.
original, but
You don't like Suspiria?
I do like Suspiria.
I really like the remake of Suspiria.
I still haven't seen that.
It's a good remake.
no, I didn't like it.
I mean, we can. It's your show. You do whatever the hell you want.
Anyway, that is it from us. Thank you for watching. Do you like the Blair Witch Project? Do you like Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2?
What do you think of this witch?
The only acceptable
Better
answer.
fucking hang that up in your part.
The only acceptable answer for 2 is no.
Yeah. I do wish at some point they do a proper director's cut. It would be nice to see this reconstructed properly, just to see what it would, see if it is better.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely watch 2016. Both of you.
we will.
You're literally the only person who hyped that up.
It's good. I'm not hyping it up. I'm just saying it's good.
You're like, it's the best movie ever. It should have got the Oscar.
I mean, we've come this far.
We've come this far.
it's a
should.
great sequel. If you're gonna do a sequel to the original, it's a good sequel.
Yeah. Check out the game. I've been replaying the game, not the VR version, but I will be buying. After I move, we will have a VR night. Yeah, so check out that game. Let us know about the original games. I want to see if I can like hunt those down anywhere, if they even fucking play.
Were they on a website? Did they have a website where you can play it? Or
Well,
am I
there was
crazy?
like a game on their website,
Yeah.
but they made like 3 PC games
Oh, okay.
built around the Blair Witch. They're probably awful. They probably don't play right. But it'd be fun to see.
MS-DOS.
And yeah, that is it from us. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Download this on your podcast app of choice. Follow Trisha on TikTok.
At Trisha's Italy and Instagram as well.
And if you want to hear other people talk about this, including Joe again, follow Movie Dumpster.
If you just can't get enough Blair Witch 2 Book of Shadows, head over to moviedumpsterpodcast.com.
And subscribe to Movie Dumpster. They're doing video now, and I'm there.
Yeah, we're on
I was in the
YouTube.
Texas Chainsaw 4 one.
You sure were.
Oh,
Yes.
you.
Maybe you can talk about Giallo on there. Maybe they'll show you good Italian movies.
Oh, I would love to, yeah.
Because you're like, I want to
That'd
do
be awesome.
Italian horror films, Tony. I'm like, yeah, Cruel Jaws.
Yeah,
Let's
he
go.
Do some Fulci. I can't believe you haven't done Fulci yet, man.
I can believe it.
Yeah, makes sense.
He did Zombie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do Zombie.
No? You should.
You know how many times I got sent the eye stabbing gif? I'm not going to do Zombie. All right. That is it from
tried
us.
to get 'em.
If you happen to be in the woods, let us know what porn you find. Goodbye.
Grazie.
Hi, everyone. Tony from Hack the Movies here, and it's time to finally talk about the 2016 Blair Witch movie and figure out if it's a decent sequel on today's episode. Hello, Cecil from Good Bad Flicks. How are you?
Hello, Tony from Hack the Movies. I'm well.
That's good. Get a little closer to that mic. Pull that mic a little closer. There you go.
You'd think I know how to do this by now. Just needs better equipment.
Yes. I'm excited. Big fan of your channel. I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you.
I'm glad we lived around each other. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I didn't realize it. Yeah, I would have had you on a million years ago.
I know. I was like, oh, he didn't like me.
No. You actually helped out a lot with the Blair Witch 2 review that we did. Your video helped. You gave us a lot of good background information. We were going to play the Esser Ever game, and then I saw that you did it in your video. And I was like, well, beat me to the punch.
Yeah, I did it already. I beat you to the punch like 6 years.
6 years. And then I was like, well, I mean, how many views did I get? And I looked at him like, oh, yeah, I'm not even going to attempt. But yeah, so you guys are probably wondering, Tony, don't you usually do these reviews with Trisha, the biggest Blair Witch fan in the world? You know, she's got that stickman tattoo on her back and everything. She's real into it. Unfortunately, Trisha was in Italy recently. She went to the woods of Italy, probably in the Dolomite Mountains or something, and she was looking for the famous Italian witch, La Befana. She went missing.
That's actually where I'm going after this.
Yes,
I'm
Frank.
going to find her in the woods, in the hills of Italy.
Yeah, so I had brother Frank come on. He's going to go looking for her. But we realized that is the plot of today's movie. So I was like, hey, Frank, before you go looking for your missing sister in the woods, let's talk about this movie about looking for people's missing sisters in the woods.
Because just in case, I had to watch the film, just in case, you
learn a lot from this film for your adventure.
Brought up any clues or anything that, that I can use to go find her. I also found a videotape that's from the future, I think, to help me figure out if it was her. It might also be my best friend. I'm not sure. We're going to get to the bottom of this.
We'll figure that out. But yes, the 2016 Blair Witch, I did not see this when it came out. You just saw this recently, right?
I think I saw it when it first came out.
Oh, you
but
did?
Just to, I put it on last week and I was like, I think I saw this. I don't know. But yes.
You saw this, right?
I saw this in the theater and I was very excited going in and I was very upset coming out.
Yeah, so a little backstory on this. This is directed by Adam Wingard. He apparently, maybe you know more about this, he apparently crossed paths with the original Blair Witch guys while promoting VHS 2, or did they shoot something for VHS 2?
I believe that one of them or both did something for VHS 2, but I'm not entirely positive.
So at some point they
crossed paths.
And those guys have been trying to reboot Blair Witch for a while at that point. I think they were talking as far back as 2011, doing a sequel there. They developed this in secret. Mm-hmm. Did you know,
I actually accidentally found out about it.
Okay.
The Blair Witch 2 video that I did caught the attention of a producer who worked with the Blair Witch guys, Sanchez.
Cool.
And so what he did was he was trying to get interest in the series again, and so he took Blair Witch 2 because he had seen the director's cut and was like, you know what, this is a much better movie. Took it to Lionsgate because originally Artisan owned the Blair Witch, but they sold it to Lionsgate. So he was like, let me present this to the new owners and see if they're interested in releasing this on Blu-ray or something. And he took it to them, had a big meeting, and I was talking to him about it. And essentially what ended up happening was they turned it down because they were already working on the Blair Witch reboot in secret, and they thought that bringing up Book of Shadows again would kind of confuse people, which I don't think that, but they wanted to basically, they were doing the whole late sequel thing. Well, here's Blair Witch 1, Blair Witch 2 never happened, and now Blair Witch 3.
Which you can do because Blair Witch 2 is in its own universe, so it actually makes sense. You can do that. Yeah. This is following the trend of other secret follow-ups like 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was not a Cloverfield movie. They made it in post.
Last minute.
Right.
Much like Cloverfield Paradox. One of those movies is better than the other.
Yeah.
I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I think 10 Cloverfield was really good.
10 Cloverfield was really good.
But
Cloverfield Paradox. I know why they did the Super Bowl publicity stunt because that movie was not very good.
Nobody's gonna see it.
Apparently, the Nazi zombie movie Overlord, I think that was going to be like a Cloverfield movie, and then when Cloverfield Paradox got shit reviews, they're like, cut out the Cloverfield stuff.
It wouldn't have made sense because Overlord was awesome, by itself.
Yeah, I heard it was awesome. I didn't see it. I heard it was awesome.
It's like Wolfenstein.
Okay, yeah. So it was called The Woods. They were promoting this under The Woods, and I think one of the early posters there was a hidden stick man, you had to draw and be like, oh, the stick man's there. Mm-hmm. I turned this on the other day. I have seen some of these actors in other things, the one main girl is in Alien Covenant. She was in that awful shower scene that seems way too schlocky to be in an Alien movie. And she was also in that movie The Endless, which was pretty good.
Oh, The Endless was awesome.
Yeah, The Endless was awesome, but I didn't recognize anyone else except for Valerie Curry from The Tick. She's one of the stoner couple.
Oh, she's okay.
Yeah, she's Dottie in The Tick. And famously, I will not watch The Boys until they bring back The Tick. I'm so mad they canceled The Tick and then greenlight The Boys. She's also going to be in The Boys now.
I didn't watch
anyway,
The Tick. Yeah.
So that was me the other day. I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are, which is probably good.
I mean, it makes for the better experience.
Yeah.
Documentary wise.
Yeah, but I remember this came out and not a lot of people talked about it. I think the game got more attention, which was coming out around the same time, which I have played and is really good. I want to replay it again because I know there's multiple endings. But yeah, I guess let's just get into this movie and we'll figure out, did this succeed as a decent sequel or not?
Jump on in.
I have a lot to say here. Okay.
Can only imagine.
So the movie takes place in 2014. And they say they found DV tapes in 2014. And I was just like, And this is before the movie called it out. But as I'm watching in real time, I'm like, okay, people were still using DV, but DV was getting pretty phased out by that point. Like memory cards were taking over at that point. So I'm like, okay.
To be fair,
yeah,
I used to work at a pretty big university in Philadelphia. We, up until I got summarily laid off from there, they were still using DV.
Okay.
They weren't using they were just diehard about it for whatever reason.
I get the benefits of it. I understand like there are some benefits, like there's more like a memory card could be accidentally erased or whatnot. There's more security there. But I was just like,
people aren't just already just had them like from the years and
yeah,
like, well,
I guess someone could add an older
yeah.
camera, but I was like, okay. But at that point I didn't realize, I was like, okay, because the documentary was assembled from DV tape. They justified the DV tape later.
Right.
Let me see here. Yeah, so it starts off with a young guy watching a spooky video on YouTube, and he thinks he sees his sister, Heather Donahue, who I've learned has changed her name to Ray Hance in real life.
I know she grows her own weed. Oh.
Famously, we mentioned in the first, go back and watch the first Blair Witch episode we did. We famously mentioned that. And then I made a very obvious joke about how she should send us some stuff. And YouTube was like, nope. And I'm like, well, it was an obvious joke, so I had to cut it out of the episode last minute.
Well, it's something you should tell us, before we get into things like this.
Yeah. So don't send us anything. I don't want anything. And what stuff I was referring to, I don't know. It could be anything.
Right.
Dreadlocks. A lovely letter. Yeah.
Some stick figures.
Right. Literally, I had to re-edit the episode like an hour before premiere.
Wow.
Oh, YouTube.
But yeah, she's now Ray Hance. So she's not in this movie. I don't know who that woman is.
From the fame from the first one, I guess? From being in the first one and then
yeah, she's like regretted using her real name in the first movie.
Yeah. Huh.
She like I don't know. I mean, she kind of tried like out of everybody, she was probably the most successful as far as becoming an actress. Yeah. I know Josh is working as like a cameraman, I believe.
Yeah.
But she, she did that. She did a couple of like the like teen movies and stuff after that, but never really like took off.
Yeah. Yeah, it never really super took off, but now she's got her own thing going. Good for her.
Yeah, good for her.
They're gonna do a documentary on this guy James, who is Heather's brother. And he was 4 when she went missing.
4.
That's an important detail for something I'm going to complain about later.
Yep.
And he's like, that might be my missing sister. We got to go and check it out.
20 years later.
20 years later.
It looks
exactly like her.
It looks exactly like her.
Blurry, muddy picture in the thing.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't see her first. Then I freeze framed it. It's just some lady. And I'm like, I guess that's your sister.
The blood is just covering up, the aging on her face.
And his not girlfriend, but kind of. It's kind of like the first movie where like it's implied she dated the one guy.
Kinda.
Yeah. Don't do voiceover with a shotgun, Mike. Don't do that.
Temp narration, take 1, take 2, 3.
Don't do that. She's holding a big ass shotgun mic and doing voiceover. I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, I did it in college, but even then it was like a last minute resort. Like you want a mic like this that's meant for this.
I think that was like a scene that they added in once they were done, just to like add a little bit more
wanted to
backstory
put the
to it.
voiceover.
That literally came out of nowhere, that shot.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe that was like a pickup afterwards.
Yeah.
She's sitting there on the bed trying to use her sexy voice.
Yeah.
They went into the woods. And
So this bothered me, the ear cameras, which I think are a cop out. Because Adam Wingard did VHS, but VHS was never. Some segments were more faithful to the whole camera thing, and some were. Like it was the rules of it being found footage were kind of loose in the VHS movies. And I think he wanted more camera angles and options and didn't want to have like someone like this the whole time.
Yeah.
So he came up with the ear camera thing. My problem is I was doing a lot of hidden camera stuff around that time. I worked for a big prank guy on YouTube and his prank friends. And I had to use like glasses cameras and even the HD ones that were coming out at the time did not look anywhere near this fucking good. These look so good. I'm like, no fucking way. They made me so, and like with a lens that big, like, fuck you. This made me so mad.
Yeah, they're shooting like 30,000 red footage,
Yeah, the footage is like so crystal clear. And they're, by the way, she's planning on doing a documentary. And she decides, you know what? We should all be recording in this loud ass club with no microphones. Somehow we're being picked up perfectly.
Great lighting, though, for a club.
Great lighting. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, woman, you're going to have to like license the music that's playing in the background. You're going to have to, you didn't get releases for anyone on that dance floor. You didn't tell the club you were filming there. Like, this is a fucking nightmare.
Maybe she hired a bunch of extras.
Yeah. So right away, I'm already angry because the first movie is such a good, like, it feels like a documentary. It feels real. Yeah. And this one, I'm just out of it at this point. Yeah. It's already lost me. I don't know if that you had the same feeling.
It's kind of I got more of, kind of a mix from the first two if you, just to see the way that the second one was shot without the found footage look to where it's clean, but, you still got the camera cuts and, camera moving all over the place to where most people that are watching this film aren't looking at it like, oh, those ear cameras would never, show something like that. I guess. Most people just want to go in for the scare.
But a while back, I shot a review with the Movie Dumpster guys for Halloween Resurrection, and say what you will about that movie, but their like little head cameras do seem pretty accurate because it is shit quality. I'm like, good job.
Busta Rhymes?
Yeah, Busta Rhymes.
Love it.
He was the hero of that franchise.
Love it, dude.
Look, I mean, we're filming this before Halloween Ends comes out. I assume they're bringing him back as a different character to finally end Michael Myers. I think that's the obvious way to go.
He lived, right?
Yeah, he did live in that movie.
Yeah. He'll come back as Michael Myers.
Yeah, Halloween Resurrection was saved because, like, I think he originally died, and they were like, "No, we're reshooting the ending. He is going to kick Michael Myers and electrocute his ball sack." I'm like, that is the one of the best change endings in the world.
Let's say Happy Halloween, mother father. Or was that the TV one?
Yeah, I think that was the TV one.
I think it was Happy Halloween, Mr. Falcon.
Oh yeah, it's a Die Hard.
Yes.
So everyone's having fun. They're drinking. And they're testing out their gear. This part was relatable because I actually shot I never released it, but I shot a documentary in college of my friend trying to run across Pennsylvania. And there were a couple nights where we were in hotel rooms getting drunk and just filming bullshit. So like, okay, you lost me in the club scene, but you kind of won me back a little bit.
Well, what bothered me was that this was a thing where they took this footage, somebody had found the footage and reconstructed it. Why would that person put in all of this nonsense? Like, why would they edit in all, the club and all? It's completely unnecessary except for plot and for this is, the only reason is because movie. I
mean, you could say that about the original one. Like, why do they feel the need to include the guy showing off his disturbing chest hair? I want to see a movie, and maybe this already exists. I want to see a movie of the guy who gets the found footage and has to edit it together.
like the hours and hours that he has to cut out.
All of this just
Like,
police, if that's the best that they had.
The police are like, why are you including this? And they're like, oh yeah, it really serves the narrative. We're like, motherfucker, we're doing an investigation. Can you cut to, like, the crime? I don't care about the food they had that morning.
It's just to show how dumb these kids are. They went out drinking the night before they went into these, haunted woods.
That then none of them have any wood skills whatsoever.
Yeah.
Dude can't even build a tent.
He's a paramedic. The one guy's a paramedic.
Right. Paramedic wraps up the girl's foot and then is like, all right, you're good.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Well, I did my thing. Walk on it. It'll heal itself.
So they go to the people who uploaded the DV footage to Burkittsville locals or outside of Burkittsville, and it's Valerie Curry as Talia and her friend Lane or boyfriend Lane. They have a Confederate flag hanging out in their house. I've spent some time in Maryland. Those do exist. You'll find them there. But they don't I think they put this in there to get the one character to hate them.
Right.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the movie, and I have it later in my notes, like, they're not really doing anything directly to be mean to him, and he is on the defense, and he to the point where like he's become the asshole, and it's like, all right, dude, like if they were saying like snide things to him or throwing little jabs at him, I can understand
fun of him. For the first 10 minutes, they're literally laughing in his face.
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes of the whole film.
But then they see but because he saw the flags, like, these are my enemies and I have to kill them. But, it's all right, buddy, well, let's wait for them to do a little bit more.
It's put out there so that the second that you look at Lane, even Talia, but not so much. I mean, you want to hate this guy. Yeah. With Peter's reaction to him, and then he wants to come into the woods with him, and right off the bat, it's like, well, you shouldn't like this character, Lane.
Maybe they're just really big historians. You don't know.
I got a beef with Lane, man. It goes further down the line.
Yeah, Lane does turn into an asshole, but he's not really one yet. But yeah, so they decide they need to join with them. They're like, we got to film too. I got my old DV camera. We're going to go out there and record. So yeah, as they get to the woods, they mentioned the Rustin Parr stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Which of course, if you remember Rustin Parr, it was actually, we mentioned the first video. I think like the behind the scenes thing they put on Sci-Fi Channel was kind of more interesting than the actual movie.
I watched.
I thought
it was good. It was
good lore
supplemental material.
But I remember watching that and being like, that is like really cool because it felt like a real documentary.
The lengths that they went just for the first Blair Witch was absolutely. I didn't know all that.
Yeah.
And I mean, put a ton into it.
Yeah. And of course, according to Blair Witch 2, that is a real thing that happened. and Rustin Parr is in Blair Witch 2.
Rustin Parr is in.
I was waiting for him to show up in this somewhere.
I'm finished now.
I was waiting for him to show up in this. They also mentioned Coffin Rock. I don't think they never go to Coffin Rock, do they?
They don't go to Coffin Rock, but they mention, Ellie Kedward. They do all like they throw in all the buzzwords for everybody.
Yeah. For like the hardcore fans and everyone out there.
Right.
Also, when they're walking down that path just to begin with, right, you see the back of Lane, and you could see on his backpack right away that he's got, I don't know if it's snake eyes or tiger eyes, but on the top he's got snake eyes, and then on the bottom he's got like a devil horn or like a Baphomet character. So, including with the flag in the beginning, there's just subtle signs through this film that just point towards, how much you should just dislike Lane. Also, when they are first pulling up in the trucks, right, and they go to park, the music that Lane's listening to, they just say wah, wah. Just reminds me of what the witch, not to jump ahead, but reminds me of, the sounds that the witch makes later on in the film, or even from the first one, to where maybe, this guy isn't all together on where his brain's at.
Yeah. He's a character for sure.
Like I said, beef with him.
But yeah, and then this is when Peter is being like real obnoxious towards him. It's like, dude, wait for him to be an asshole first, please.
I was like, dude, just chill.
Peter is unbearable. Like, he is insufferable in this movie. I'm just like, dude, you gotta like fucking relax. I'm like, why are you even here?
I did way back in 2016, I did a review for this, and I was talking about that. I was like, he is just insufferable.
Yeah.
And I had people in the comments who are like, didn't you see there was a Confederate flag? And I'm like, well, okay, but does that give him open license to just be a complete asshole?
Yeah, you gotta wait till like, I mean, sure, he can be suspicious, not have to like him, but like the level of how much of an asshole he's being, like that needs to be a reaction to something they did. They haven't done anything to you yet.
Right. It also shows that he has no patience.
Yeah.
Like everything from the tent to the flag is, understandable, but everything else, he's got no patience, very short with everything.
Also, those two don't really seem like they're employed, so that could just be like a parent of theirs flag that's hanging out there. They don't seem like the most employable couple.
They bought the house like that. Like,
when Valerie Curry opens up that door, she seems like high out of her mind.
Or the drywall's all rotted, so that was just, they threw it up there to cover up the
God, there's a hole in the wall. What do we got? Oh, we got the Confederate flag. Okay, that's not ideal. We'll put it up there. We'll change it later. And then they never changed it later. They mentioned that there are underground tunnels that connect parts of the woods. That is set up for later for an actual good scene. It kind of reminded me, we talked about it in some other video I did, but when I went to Penhurst Asylum. Now it's an attraction, but I actually broke in there years ago. But yeah, we found out they did have like underground tunnels, so the patients wouldn't like break out when they were being transferred, run into the woods. They all had a series of tunnels. That's the kind of tunnel I was expecting.
Is that like from American Horror Story when they put the tunnels in? Because wasn't a lot of that season, the second season,
I didn't watch American Horror Story.
Based off the asylum around Philadelphia?
Is that show good? I've never watched it.
I never watched it.
What I like that show?
So the first few seasons are fantastic. One and 2 and 3 I absolutely love, and then after that it just.
I know they're all self-contained, but eventually they started linking them, I think.
Yeah, which I don't think they should have, because by the time that they started doing it, it felt like it was too late, and then all the characters, they all played like different characters, and then they're seeing each other, and then it was just.
I'll check it out. I watched a little bit of the Roanoke one, where they have like testimonials from people, and it feels like a documentary. Yeah, there's found footage stuff in that.
I know another good film is found footage as well that's coming out soon, or probably already out.
Oh yeah, I wonder who it stars.
Stay tuned.
So they walk through the water to get to another place. It reminds me when I was still in Cinemassacre, we went to the Blue Hole in the Pine Barrens. It's like the legend of the Blue Hole. It's just like this pool of water in this area, and it's supposed to be haunted and whatnot. So I went there and I went into the Blue Hole. and it's just a fucking hole in the woods. It's really not impressive.
Why am I here?
Like like people are like, oh, it's dangerous. I'm like, yeah, there's a ton of twigs and sticks down. I didn't see someone getting caught and drowning, but like all you have to do is just not go in the water. I mean, I did because I'm an asshole, but like it's not as dangerous. Like just don't go in the hole and you're fine. But we had to cross a river to get to the hole. So by the time we got to the hole, we were already drenched in like fucking river water. It was awful.
Who doesn't bring their water shoes out when they're crossing lakes and woods?
Why wouldn't they bring those? Be prepared. They are not prepared.
Well, that kind of harkens back to what we were saying earlier. Is it's like none of them have any right being there.
Yeah,
they're not prepared and they're not smart.
I bought like rubber water boots when I went to the blue hole because I predicted that was gonna happen. But yeah, what's her face stabs her foot here, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she cuts her foot. Okay,
I thought she was gonna say like something because she screams and you're thinking like the hand grabbed her or something. No, she cut her foot and a twig grows out of it.
Right?
Is that what it is? Okay, well,
right.
I was a little
right
confused.
after somebody says that a woman pulled a girl under and then she stabs her foot, not even running through her head. You're right.
Right.
That maybe something's wrong.
By the way, throughout the film, maybe I'll have to rewatch it again. Maybe I was tired, but like I feel like every time her foot. They want to show her foot's hurt. The Foley artist just went nuts with breaking the cellar.
God.
It's like she's like, but the sound effect is.
The sound effect was so bad.
It got louder and louder.
I don't know who the Foley artist was, but it's like, yeah, so it needs to sound like a bone break. And he's like, all right, I'm going to karate chop all this balsa wood. It's like, whoa, it's just a fucking bone.
It sounded like a watermelon split or something. Like
well, apparently every time he wanted, Adam Wingard, every time he wanted a big reaction for a jump scare, he had an air raid siren. So they would be acting and he would, and they would jump. So I only imagine, By
the way, what are your opinions on Adam Wingard? He's hit or miss for me.
I adored Your Next. I thought The Guest was equally awesome. So I was really excited. I liked his segments in VHS.
Yeah.
And then when it was announced that he was doing Blair Witch, I was like, because at first I'm like, oh, they're going to do another one. I'm like, oh, you know what? It's in really good hands.
Yeah.
And then it came out and we're talking about it. Yeah. But then he did
Death
Note. And I'm like, what happened? Did he like do two really good ones and kind of blew it, and then everything else is not as good?
I like some of his segments in VHS. Mm-hmm. Not the biggest fan of Your Next. I'll talk about that in another episode, but I did enjoy The Guest. Death Note. Okay. I don't watch a lot of anime because cartoons are for children, but I have watched Death Note. Johanna showed it to me years ago, and I remember watching the anime and being like, wow, this would work better as a live action movie. And then Japan did a live action movie and it worked a lot better because it was done in 2 hours and not 15, 16 hours like the anime is. So I was like, okay, I mean, he's got a good basis. I'll check out the Netflix Death Note. And I went, what the fuck is this? This is so terrible.
Yeah.
But then he did Godzilla vs. Kong. And I thought he did a great job on that.
Oh, did he?
I forgot.
Yeah. So I'm hit or miss with him. There are some directors that like I want to like, but it's like I've since like started liking James Wan, but I did not like James Wan's horror movies early on.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Dead Silence and all that?
Oh God, I hate Dead Silence so much. I didn't like Insidious.
How about Death Sentence?
That I didn't see. I want to check out his like action movies.
It's terrific.
Yeah.
It is the unofficial Death Wish movie.
Yeah. He was winning me over. I liked Aquaman. James Wan did Aquaman. Yeah. And then he was like, oh, I'm producing Mortal Kombat. I was like, that's going to be great. And then I went, James Wan, you're back on my shit list.
I didn't completely hate the new Mortal Kombat. I mean,
it's our most watched video on the channel. Mortal Kombat 2021 makes no sense.
I love that. What was his name? Cole was the new hero they invented for some reason. Yeah. And his like secret whatever is plot armor.
Yeah, it's literally plot armor.
Literal plot armor.
Robert, go back and watch the Mortal Kombat Makes No Sense episode. We point out that like the metal armor is just rubber, and at points you can see it buckling. You can see the seams. So in a modern movie, that seems impossible. But anyway,
I do enjoy the fight scenes. That's all I'll say.
Back to Blair Witch.
Yes.
Back to this movie. So much better.
But Adam Wingard, I think that he, as far as he's concerned as a director, I think he's a really good director if he's doing his own original material. And I think if he's going to be doing found footage, his found footage stuff works better in small chunks.
Yeah.
But doing the Blair Witch, I think I don't know whether I don't know if this is one of those movies where years later we're going to find out that there was some studio meddling or whatnot, because I know he said he shot for like a week and then couldn't use any of the footage. It just didn't work. And so they really started like working overtime to get more stuff and to get, so I think it was a case of where they were kind of writing it as they were filming. So I think that this is one where the story may come out later.
Well, I know even like Godzilla vs. Kong, he shot way more than they ended up using. So he cut a lot out. That's why like Lance Reddick is like 4th or 5th build in the credits. He's only got one scene in that movie because they cut out his entire shit.
I know you said it's a different studio that picked it up with Lionsgate for this one, but the second one had a lot of meddling.
We talked about that.
Like,
he talks about it in his video. I talked about it in the last episode. There was a lot of interference with that one.
Yeah. Poor Joe Berlinger, man, they hosed him so bad.
It's
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why it was 19 years before he did another like narrative film. He just went back to doing like documentaries and stuff.
Yeah. So I have it here.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
I have it here in my notes. God, Peener is Peter. I have it here in my notes. Jessica, you can leave that flub in. Usually I ask her to cut out the flubs and she leaves them in anyway. You can leave that one in. That's on me. Peter is a whiny crybaby and he leaves right as they're testing the drone, and I assumed something was going to happen to him.
Also,
and then nothing happens.
Also, like I went camping a lot of times, right? When I was younger, used to just hang out in the woods.
Yeah.
When we had campfires, right, and you used to go look for, for kindling and wood like around the fire. I'm not walking a mile into the woods.
Yeah, they're always like,
I'm like at least 20 to 30. Like I can see the people at the fire while I'm looking
they're always
for
like,
wood.
well, I got to get firewood, and it's like,
see you tomorrow.
Literally everything.
You're surrounded by it.
You're sitting next to it right now.
I mean, I can imagine that maybe they're at a campsite, so people like have cleaned up the wood around there, but they're also saying that people don't even go in those woods anymore. So there should be.
They're pretty barren. No one ever
especially with
goes
all
in
the
there.
lightning bolts that hit all these trees. There should be a lot of wood.
There was a
around
lightning bolt
them.
with a tree, which is pretty clever, set up for later.
Right.
But yeah, that seems like it's setting up something, and then it just I thought like the drone was going to catch footage, or like while they're testing the drone, Peter sees something, and then it just cuts to them hanging out.
That's it.
And like, okay, all right.
Telling Camp 5 stories again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, stuff like this would work in the original Blair Witch, which feels more organic and down to earth. But this movie at this point, it feels overly produced. So when you just have something random like that, it just doesn't work for me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. They're having too much fun eating hot dogs. That's a note I made.
So when you first come into that fire, who's the first one you see, and how do you see them? You first see Lane.
Remember, tell me.
You first see Lane, and it's through the fire with flames coming up on his face, and he's viciously eating the hot dog.
And the hot dog's right in front of him.
Yes.
And then when we zoom around, then you see the rest of the people around the fire, but not through the fire. So again, I got beef with Lane.
Yeah, you got beef with Lane because how he was filmed
from the beginning. No, just these subtle, imageries that are laid out for him through the film.
Also, Lane's VHS or DV footage looks about as crystal clear as all their 4K footage. I mean, who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Who would have thought there would be no difference in quality between different film stocks
we had
and
a
style?
little bit of grain. It's like, okay.
They just hit the button on it. I keep hitting the mic.
Yeah, dude, everyone, actually, I think that might be the first time you hit the mic.
I think it's the first time.
A lot of people hit the mic.
Okay.
Johanna is the queen of hitting the mic on the show. Lloyd Kaufman hit the mic.
Lloyd.
You're good.
Okay. Be like, I'm bringing him back. He's hitting the mic all the time.
So the Talia character, she gives them the backstory of the witch, which is, what's her name? It's
Ellie Kedward.
Ellie Kedward, that's right. Who we see here.
Is that her?
Frank, where did you get this wonderful McFarlane toy? It looks like the one I got your sister for her birthday.
So that is, I actually went to my sister's apartment. I borrowed it just for this.
I'm surprised she was willing to part with it.
Well, it was right before she went to Italy.
Okay.
Right before she got lost in the woods. And then I was like, hey, let me hold on to this. I think it's also because I took it from her apartment that the Blair Witch went back
that
after
was probably
That might be
you
it.
doomed her.
I know.
But yeah, I imagine like when you go in her place, it's like above her fireplace, and it's like this beautiful man. Like she's got like a shrine to the Blair Witch.
It's right in front of the picture above the fireplace of you and your cat. It's beautiful. It's absolutely.
She has a picture of me with my cat.
You don't know that? You haven't?
I didn't know that. I haven't been there. Oh, that's funny. So your sister has a picture of me and my cat.
Yes.
The Blair Witch toy.
Yes.
Wow. Well, I hope you find her and let her know I appreciate her interior decorating. This part, I was like, what? What? Because they were talking about how, like, people get lost in the woods all the time. It's like, well, you guys didn't. And then Peter's like, yeah, we were in the woods years ago. We were part of the search party. And we didn't get lost. It's like, wait, you guys said you were 4 years old. What are you doing in the search party?
I've been to these woods before. When I was a kid with about 100 other people.
You were part of those search teams.
What the fuck? I went, what?
Unless they were searching for years.
Well, there was time travel.
They're not aware of time travel yet.
Maybe they were, but they don't know it.
It's Barry messing up the timeline again. God damn it, Barry.
Yeah, that was so stupid. I was like, wait, hey, screenwriter Simon, what is it? Simon, who wrote
Barrett.
Simon Barrett.
Yeah.
Go back a couple of pages. You said they were 4 years old. Fix that. But yeah, they debate why the witch isn't more active. And they never come up with a satisfying answer as far as I'm concerned. But what do they say?
Well, the one thing, I don't know if they explain this now or if they explain it later, but they're talking about what they did with the witch. They hung her from the rack and stretched out her limbs. And this is a beef. I'm going to get to it now because I don't want to forget it. But one of my major gripes was at the end of the film, when the characters are walking around the house and there's this monster and it's got long legs and long arms. And so you're like, oh, there's the witch. Oh, they showed the witch. And then the director comes out and is like, no, that wasn't the witch. That was one of the victims. Yeah. And it's like, but then why did you have the segment where you set up?
I didn't even realize that was like a connection.
Is that Heather?
Well, did
he find his sister?
Well,
and the witch has been doing that.
The
to
witch
her
has been,
victims.
the thing is, it would have made sense if they didn't set it up where, like, if they did something where, and it's rumored that she does that to her victims or something.
Yeah. Instead of saying it happened
Instead
to
of
her,
saying that
right.
it was, because then it's like, why did you set that up?
I didn't even piece it together. Yeah, the long arms and stuff that was set up for the thing at the end.
Oh, there she is. That's the witch.
Yeah. Also, everyone was kind of making fun of it. Lane, when he was talking about it, kind of sounded like he was like supporting the witch and saying how horrible these things were that actually happened to her because he's got the witch's back.
And then later at night, they're firing off guns. And there's wolves that are howling.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, Lane is missing.
The Foley was having fun again.
Yeah. Lane is missing. Tali and James go to look for him, and they find him via jump scare.
You guys oh, Lane!
Too many jump scares in this, and I'm not a fan of the loud sound jump scare.
Also, Lisa coming into the tent. So he looks at Lisa's tent, it's still zipped, and then within 2 seconds unzips and then runs in front of the camera real quick.
Yeah. Look, I get jump scares work sometimes. I'm fine with it, but when a movie has like an abundance of cheap jump scares, I start to check out.
I laughed 2 points. The jump scares, just one after the other, but it made me think of that episode of The Simpsons where Homer comes in. He's like, "Hey, party like my hockey chainsaw."
Bart, do you want to see my new chainsaw and hockey mask?
When Bart thinks Sideshow Bob's after him,
he comes in. Hey, you like my new? So yeah, but it was like that. It was that obnoxious. It was just like it's all quiet. Hey, what are you doing here? Oh my God.
Yeah, they're calling for Lane, and then he just jumps out of the woods like,
hey guys, I'm right here. Like nobody would do that. And at one point, they actually, what I laughed was they called it out because one of them comes out and he's like, hey guys, and she's like, stop doing that. And I'm like, oh, there was the audience right there saying, stop doing that.
Everyone stop doing that.
But then
I really like how the way that the actor who plays Lane kind of plays it, because then once he's found, he's acting as if he was just out there searching for the sounds. Really, in my head, he was out there searching for sticks to do what comes next.
Yeah,
and then as soon as James turns around and says, go back to the campfire, and then Lane just shuts everything down. He goes, yep, you're right. I'll go right back to the camp. Like just how like a liar would play it as well. The second that it's like you're told to do something, it's like, yep, I'm gonna go do that. Yep, and get out of your way. So I kind of like the way that that acting wise, how that scene was kind of played out.
So yeah, the next day, you're right. They wake up and there's stick men everywhere.
Yeah,
and they're like, "We got to get out of here. Someone's fucking with us. Someone is fucking with us." And they want to bail. Then they call out the DV camera complaint. They're like, not a lot of people shoot on those anymore. I'm like, all right, movie, they got me. But I like that she's piecing together. Like, you guys shot that the footage that you found, which was also DV tape. And then you're right. Ashley cannot stop hurting her foot.
She's walking in Captain Crunch.
Yeah, but yeah, they find out that they set up the stick men. They yell at them and they get blamed for all this stuff. But they're like, okay, maybe we made the stick men, but how did we get you guys to sleep until 1 p.m.? And they're like, you drugged us. And they're like, all right. So like they're faking things, but it's to scare them to stay away from the witch, but they want to find the witch. I was a little confused on their
show the outside world that like, hey, this is occurring, even though like they should know that if you spend the night there, you're never going to make it out anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, that's the only kind of weird part.
And their motivations were all over the place.
And then Peter threatens that he's going to beat the shit out of Lane.
Oh, yeah, Peter threatens like murder him and he like runs in the woods to go fight him.
No patience.
Oh, Peter.
Oh, Peter.
And James is sad.
You see Peter's peener in this as well.
Yes. Yeah, Peter was peeing.
That's true. James is
filming himself peeing, because that's what you do.
Because whoever cut this together was like, well, I need this here as well.
Who's the asshole cutting this together?
Yeah, you see, like the cops are watching this, like, we don't need to see this.
Need a dick in here.
James is sad that he got conned. As he would be, because he thought he was going to find his sister
from 20 years ago
that he hasn't seen since he was 4. Okay, buddy. Also, they've started to go in circles, like that movie, The Blair Witch Project.
After they found the stickmen in the woods, like the Blair Witch Project.
This movie could be just a monster movie on its own, honestly, and I think it would have done better.
They do like an extreme close-up of Ashley's foot, and a thing pokes out of it. Okay. We never see them back up their footage or replay their footage on a laptop. I'm like, how long do these batteries last? I don't see a generator to charge any of this shit. But they're like, I saw something weird. And at no point do they go, well, let's play it back.
Right.
Like, give me the SD card. I'll pop it and we'll play it back.
No one does that. They'd have to filming them watching the footage.
It's so stupid. These batteries that last forever.
Well, they did. I will give a little bit of credit where they'd said, I forget the exact wording, but it was like, yeah, you got to make sure you've got a lot of batteries. So at one point they did call it out at least, but still it's like, all right, how many?
Yeah. How many? Where is your charging station?
Exactly.
Where is this? Where is that? It's like, come on, buddy.
Because they never went back to the car to charge it or anything.
Yeah.
Especially if Lane was in the woods for 5 days at that one point. Jumping ahead again. Go ahead.
Yeah, just all dirtied up and time travel.
They send a drone up into the air, and something slaps it out of the air. And I really think we should have got a shot of the witch on a broom, just like slapping it. Get out of here.
Bette Midler's up there.
Yeah.
But then we blows into the air and it just starts to go the other way.
But then Peter's running around with POV and the walkie-talkie, and this reminded me of the new video game.
Oh, yeah.
This actually felt a lot like the new video game, which is actually really good.
I heard it's great.
It's really good. I never played the VR version, but the PC version was a lot of fun.
Did you ever play the old DOS Trilogy?
I want to get it. I want to get the DOS Trilogy and play it. That looks fun too.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, this reminds me of the Blair Witch game, which again I think was being made around the same time, and like the poster for the game looks just like the one for this movie.
Right.
So yeah, that whole scene is really cool, and then the witch drops a tree on him.
Yes.
It's like a fucking tree just comes down and crushes it.
Drops it, man.
The witch really got powerful since the first movie.
Really got powerful. And she's also up in the ante. She's like, I'm gonna start a little earlier this time.
A tree on you.
Yeah.
That drags
First one, she just made him get lost.
Yeah. She fucked with him for a longer time.
Just kind of,
So yeah, I have it here. The jump scares are getting old, and Lisa calls it out. She's like, stop it with that. So yeah, Lane and Talia show up, and I like this where they're like, we've been walking for 5 days, and they're like, it's only been like 6 hours or something. They're like, we can't get out of the woods.
I think it's one of the scariest parts of the film.
Yeah,
Like,
that's cool.
To me, like to the way that they're, they hear something and then you see those two like show up. Just the way that they really portrayed like how scared they were.
Yeah.
And the fact of like,
I do like
it's been 5 days.
I do like when supernatural stuff fucks with time. Like I love the original Grudge movie. When like the detective sees his daughter in the future and she sees him in the past, and like that scene was always really cool to me. So stuff like this,
it's kinda
where these
cool.
supernatural elements can manipulate like pockets of time, is really cool.
I think it was a cool idea, but it just in a series that didn't need it.
Yeah.
If this was the first Blair Witch Project or something, and they were introducing time travel, okay, fine. But with this, it just felt really bizarre because why would you introduce that as if a way to try to explain what happened in the first one, where they discover that there's time? It's like, well, how did they do it? Well, it was because they were lost in time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's like it did feel creepy. It felt like one of the more genuine scenes in the film, but at the same time, it was unnecessary.
So much because, like you said, you don't see something like that coming because those weren't the rules of the first one.
Right.
So where it's like that, creeped me out when that happened.
There was
One
some
of the
creepy
scariest
stuff in
parts,
it because they kept going in circles. So it's like, is the witch like manipulating like the
what are her
trees?
powers? How much can she?
It
Because
remains to be seen
as
what her
we get
powers-
further through this film, the crazy shit that happens
Yeah.
is like, what is she an alien at one point? Like,
Well, I want to talk about that.
Happening?
The worst jump scare in the movie. Lane runs back into the woods. Talia's staying behind, and they're slowly zooming up on her. And I'm like, she's gonna scream. 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 And then she screams. I'm like, that wasn't even. It's like annoying now. It's not scary. And you've previously called out how annoying it is, so you shouldn't have done this cheap jump scare. Like, it's like, okay.
I think
it was not earned.
I think it was just to have her scream so that you don't fall for what's coming next. Because
I guess
they do that scream and then you're like, all right, that's her scream. Like now they're going to just get together, try and figure this out. And then it's the next thing that happens is
well, first they go to sleep. And then they wake up and there's a million stick men.
I guess you're right.
Giant stick men. They're
Huge.
just giant stick men. They are like huge. They're like the witch is putting in overtime with
Yeah,
this.
she's really like building these things. Like, oh, you wait. That's why they had to sleep so long, because she's making all these. She's like, shit,
slept 5
shit. It's
days.
almost dawn. Keep sleeping. I gotta build these more witch men. Big stick men.
those together,
Yeah,
man.
big,
Somebody did,
She
'cause
brought
those
in Sasquatch to help.
Yeah, Sasquatch showed up. He helped out.
He walked into the wrong woods and he was like, all right, here we go.
The big monster from the ritual showed up.
Yes.
He collected a bunch of stuff for them. So Ashley wakes up and Talia's freaking out. And Ashley's just like, you did this. You're an asshole. And Ashley's like out of it. I guess her foot still hurts too. But I love Talia's like, this one has my hair in it. And Ashley's like, breaks it. I was not ready for this. So it's like a voodoo doll now. So Ashley breaks the stick of of Talia, Valerie Curry, and her body just snaps back in half. And she's bent in half. And I'm like, oh my God. I like screamed, oh fuck, am I apart? I was like, oh.
That was wild.
And she bends backwards. And that's funny because that wonderful Halloween parody that we did. Yeah. In the behind the scenes vlog I posted, I showed all the shots of Michael falling out the window at the end, the dummy we had. And there were several takes where he kept folding in half.
An incredible.
Like, I'm like, we got to do it again. He can't fold in half. But when I saw Valerie Curley fold in half in this, like, all right, that's really funny.
We're like, I wonder how many times they had to throw her.
Yeah. And she's like still alive and like spazzing.
Just twitching.
I was like, oh God.
Call my chiropractor.
That's horrible. And they just left her.
Yeah.
So I do
and put her
kind
out
of
of
like that
misery.
the witch is just snatching the tents out of the air and dropping it on them.
Yeah, just messing with them really bad.
Every time I see that, they also did that in one of the new, like, what is it? Not scary movies, but one of like
Like
the
Paranormal Activity or something?
Wasn't it like the funny Paranormal Activity or something? They go into the woods and they made fun of that moment. I just with like a tent being pulled up into the air like that. That was I think out of anything that was over the top, that was too much for me.
I didn't mind that too much. So what comes out of Ashley's leg? I said it was an eel. I didn't know what it was.
No, to me it looked like like a twig or like part of a vine or something.
Okay,
you know,
that's moving and it makes a sound.
Well, I mean, it had like, you know, she had like pus and goop coming out of her. I don't, you know, I don't think it was alive, but I mean, it would make sense that it was alive. Yeah. But it was, I don't know, the woods are alive because of the witch.
Yeah, I will say I do really like the walkie-talkies audio. Like that reminds me of stuff that probably would have happened in the first movie, just like the real creepy audio interference. I like that shit.
With Peter coming through saying, "Help me."
Yeah, like that stuff is cool. You don't need the eel coming out of your foot or the
it's weird stuff like that. Like what it was, I guess like an infection, a worm that, you know, was like
I don't know. It's gross.
It was just there was two things. The first was that apparently the way that the film was written was much gorier. And so they had to cut back. They said they cut back almost all of it. So that was probably one of the girl getting cut in half or crunching in half, and the thing coming out of her leg was probably some of the gore that got left in. But they said they took all that out because it didn't feel appropriate for a Blair Witch film, but they still did a lot of stuff that wasn't in Blair Witch. But the thing, why the first one is so classic and why this one isn't, is because the first one was very much leave it up to the audience. Yeah, it was very like there was no soundtrack. There was no graham crackers being broke every time somebody stepped.
There might have been a little bit, but
but I mean, not to this degree.
Yeah, not to this. This feels overproduced. This feels very Hollywood manufactured, and whatnot. Oh yeah, and we know Adam Wingard can do some VHS stuff, like found footage stuff. So that's why it's even more disappointing.
It just it was really disappointing, and it was so. It was just forced, and they had too much nonsense that just didn't need to be there.
I mean, you really didn't need the leg scene to begin with. I mean, it was like a 10-second scene.
Especially if you're going to have this character do what they do next, which is climb into a tree to grab the drone.
Do you think that drone was really there? Or you think the Blair Witch was just having her imagine it?
Nah, I think the drone was really there.
The Blair Witch is like, what is this technology?
Let's put this right here into this tree because this dumb girl's going to want to go find it.
Oh, by the way, her phone is still charged and the drone is still charged. It didn't lose any battery at all.
No. I love how they were having multiple camera angles as she's climbing up. Because she makes sure that the camera's still going. And
the drone is recording her.
She climbs like
she can't walk 10 feet into the woods, but she can push herself 20 feet into a tree. I was like, because once she started to fall, I was like, all right, that's 10 feet. That's 10 feet. I was like, how high did she go?
By the way, I'm just calling it the witch. The witch just slaps her. Just an arm
there's your slap.
It's not even scary. It was comical. The arm comes out. It's like,
and then gets dragged away.
And then she gets dragged away. I was like,
so the witch just jumped out of the tree, lands next to her real quick, and then pulls her away. I was like, damn, girl, killing it. Shit.
That was so stupid. They find the house.
Just like the first movie.
Which they mentioned in this one that they never found the house initially.
Yeah.
Because that was my thing with the first movie. I was like, if I'm in the woods and I see a house, I said it in that one, I'm like, there's probably a trail that leads to a road, and that's where I'm going. I don't care how loud you guys are screaming in that house. I'm like, nope.
Out of here.
I'll go get help.
I'll be back later.
I'll be back later.
No way.
I mean, if I'm in the house,
cocoa covered in a blanket.
Yeah. If I'm in the house, I expect you guys to go after me because you're so brave and strong.
Oh, of course.
But vice versa, I'm not going to help you anyway.
If I had guns, grenades, bazookas, anything like that, yes.
Anti-Blair Witch missiles.
Yes. But the house is next to the tree that was struck by lightning, which means they were there before, which is pretty cool.
Kind of crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. I kind of like that.
It kind of comes in and out of time.
Yeah.
Yes.
In and out of time.
Because that's where they found the camera as well, right? So then that was, so that's kind of, it's crazy. Yeah.
Wait, where does the witch leave all the footage?
Under a rock.
Well, under the lightning tree, right? Is that where it was?
In this one, it was under the lightning tree.
Right? The first.
In the first one, it was found like under like there was a wall of stone or whatever, like an old dilapidated thing. No, not Coffin Rock, but it was like.
Well, I always assumed in the first one that they just found it in the house.
No, they found it like outside because it had like it was like weathered and whatnot.
And the witch knows what cameras are. She's aware of how they work.
Super smart.
And
I think she might have edited some of the footage herself.
She knows to leave it in certain places that people will find it.
Right.
She's up to date on the latest technology. She's online. She's like, what's these things in their ears? Oh, those are the new ear camera models. That's pretty good.
These are hot.
That'll get some good footage.
She puts one on.
Check these out.
She's like real excited. She's like, those assholes in the 90s, they had these outdated cameras. They didn't know how to shoot shit. They didn't get one shot of me in that goddamn video.
She's got these
guys. I'm making sure the next people I kill, they're gonna have 10,000 cameras, so you see me every 5 seconds.
She's got the long limb lady just modeling, and she's like, "All right, work it, girl."
Yeah, so they find the house, and James goes in. He's like, I have to find my sister Heather. I'm like, dude, she's probably not there anymore. It's been 20 years. Like, she's not there anymore.
Yeah. And Heather. No.
Except she is there, I guess, because it cuts to, like, who I believe is Heather, but it looks like a bag lady.
The forms. I mean, you had like what 4 or 5 different like shaped women and people.
You see
running
Heather. You
through
see
this
Peter
house.
in the corner, like when Rustin Parr made the kids.
Well, was it? But I mean, was it him or was it somebody else in the? Because you don't know if it's in.
I think it was Peter.
You think it was Peter
in the corner for like a second? I think that was.
Yeah,
him.
I mean that was, but and then just used her time thing and then flashed him out real quick. And
By the way,
I think we see the witch.
By the way, I love all this stuff in the house.
Oh, the stuff in the house was
actually some stuff from VHS. Like I don't think Adam Wingard directed the VHS segment where they go into the haunted house and all the crazy stuff's happening. But this reminds me of that.
Yeah.
So I like he's going into like the house seems bigger than it is. It's definitely bigger.
It goes
on the
up
inside.
like 5 floors. And just keeps on going, which adds to the the
and like again
of
like
it, but
the lightning flashes. We see his sister. There's a lot of creepy stuff in this.
If it was a monster film on its own, then I think that it would have been a lot better of a film. But to connect it with the Blair Witch and then add all these extraterrestrial things that she can do is kind of
Lisa's outside and she looks into the woods and we see a spaceman, which you thought was the witch. We've been calling it a Twiggy guy, but it looks like a spaceman.
Yeah, I mean that's
just I'm like, is that an alien?
That's not the same thing as the long limbed.
No, not the long limbed was inside the house.
Yeah. No, he's outside the house first. She's outside.
Oh.
And she looks in the woods, and the light catches him, and he's like, ah! And he like hides behind a tree, and I'm like, what the fuck?
E.T.
yeah.
I gotta go back and watch that.
But I'm like, if you're gonna put a monster in it, make it look like a tree demon, like this, like the video game has these really cool twiggy tree demon things.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go in that direction, but this just looks like a spaceman. It looks like an alien. I'm like, all right, that's not as cool, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we see like a whole bunch of different it's to where which one was the witch. Like in my mind, the witch would be once.
Well, I
James
guess they say because if you see it, you die. So I guess we never actually see the witch.
But I mean, technically, they all die at some point. But in my mind, when James hits that one bedroom, and then there's a flash of a woman actually standing there staring at him.
I think that was Heather.
Kind of got like a, she's got like a whole like old like 1800s dress on. Like it
really,
like,
I thought that
could be the witch.
In my mind, that was like Heather, and just her clothes have like deteriorated and become baggy because she's been there for years.
Been there for 20 years.
Yeah. So Lisa goes in the house and she goes right into the basement, and I go, "Don't go in the basement." That's what happened in the first movie.
Why would you do that?
So they have seen the footage from the Blair Witch Project, right?
I am assuming that they've all seen the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah. So don't go in the basement. You
don't
idiot.
go because they've been talking about it. Oh, well, this happens. This happens. Well, no, don't go in the basement.
Yeah. But yeah, they find Lane, who still has his DV camera, and this is when it clicked to me. I'm like, there's time loop shenanigans.
And he said he's been there for years. The way that he looks at her and it's like, oh my God, you look the exact same. And he looks like he's been in there for 20 years.
And what's he screaming? Like the witch wants people to remember her or something? Like he's like working for the witch now, I think.
You have to do what she tells you!
Well, I think he was just kind of giving a little bit of warning. The witch needs people to remember her. And I'm like, oh, kind of like Freddy Krueger. What the hell?
So this is where my beef comes from for Lane. Is the whole movie? It's it's drizzled in to show that Lane, from the second that he was in the woods the first time and found the footage, the Blair Witch put it like a Rustin Parr, put it in his head that he needs to go out, attract these people, and say hey, she needs more more, children or people to kill. So that he's just out there doing her bidding and her dirty work to get her to get all these people to come into the woods. And Lane, once he's in there, he realizes like, okay, I mean, it also comes with when he pulls up in the truck and he hears the music that he's listening to. It sounds like the witch's groaning.
Yeah.
So like she's in his head the whole time.
She's manipulated. She definitely
whether Talia's hearing that or not. And then
now that we know that there's time loop stuff, she probably left the DV tape for him.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was the footage that...
Which I think is a causality loop. But anyway, that's a time travel issue.
So screw Lane. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So it turns out that the basement has another basement with a creepy series of tunnels.
Yes.
And this is like, the stuff in the house is cool, but this is the most tense part of the movie. And I would have liked more scenes like this instead of like jump scares and shit. Like, because this is intense. This is really good.
And them wandering through the woods, just yelling at each other.
Yeah.
It's very claustrophobic.
Yeah, it's very, I'm not super claustrophobic, but even I was like, oof. And I was reading, they said they got the scene from Aliens when Bishop was going through the tunnel.
Right. Yeah.
Which isn't even like a horror scene, but like it's a scary idea.
The concept of that. And apparently they measured out the actress and they made the tunnel like just maybe an inch wider.
Oh, yeah.
So they could really get her in there and make it look like she was crammed in there. And they said when she was stuck, they had a guy behind her holding onto her legs. Yeah. And like, so she would try to pull forward because she wasn't really stuck, like that's all right. That's clever filmmaking.
I like that she's throwing the camera in front of her and every single time it faces the back of her.
Just so happens.
It's so good. It landed just perfectly.
I love it. I watched it in like pitch black with my headphones on for my Xbox and was watching that. And I felt so claustrophobic. I was like, oh my God.
But yeah, Lane attacks Lisa after she gets out of it and she stabs him.
Right.
Killing him.
Screw you, Lane.
Oopsie doopsie.
Okay, and then I have here, Twiggy alien guy is stupid. Because then the alien thing comes in the house. He's like, blah! I'm a CGI monster, blah!
If she can, like, put houses places or things places, you would think she'd make the hallways bigger for the lanky.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on, witch. Be nice to your overly tall Twiggy alien friends.
Well, she spent time adding an extra basement and more floors.
Also, I think it's implied that they're going through the tunnel chasing her. And I'm like, fuck you. They're not fitting in that tunnel. No. These things kind of remind me of Grave Encounters, which is a good found footage horror movie. That one is a lot of fun. Yeah. You ever see Grave Encounters?
No, I haven't.
Here's the plot of it.
It's really good.
You ever watch those stupid ghost hunter shows?
Yes.
So it starts off, it's a ghost hunter show, but it's showing how those ghost hunting shows are bullshit and they're all fake. But then the twist is that the place they're filming in actually is haunted. It's really, really good. I never saw the second one. Worth it?
No, I haven't seen the second one either.
Okay,
there's a lot of movies.
I heard the second one was actually pretty good. Not as good as the first, but I heard it was decent.
The second one might be like a meta thing where like the first one's a movie. I forget. I have to look into it. Grave Encounters pretty good, but they have like creepy alien looking dudes, and that one goes full on like the hands.
The hands were awesome. Which
they got from a viral video, and I wonder if they were like involved, if they were the same people who did it. There's that viral ghost video where it looks like hands are coming out of the wall and then the lights go out and then there's just a person made of arms. It's really creepy.
I'll check it out.
Anyway, the point is the Twiggy alien guy in this is not as effective as any of that because he literally comes around the corner going blah, boogity, boogity, boo. It's so like I'm just like, why did they? And I knew this thing existed because if you type Blair Witch into YouTube, inevitably you get this video. It's like Blair Witch Monster, and it's just on the thumbnail. I'm like, all right. So I was a little prepared. I didn't see it in motion yet. This is the first time I saw it in motion. I was like, oh my god. Oh my fucking god.
I want just an old witch. Just make it like an old woman. That's just, just
how do they describe her in the first one? Didn't they say she was like real hair? She had like hair and claws.
She was hairy and like kind of. I think kind of like that. Maybe not quite as gaunt with the teeth and all that.
Yeah.
But to a certain degree, that's like kind of McFarlane artistic license.
Yeah.
But that's closer than what we got here.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, the director swears up and down that wasn't the witch. That was one of the victims.
Yeah. Because they say,
makes no sense.
Well. Before that, so I know I keep calling them aliens, and people think aliens are in this because there is a shot where there's like lights outside of the house
in the attic,
and there's weird sounds like an engine. So it's like, is that a spaceship? I get how you could interpret it that way. I understand how people could interpret it that, but I don't think that's the case. Or maybe it is. I don't fucking know.
I mean, what else could it be?
I just thought that was like crazy dimension lights, like the witch. We know the witch is warping reality, so she could be doing something.
The sun
there.
was about to come up, so she made it dark again. Type
Yeah. Maybe she's doing like a spell or something. I don't know.
They had some extra footage from VHS 2 with
the alien abduction scene. That alien abduction scene's pretty.
That was
rough and
awesome.
That was pretty awesome.
That was really good. That was one of my favorites.
I felt bad for the dog at the end.
Yeah, the dog did.
I mean, it's why the trees are cut down too, because she needs a spot for her ship. To
right. If the drone would have gotten up higher, we would have seen crop circles.
Yeah. So yeah, he tells her like they mentioned like, oh, if you look at the witch, you die. Which I don't remember that being a thing in the first one, but whatever, we'll go for it. He's like, stand in the corner and don't look at her. I'm like, that's not
was it explained why they stood in the corner in the first one though?
Yes.
Yeah, Rustin Parr used to put the kids in the corner and look away as he
killed them one at a time.
Yeah.
He got the little kids to stand in the corner.
Right.
And so that was that whole thing. It had everything to do with Rustin Parr, nothing to do with the witch.
Yeah. I mean, she was probably manipulating him into doing that, but now the rule is like, just don't look at her.
Don't look at her.
Stand in the corner. And then James, you don't hear anything. And James is like, Heather?
This is scary.
I'm gonna look around. It's like God damn you just said it.
I mean, the witch is in his brain. It like so much through like once he gets into the house, like he's gone altogether. So like he doesn't know what's left or right. I mean, the guy even from the beginning of the film, 20 years ago, his sister went missing, and he wants to go find her in the woods.
Yeah, it was annoying me that he kept telling Lisa to close her eyes, and she was constantly like, huh? He's like, close your eyes, don't look. She's like, don't look at what? What? Oh my God.
And then,
see, I'm looking out for myself. I'll be like, Lisa, the only way to fight the witch is to just I'm just like I'm trying to say to myself, like, Lisa, the only way to stop her is to look right in her face. Go, Lisa, go do it. Do it.
I'm diving out the window.
Yeah.
Boom. I'll get break through that wood.
So I have it here. I love that the spaceman is camera shy. Because like he's back and the camera points on him and he's like, Sam,
no pictures.
No, come on, it's from the light, right? Like that's why she makes it dark. That's why she makes it dark through the whole film.
I think there's a thing in the video game, but don't you use your flashlight?
Yeah, the flashlight.
Yeah.
So right.
Because when I'm a demonic tree demon, I know flashlights. I'm like,
lights.
Ew.
This
it works in Lord of the Rings now. Now they hate sun. Didn't they not hate sun in the beginning?
So Lisa just saw James fall for this trap. She just saw him fall for this.
Who are you talking to?
And 5 seconds later, James is like, I'm sorry, Lisa. And she's like, James?
I'm sorry.
Like, oh my God.
Lisa, I'm so sorry.
I love this part though. Just from an actor's standpoint, the way the actress really plays this, the breathing that she does sounds like her throat, like she is so horrified that it sounds like her like throat is like vibrating as she's breathing. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah, the part is a little stupid, but just the way that she had to act through this, probably with 10 other guys in the room staring at her,
and it prepared her for that terrifying shower scene in Alien Covenant.
Right. Hey.
It's the fact that it's directed by Ridley Scott that makes it even worse. It's like, no, you don't put schlocky shower scenes. Like, what the fuck?
If it was Quentin Tarantino, it would have been feet scenes.
Oh, yeah. We just said nothing but
there was a lot of foot in this. I'm sure Quentin Tarantino was like, Adam, you made the best movie. You made it.
A little bit more feet. You need more zooms on the feet.
Adam, do you have any alternate angles on the feet? I need you to
I got one with this branch coming out of it. Oh, you never.
Adam Wingard's like, Tarantino offered to edit that scene. I sent him all the footage. I never got any of it back.
Now, when they take their shoes off to walk through the wood, do you think that they could just lose their shoes altogether and stay barefoot for the next hour?
Oh yeah, there were close-ups of them taking their shoes.
There were close-ups, yeah.
And the girl mentioned she got a pedicure. Tarantino's like, oh, I love it. I love it.
Not to get off subject, there's a movie called The Kiss. It's actually a pretty cool, like, old school horror film.
Yeah.
I swear, like, that's got to be on Tarantino's list. There is so much feet in that movie.
Well, he's never working with me. All right.
You think he liked A Quiet Place 1 and 2?
Oh God,
There's
yeah.
so many shots of people's
so
feet. So
many shots of feet.
I never saw 2. It's too good.
I haven't seen 2. I didn't like 1.
What's the better Twiggy alien? The one in this or the ones in A Quiet Place?
Well, the ones in The Quiet Place, I mean, you got a better look at them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that was kind of the big payoff at the end.
They're basically the monsters in this mixed with the Demigorgon a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I need to see too because I like Quiet Place 1, but I was just like, There's no way these three took over the world. Like, does 2 elaborate on this?
I'd like to.
Yeah.
I saw 2. I really
Did you see
liked it a
2?
lot.
Was it good?
Yeah.
Do they explain how these things took over? Because I'm like,
they took over like really fast.
Like the military can take these things. Like I know they're armored, but there are weapons that can take these fuckers out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a bazooka is like,
it's just a high caliber like machine. Like
a tank is just
the fact that they took over the world. I'm like, are there other monsters I'm not aware of? But I didn't see 2, so I don't know.
I was getting confused with Stop, Don't Repeat, whatever with Tom Cruise.
Live, Die, Repeat. Edge of Tomorrow. With the 2 titles.
Because they always have to hit that house at the end, and then like they can't go further than that house and that helicopter, and then for some reason it's like in the woods, and then it's Emily Blunt. So I'm like, wait a minute, which one is?
Speaking of time loops, we did find out at the end of this movie when she's running around the house, she catches Heather Donahue in the mirror, and it's like, oh, it's the beginning of the movie. Got it. Thanks.
How?
So the witch had to get every single ear cam, make sure every single mini SD card was fine.
How do I has a media room.
She had to get
where she watches all the footage.
That's the door that was locked.
Yes,
James tries the door. It's the only door you can't go in.
Don't go in.
Jessica
has the red light on it. Yeah.
Jessica loves doing it. Jessica, please Photoshop this Blair Witch at a computer, just editing,
and we're all
with like 2 monitors,
great work,
and like energy drinks around her.
A piss can, I
want the headset on the alien. It should be the alien witch. I would be the alien witch from the movie. Like,
And on a few TVs are just shots of everyone's feet. Like,
make sure feet are on all the monitors. Jessica loves when I assign her these Photoshop tasks. She's like, it's my favorite part of the job, Tony. She's like, my Google search results aren't creepy or anything. Anyway, that was Blair Witch 2016, not the Blair Witch Project 2016, or Blair Witch 3, or Blair Witch,
not the Blair Witch, just
or the Woods.
Blair Witch.
You know, it'd be funny if at the end they found a Book of Shadows. They're like, oh, it was here the whole time. It wasn't in the movie called Book of Shadows, but it was here.
Well, that was another thing where they had asked Joe Berlinger. They're like, where was the Book of Shadows? And they're like, well, there was a producer came up with that. Like he didn't want to call it Blair Witch 2, so it was Blair Witch Book of Shadows. There's no Book of Shadows in the movie.
But don't you find a better name that doesn't have the word book in it then?
They were doing like a project, like a documents of shadow. Anyway,
yes,
I will say when I was skimming through looking for pictures of the Twiggy alien guy, I came across something where apparently the missing map from the first movie is in the house. They like show it like crumbled up and whatnot. I don't know how true that is.
Is it on the bed?
Huh?
Is that the shot you see on the bed when there was stuff on the bed?
There's someone did like a circle thing of things you missed, and apparently the map is in there. I wonder if there's any more Easter eggs in there.
I did a video on 1 and 2.
Yeah,
and I get a lot of people asking me to do 3, and I'm like, but I don't like 3.
Well, you're doing it here.
Apparently, I'm doing it here.
We're doing it here.
We talked you into it.
Yeah. I'll talk about I talk about good. I don't talk about bad.
Well, your show's called Good Bad.
I know. I talk about. Well, I do talk about the good. I talk about the good in the bad.
Okay.
So maybe I don't know. Doing this though, it did make me want to do a video on it because I think that there's a lot of really creative stuff in there. Like one thing that I found out was that whenever they're turning on or turning off the camera, like when there's that digital noise, there's a frame from the original Blair Witch Project in there.
So that means whoever found this footage and is editing it is purposely putting that there.
Yes.
Or did the witch make copies of their film and video prints and then project?
I really would like to talk to the director, and the writer, and be like, okay, look, what?
Yeah,
I won't even say just
because there probably was interference and whatnot. But yeah,
there's always is.
Overall, it has its moments. The tunnel scene's good. Valerie Curry getting bent in half is hilarious and awesome.
Unexpected.
I like some of the stuff in the house at the end, the time loop, crazy visuals at the end.
Screw you, Lane.
But yeah, but the rest of the movie is kind of lame.
There's a lot of filler.
It's a lot of filler. I feel like it's overly produced. As I said, it doesn't feel organic like the other one. It's not even like, even though this one got butchered, it's not even like an interesting high concept like this one. It's just like, we're doing Blair Witch again. Cool. I will say, play the game instead. The game has a really cool story where this guy looking for like his brother, I think, in the woods. You get a fun dog.
With the dog.
Yeah, you get like a fun dog. There's cool tree demons in that. They go to like the big tree at one point. There's a lot of cool stuff in that game. And you kind of like forgive the more over the top stuff in a video game than you do this movie. But yeah, check that out. Let us know. Do you think? I don't think this works as a good follow-up sequel.
No. Well, it really kind of ruined them because they were all in on revamping the franchise. This was going to be a new trilogy. This was going to launch the Blair Witch TV series. Lionsgate had big plans for this.
It made money, but probably not enough to justify.
A bunch of anthology, like that's the only thing I could think of. Like a bunch of, but I mean, how long can you? Hey, dumb kids go in the woods, get lost, and die. How long is that going to last?
Maybe that's why they added so many like other paranormal and alien kind of aspects to it to like play on each thing and each story and stuff like that.
Have more than just it's a witch in the woods, and if they did time travel, they would have more stuff to go with. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, the producer that went there and talked to Lionsgate, they didn't really give him. They just basically said no because there was already something in the mix, and then like I said, that came out to be all this other stuff.
They could. So the same company owns all three now.
Yeah,
they could definitely do like a 3-pack Blu-ray set and put the director's cut on there. It will sell pretty well.
Yeah, the only thing that I would see would prevent them from doing it, the director's cut of the original, instead of having disposable teens in the beginning, it has witchcraft from Frank Sinatra.
From Frank Sinatra,
So they may not want to pay the licensing fee for that.
That's fine with that, but as long as they edit the way it was meant to be edited,
right?
Because
it exists. I have it.
Yes, that cut does exist.
It does.
Really?
And I've never sent it to anyone.
You've never sent it, but somehow I got it from other people. And I have been doing a lot of bonus videos on this channel recently of TV cuts and work print cuts of movies. I probably should.
Like Alien 3?
Like Alien 3. I found the work print cut of Alien. I've now reviewed Alien 3 4 times. Awesome. Theatrical assembly on Patreon. I have the unproduced William Gibson screenplay I did with Alien Theory. And I've gone back and I watched the work print cut. So there's so much Alien 3. Man, oh God!
Oh heavens!
The witch did that.
Speaking of,
I'm sorry you died in the beginning of my Alien 3 video. I'm sorry, but you got better.
That's fine. I didn't die at the beginning of the new Halloween short though.
That's right. Oh wait, the Alien 3 video, the first one, that was a dream. I forgot. So yes. Anyway, Frank, are there any other found footage movies that might be out around the time that this airs that you could recommend?
So depending on when this drops, there is a quote out there on this new found footage film that says that it is just as good as the first Blair Witch Project.
Oh my God.
I forget which internet source or magazine did quote it that way, but it is quoted for the film.
Yes.
The film is called Human Hibachi 2 Feast in the Forest.
Ooh.
And it is a found footage film. It was shot in New Jersey, up in the pine-bearing woods.
That's where the Blue Hole was.
And it is it's actually a movie about a family of cannibals that are living in their own house in the woods right off the lake, and they are just picking people off one by one, searching for these other cannibals that they know are in there, and they may or may not have a giant feast at the end of it.
That's cool. Now, who are some of the actors I might recognize in this film project?
The director is Mario Soretto, and the lead of it is Frank Volpe.
Oh my God, that's you!
That is me. Yeah.
Yes. Oh man, this movie sounds really good. I wonder if it was in any festivals and won any awards recently.
It is doing very well for itself, depending on when this does come out. But it was just recently in the New Jersey Horror Film Fest and Convention in September, and it won Best Feature Film for the horror festival. So it was pretty great.
And I know Cecil's excited. He loves Human Hibachi 1. It's his favorite movie.
Yeah. I've seen it.
He has a playlist of just multiple breakdowns of Human Hibachi 1. I kept it a secret. He was like, "Oh my God, Frank's gonna be here. I'm so excited for Human Hibachi 2."
Hey, I was very excited to meet him.
He said Blair Witch 2016 let me down so much, and Human Hibachi 2 is the only thing that can redeem it. That's what he said.
They say it's like a Texas
I'm sorry. I know you told me that in confidence.
I didn't want to fanboy out too much.
They say it's like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre mixed with some found footage Blair Witchness in the woods.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. The first one, I think he's on Troma at the moment. Troma now, and the second one, I'm not sure exactly where it'll be out, but whenever this drops, go find it.
Keep you all updated.
Thanks.
Cecil, where can we find you?
You can find me on the YouTube channel, Good Bad Flicks.
Yes.
And also on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Patreon. Just look up Good Bad Flicks and you'll find me. And
Fun
that's
fact.
FLICKS.
Fun fact.
Yes.
I've been watching a lot of your videos.
Yes.
And I'm just like, wow, Cecil's videos are good. Why don't they ever show up in my feed? For some reason, I'm not subscribed.
But don't
worry, Cecil, sit back down. I definitely was at some point.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So I wonder what the hell happened, because I'm like, no, that's weird. I'm like, why doesn't he show up? So I just want to show right now. We're all watching. Boom.
Yes.
I am now subscribed, and you should all subscribe. And you know what? You should all hit that little bell.
Hit the bell.
I hit the bell, and yes, Cecil's channel is great. Like I said, you really helped me out with Blair Witch 2. My Blair Witch 2 review would have just been another, LOL, this is stupid, but you actually like gave me like the backstory and stuff, so I actually have more to talk about there. So that was a lot of fun.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, just check out Cecil's channel. Check all of that out. And yeah.
I gotta get going. I gotta catch a flight over to Italy and go find my sister in those woods out there.
You better do that and avoid La Befana, the Christmas witch.
Who?
That was the witch in Italy. I looked up Italy witches. What?
What witch?
Oh, there's no witch now?
I don't know. Is there?
I don't know. You're going to find out.
La Befana? I thought it was an alien now.
Oh, I guess it's an alien. Yeah, La Befana is going to be an alien now.
Don't worry. I'm going to bring my Italian horn and get rid of all the Malocchias out there. Jesus.
Okay, that is it. Like, share, and subscribe. Join our Patreon. Become a channel member. Join all that fun stuff. And let us know what you think of the Blair Witch 2016 reboot. Goodbye.
Woo.
They're playing like Felicia versus Bishamon, and if Bishamon ends with a certain move, you just cut Felicia in half.
Did you make sure to see Orchid's thong? Here's 30 more chances as she spins around.
See, you've got the Batgirl shirt on, and you're wearing a Robin t-shirt.
Batgirl and Robin to your Batman.
And Turtles is like Star Wars in the Star Wars is a 70s thing that ran into the 80s. Turtles started in the 80s, but really grew in the 90s.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.